Well, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, and welcome into the $100,000 Galaxy Battle Superverse brought to you by Samsung Galaxy, and of course, Supercell, all powered by the Galaxy Z Fold 5. And this is the Clash Royale Qualifier Finals. I'm going to be your host today, and I've been your host the last couple shows. I'm Goj, happy to be back in the booth with you. We've got a lot to talk about, but before we go anywhere, I've got to remind you that you can download Clash Royale for free on the Android Google Play Store. Go get your hands on the game right now. All of our players certainly did, and our creators. They went through a ton of qualifiers to get to this stage, a chance to get to the grand finals only a week away. So go get your hands on the game and go check out, of course, the Galaxy Z Fold 5, an incredible device that's powering this entire event. You need to unfold an expansive screen and immerse yourself in your favorite entertainment on the go with the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5. It's Samsung's slimmest and most durable fold yet that boasts a massive 7.6-inch interior screen. You're going to see it a lot today. Our creators are going to be holding it, so go check it out. You can get your hands on it. You can check out the link with !Galaxy Z Fold 5. That's the command in the live streams that are all over the place right now, or just head down to the link in the description below if you're over here on YouTube. And speaking of YouTube, you got to go check out Samsung's all of their social media accounts. You can see all of them down below me right now. Stay connected with Samsung. They always have incredible products they're talking about and events like this that they're a part of. Folks, we've got so much to go through and such incredible competition right around the corner. So speaking of that competition, let's talk about what we've seen over the last several weeks now to get to this point in the broadcast and in our journey through the Superverse. This format has spanned quite literally through the Superverse, as we went through the Clash of Clans qualifier about a month ago, and then we journeyed to Brawl Stars, where our team split hairs to eke past the competition and be one of the 2 teams, or 8 players, as you can see, that made it to the Superverse Grand Finals. But today is the last day of the qualifier finals to get to the grand finals with Clash Royale. We're trying to get down to 8 players after some impressive qualifier gameplay that happened from the September 21st to September 24th today. So finally, all of those players that came through our qualifiers will grit together and make 12 teams of 3 with 2 players paired up with 1 creator. All of our creators that have been casting all of these competitions will be competing on September 30th. You're not going to want to miss that. And speaking of September 30th, let's talk about our live streams because, well, of course, today is September 24th, and you've missed the other broadcast, but you're here today, 7 p.m. Central Time. We're live right now all across the place, and September 30th is where you want to be for the grand finals. That broadcast is a little bit earlier at 3 p.m. Central Time. You're not going to want to miss it because there's $100,000 on the line. Let's take a look at that pricing. This is all in the grand finals, of course, but if you get there, you're at least walking away with something. Even if you get last, you're walking away with a little bit of cash from making it to the grand finals because it was such a hard journey to get there. But the first place team will walk away with $31,000 and that Samsung Galaxy bundle, which of course includes the Galaxy Z Fold 5 I've already talked about, as well as the Tab S9 Plus, Buds 2 Pro, and a trip to the World Finals. So talk about a fantastic day. Talk about a fantastic grand finals. Again, you saw it there, September 30th, 3 p.m. Central. You're going to want to be here. It's going to be incredible. Now, I can't do all of this on my own. I've been here several times now hosting all of the shows, but it's time to bring in our casters for the day, our creators that have had a chance to not only play some Clash Royale on their Galaxy Z Fold 5s, but they got a chance to cast all the action. Gentlemen, say hello. Let's start with you, OJ. How are you feeling to be here in the booth for the Samsung Galaxy Superverse Clash Royale?
I'm excited for everything that's about to unfold. I've been waiting for this event. First, we had all the other games. Now we're on to the real the finals of this. It's going to be really exciting. I'm going to be scoping out which players that I want on my team, if I can even decide.
Yeah, well, look, that's the fun part, right? Because you're scoping out competition. You're going to be paired with some of the players from the Brawl Stars and from the Clash of Clans qualifiers. It's going to be super, super cool, and I think it's going to be a really tight competition. Speaking of competition, we got Juicy J in the house. Now, Juicy, I know you have some experience here in the caster booth. I was watching some of those VODs back. How are you feeling to be here and watch some of this competition?
I'm feeling fantastic. You guys know me. I love watching some great Clash Royale. I can't wait, especially to see Air Surfer's gameplay. I've met him before. He's a great friend, and he made it to the CRL World Finals this year. So I think that's going to be the competition to really look out for today.
That's a great shout. I'm excited to talk about some of the players that made it through those crazy qualifiers. But Sir Tag, how are you feeling? Because I know you've got some incredible content out there on the timeline and on the YouTubes. But talk to me about what you're feeling going into these qualifier finals. Oh, don't worry. We got Tag right on the time. I hear him in my ears. We're going to get him all set up for you. But Tag's excited. He was telling me he's really pumped to be here. And I think he's going to make some banger YouTube content with this tournament as well. Clash with Shane, Mr. Shane himself. I'm excited to have you here. Talk to me a little bit how you're feeling. Because we were talking a little bit before the broadcast. I know you're scoping out your competition, but you're also trying to learn some things.
Yeah, well, first of all, it's an honor to be here. Very, very happy to take part in this event. But like you said, I'm here to not only witness some great Clash Royale gameplay, but also hopefully learn a few tips and tricks myself that I can use next week during the Grand Finals.
There you go. We're going to be learning. We're going to be teaching. We're going to be talking. Now, gentlemen, we got everybody here. Tag, I think we got Tag.
Does this work?
Do we have... We got Tag on the timeline. There he is.
Cool,
Tag,
cool.
I'll give you a quick second, Tag. Tell the people at home. I heard you, but tell the people at home how you're feeling.
My microphone isn't working, but I know this event is going to be hype. So I'm hyped for some quality Clash and excited to see some of the best players in the world compete. There's going to be a lot to learn. And also, you know, we're going to be learning all their tricks. So when I get to play against them, I already know what they're going to be doing.
There you go. Now we're thinking with our big brain mode. Now, all right, look, folks, I know we got some watch parties that are going on. So a couple of you going to be heading out. Juicy J, Sir Tag, I hope you enjoy your watch parties. I'm sure we'll see you here in the booth probably not too long. But OJ, Shane, you're hanging out with me. It's time to cast some Clash Royale. Now, gentlemen, I'm excited about this. I want to take a look at the format in particular. And OJ, as we take a look at this format, I need you to talk me through it a little bit because this is what's fun, right? We had thousands of players work their way through these kind of open qualifiers. But today, right, we only have 16 players and we're just trying to get down to 8. Now, we've got some incredible players, but 16 to 8 doesn't sound like too tall of a task. Now, OJ, I've got 16 going to 8. There he is. He's in here. 16 going to 8. Not too tall of a task. But when we talk about the format, this is what's fun about this format, is essentially a double elimination. Like, you can lose once and get away with it and work your way through the lower bracket. The goal is to win twice before you lose twice, OJ.
I like it. It's going to be pretty straightforward. I think it's going to be a very exciting match. We've been waiting for the finals, and it's here.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's a straightforward format. There's not really a tall order in front of our players, albeit their competition is a tall order, right? We have some incredible players here today. Many of them known and have been played at Clash Royale for years now and are known in the scene. So speaking of those players, let's take a look at them. Ian77, of course, pops out to me first. But Shane, any other names that you know and love and maybe some people at home will know as well?
There's a few familiar names on there. I'm in particular interested to see what Ian does over here. He obviously is a fellow fantastic content creator for Clash Royale and also an extremely skilled player. So I'm particularly keen to see what he's able to pull out today.
Yeah, it's a great shout. OJ, any names popping out to you?
I see a lot of top ladder finishes here. Just amazing roster. Droy stands out to me, formerly known as Mr. Cena. He's a sleeper in this tournament. That's going to be something to look out for sure. I mean, obviously, Ian77, he's going to crush it. You got Air Surfer, who was in CRL. It's just a massive roster we have today. This is going to be exciting.
Yeah, a stacked roster. And maybe a couple names maybe that people at home don't know as well. Dr. Puerto Rico, I know I was talking to Juicy J, who knows a ton of these players, doesn't necessarily know that player. And there's a chance for some of these players to make a name for themselves in this competition. So let's take a look at the bracket and see some of those matchups. Now, we're going to be watching several of these, but not all of them. We'll have a chance to probably see everybody at some point. But I talked about the format before. Double elimination bracket. We've got the upper bracket and we've got the lower bracket. You've got to win twice before you lose twice. It's the best way to phrase it. And so you can see some of the matchups here. Ian77 going against Jorge at the top, and then down at the bottom, FF Mom against Dr. Puerto Rico. We're going to see several of these, but I want to show the lower bracket because you're going to see 4 players win out and qualify just by winning 2 best-of-3 matches in a row. But in the lower bracket, they're going to have to battle. If you lose out in the upper bracket, you still got a chance, but you got to battle to find the final 4 spots. Taking a look back at upper here, Shane, any matchups that you would really like to see or maybe excited to see the outcome of?
Well, I mentioned EN77 before, but obviously I think Air Surfer versus Mohamed Parsa is the second matchup that I'm most interested in so far. Obviously, Air Surfer is a very skilled player. He's been well known in the Clash Royale community for a long time. So I'm interested to see what he's able to pull out today.
Well, you're in luck. I think we're going to see that one on broadcast, and I think you're going to cast over that one on broadcast.
Oh, nice. Let's go.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. Of course, we'll be checking out Cheesecake as well before we send you guys off. So we've seen players, we've seen bracket, we've seen the format. We've talked through nearly it all, but it's about to be time for some Clash Royale. Now, OJ, I know both of you are incredibly talented and long content creators in the Clash Royale scene. OJ, talk to me a little bit about the meta right now, because I know some things shifted up about a week or so ago, or maybe a week and a half ago. What are we seeing right now in the meta?
There's a lot that's going on. I mean, Evolutions came out and they really rocked the meta. I think that everything's just going to be really solid. Just, some of these players are very specialized in specific decks. I'm curious to see if they're going to play what's meta, or if they're going to play the deck that they're very comfortable with, like Hog EQ, Rocket Miner, because either way, it's going to be exciting to see everything.
Yeah, and that's what's fun too, right? When you start thinking about the players, I mean, of course we know who they are. That means they know who each other are too, right? So you know what this person specializes in. You can try to counter against them. Shane, any other notes on the meta, things you're seeing right now with EVOs out?
Well, I thought something that OJ mentioned was interesting, is that how these players are so well known for a particular strategy, and I'm curious to see how they adapt those strategies to the introduction of evolutions, which have changed Clash Royale forever. And how, can they adapt their main decks to the evolutions or not?
With the Ice Spirit Log, do you think he's running Hog EQ right now?
Ooh, that's a good question. That's a good question.
I think with an aggressive Ice Spirit Log cycle. Bandit's going in, and he's protecting the bandit with a perfect skeleton placement. Oh, I love seeing that.
That was incredible. Look at the recruits coming down. Evolution recruits.
They are evolution recruits.
They are the evolution recruits. The newest evolution in Clash Royale. What do you feel about the recruits? Do you think, how would you rate them compared to the other evolutions in the game?
I personally like them because you put them down and you farm 3 crowns all day, every day. So it looks like it might be Hog E.
No, it's Hog Poison. It's Poison using Hog?
Hog versus 3M.
No, Miner Poison versus 3 Musketeers with the recruits, you figure.
He's got
nice
poison, he's got the log for the 3 Musketeers. He's got Miner for the elixir pump. This is looking a little hard for Jorge right now. Maybe maybe Ian knew that the 3M was coming up today.
Really favorable matchup. I mean, I think the pro players can make any matchup work, but I think having the Poison Miner gives the edge to Ian so far. What does he have for these recruits coming in? Evolved recruits. Obviously, they don't charge until the shield is gone.
Oh my goodness.
But watch these recruits charge in. There's the Musketeers going down.
Not even.
Do we have a nice poison?
3 Musketeer.
That's the power of evolutions, baby. Poison going down.
The heal spear gets taken out by the log, but the left side did connect and deal a lot of damage.
Dude, those 2 recruits charge and like literally 2 Musketeer shots, and his tower's already at 1,000 HP.
Oh,
that was intense.
That's spicy. That wouldn't have happened if they weren't evolutions. This is exciting gameplay. I love seeing evolutions. They make my tummy rumble.
I love how we just said that, like, oh, the Ian's got the advantage with the Miner Poison, and then boom, 2,000 damage on his tower. Oh, the Barbarian evolution. Interesting choice.
They are one of the top choices in ladder right now, so I'm not surprised to see Barbarians in here.
The Barbarians are actually one of the decent counters for the Evolved recruits, but the Musketeers going in. Oh, nice place logs both the Ghost and the Musketeer.
But this time, there's no Evolved rule recruits, so it's just naked 3 Musketeers in the tower. Ice Spirit perfectly counters the right side.
Barbarians going in. The Evolved Barbarians are so powerful. Doesn't have the recruits ready to go. They're going to lock on that tower. Oh, there they go.
The Barbarian and the Miner dealing all that damage.
Oh, that was juicy. Dude, the Evolved Barbarian stack up damage so quick.
This time,
at the river.
We're going to have to see how Ian's going to deal with those Royal Recruits. The Evolved Royal Recruits, no less. I mean, by the time I said that,
cycle. That was a nice defense by Ian to distract the recruits, but the Musketeer locks on right side. Down at 800 health.
He's ignoring it so he can use Miner. He's got a massive elixir lead right now, so he's looking pretty healthy.
Well, the thing is that he doesn't have a heavy spell up top, so like even if he's got 800 health on his tower for Ian, it's all right because he has to get a troop to tower. He can't spell it down. Nice Miner for the pump. Bandit misses it.
Splitting the barbs and everything right now. This is going to be the final push. This is going to be Royal Recruits. It's going to go to 3 Musketeer, and then it's going to cycle back to Evolve Royal Recruits.
See, I think the advantage is for Ian here because he can cycle those miners and poisons, I think, way faster and get that damage done than the Musketeers can break in.
That's a really good
Those
block
recruits
hitting
are not
all 3
evolved.
Musketeers.
Watch Queen ability, nice, just to destroy the recruits. Another miner going in. And there's
He's
the
not even worried about
Barbarians.
anything. He's going to defend with Skeletons, use Evolve Barbarians on the right, Miner pressure on the top left. And takes out the pump with the Miner.
See, I like that. That's a pro level gameplay right there. Because for me, if I was playing this gameplay, I would be going in that tower with the miner left side and ignoring the pump. But Ian knows what he's doing. He's destroying those pumps. He's preventing his opponent from getting the momentum going. And a nice little poison for the Musketeers left side. His recruit charge, almost forcing a log.
Oh, it hits both of them, yes!
That is a positive elixir trade, making you happy, OJ. Barbarians right side against the recruits. And
Jorge's going to have to penetrate this bomb tower if he's going to hope to get any damage down right now. There's only 20 seconds left. I don't think he's going to be able to Musketeer anything.
I don't think he has a chance. The bomb tower is just too powerful with the Barbarians for the
almost
recruits.
better if he doesn't touch those recruits and let the shield just ride. There's the first round
nice
of the match.
power down. I definitely think the matchup was in the favor of Ian, though. With that minor poison, once you have the defense cycle down to distract those recruits, it's basically impossible to break through.
I have no confidence in those matchup callouts anymore. Oh, Ian's got the advantage because he's got Miner for the elixir pump. He's got poison for the 3 Musketeers. And then as soon as I say that, 2,000 damage in the tower.
But once he got his rotation going on,
yeah, it was solid.
At that point on, it was pretty solid. We got Sphere Goblins going down. What do you think this is? Spheres versus Minions. This is obviously a dual matchup, right? So they can't use the same cards.
Sparky. So there's probably a Goblin Giant in there. Rushing with
wall
breakers.
That fast cycle wall breaker deck. Dude, the wall breakers are so powerful. They always sneak through.
Oh, I was expecting. Right, there's not going to be Bomb Tower in here because he used it in the last deck.
Yeah. Little Mother Witch. I think he's got Goblin Giant up top. Goblin Giant Sparky deck. Magic Archfiend.
Oh no, that Inferno Dragon's gonna, or that Inferno Tower is gonna be just enough for that Sparky with the Magic Archer.
Yeah, I definitely thinking Goblin Giant deck up top there.
Goblin
Drill right lane.
Defend for the Magic Archer. He had to place those Barbarians down, otherwise the Magic Archer would have pierced onto the tower.
That NATO, I don't think was the value that you want, unfortunately. Nice delivery.
He's
delivering some justice
tower,
right side.
There's that.
I don't know who to give the matchup advantage here. I think it's pretty even.
I think he might have been able to put the Inferno Tower one tile to the right there.
Master OJ with the perfect interactions right here.
Only I can call it the perfect micro interactions, but when it comes to macro interactions, I'm just gonna put stuff at the bridge.
Yeah. But here we are, about a minute and a half into the battle, and both relatively the same amount of health. 2,000 on Ian's, 1,900 up top, and you have another Sparky going down. Oh, the Mother Witch giving 2 Piggies as well.
Is Jorge onto the Evolved Barbarian rotation by now?
I think he is, because he placed it earlier on. So,
oh boy, and it's going to be double elixir. Are we going to see a Goblin Giant at the bridge? No, not enough elixir.
What is the Sparky doing? I guess he's just cycling
because
Sparky.
The Royal Delivery crushed its hopes and dreams. He's going all in Goblin Drill.
Oh, no, the arrows, dude. So juicy versus those wall breakers.
He's still getting damage down. It's at 1750. Oh,
look at the Magic Archer
for the cheap
One shot, 2 shots,
3
shots. Oh, it gets more. Yo, what?
From the Barbarians. And now he doesn't have enough to... he can just defend those Evolved Barbarians. But
he's saving his delivery for the Sparky, but the Barbarians lock on.
Really good minion.
That is a lot of damage. Minions to destruct the Inferno. Wallbreakers to sneak through. And the Night Evolution. Is it enough for the Sparky? Did the Wallbreaker connect? Yo, there's no way!
More damage, it was enough.
What? How did one Wallbreaker get through? Yo, that is absurd.
Focused on everything else. The Minion, the Goblin Giant, the Sparky.
Oh my
The
goodness, there's no
tornado,
chance.
the
Tornado
Archer,
pulls it in.
and that's Tower. 2-0 in
Wow.
the first match.
Two very well played games from Ian. I think he played those almost perfect. That matchup, looking back at it, was, I think, pretty difficult for Jorge because the Sparky just never really has a chance with all the spam.
Gentlemen, that was a quick one, I gotta say. Ian77 made quick work of Jorge, and I think it came down to some of the picks that he made, right? Like, especially in the second round, you know, the Goblin Drill was really what took out everything from the tower standpoint. Those drills were coming in from the right-hand side. And in game one, I don't think Ian, I was looking back, I don't think he missed a single log. OJ, what do you think Ian's strat was going in? Do you think he knew Jorge's decks? Like, did he counterpick well, or did he just outplay him?
I think it was a little bit of everything. In the first game, I was saying how he had Bomb Tower for the 3 Musketeers and the Royal Recruits. He had the Poison. He had the Miner for the Elixir Pump. It was just an overall solid matchup for Ian.
Yeah, I know you're a fan of the micro. I don't think he missed all of his royal deliveries were on point. All of his logs were on point. Like, everything was just solid from the side of Ian. Now, Shane, give me some insight here. We were talking about some of the decks. When it comes to Ian's decks, why do you think he chose some of the decks that he chose?
Well, I think OJ touched on the first matchup. The second matchup, I'm not too sure. It initially, when I was looking at it, I thought, hey, it can go either way. But looking back at it and how the battle played out, I just don't see any way of breaking through with that Goblin Giant and that Sparky because there's so much spam, and you have to wonder, like, was that spam intentional? Did he know that Sparky was going to come down? Either way, it was a really well played game. Even if he didn't have that matchup, like, he played it perfectly.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, OJ. We talked a little bit about the meta. We talked about Evo. I mean, Evo recruits looked really strong, and then immediately Evo Barbarians quick counter back. Talk to me a little bit about these replays. We're seeing the Goblin Drill here at the end. Everything just looked on point for Ian.
That's where the wall breakers were just meant to deflect the Sparky attack, but one actually ended up connecting because Jorge was so focused on the offensive push because he knew he needed to really put everything all down for that one very moment.
That's right. Quick look at the stats here across the board. Obviously, a domination here from Ian77. All signs pointing to him qualifying, but still has another match to go. Let's take a look at the decks here, Shane, because we've had a chance to talk quite a bit about them. Talk to me about what you're seeing.
Well, I think we mentioned it before. That first matchup was just heavily in favor of the Minor Poison. There's just no way for Jorge to break through with the Musketeers and the Recruits. The Barbarians is such a solid counter for the Recruits and the Musketeers. You get Poison and Log and a fairly quick cycle. Whenever the champion is down, you have a 3-card cycle. So just, cycle Poisons and Logs, and it's going to just take care of those Recruits and the Musketeers every time. And then the Miner just prevents any sort of pump build up. So it's a very, very solid deck choice from Ian.
Yeah, let's take a look at game 2. OJ, talk to me a little bit about these. Now, we had a little peek behind the curtain what game 3 would look like. But game 2, I mean, obviously, drills went crazy towards the end. But what else are you seeing?
Ian just had a very cycle deck that was just really hard to counter. The wall breakers were only 2 elixir. If anything connects, that's hundreds of damage in your tower. The drill is connecting every single time just because Jorge didn't really have any proper counters to that. And then the Magic Archer for the chip damage, he was putting down Magic Archer just perfectly every single time to get that extra 2 arrows on the tower.
That's a great shot. Well, let's take a look at the bracket. They did it. Ian did it. He's moved on to the next round. But looking at the bracket, we'll be able to chance to kind of peek behind the curtain here. We've got Clown and Katori that's actually right below, which means Ian77 is going to be playing the winner of that matchup. So I'll be excited to see what could happen there. And if he wins that, Ian77, but you've qualified already for the Grand Finals. It's that simple. You just got to win twice before you lose twice. But we're going to be heading down this bracket. We're going to be taking a look at Air Surfer versus Parsum next. And we hit on both of these players here, OJ. Both incredibly talented, well known in the scene. Air Surfer, I think Juicy J said best player in the US.
Yeah, those were his words before the stream, and we'll have to see if it plays out because Air Surfer is, he's been well known in Clash Royale for a long time, so he's, I think, everyone knows how much skill this guy possesses, so we'll see.
Yeah, and OJ, taking a look at Parsa, best Lava Loon freeze player is what Juicy said. So the problem is when you're specialized, like we talked about, likely you're going to see Air Surfer be able to counter that.
It is. He's not going to be having Lava Loon for all the decks, so we're going to have to see
That's right.
what's going to really happen. It's going to be an interesting match.
Yeah, okay, so I'll posit this question to you, OJ. What do you do if you're going against Parsa and you know they're going to specialize likely in game 1?
I would play it safe and just have anti-air for all of my decks, just in case.
Sure, yeah,
You never
because
know
you
what's
don't
gonna
know.
happen. You don't know if he's gonna play Lava Loon. I'm not gonna let the mind games get to me. I'm not gonna have that anxiety build up. I'm just gonna have anti-air for all the decks.
Yeah, well, that's
why I'm not a champion.
That's a great shout because you never know when he's actually going to play it. It's like it's a mind games. Let's take a look at the game, gentlemen. Take it away, Shane. All you as we go into the deck pick.
Thanks for that. Let's jump in here against Parsa and Air Surfer. Let's see if he does, in fact, have a Lava Hound. I think if it were me, I would just stack my first deck with all air defense. And then
Your
just hope for
first
the
deck
best.
with all air defense. Going again with wall breakers. I love seeing this.
Wall breakers is such an interesting card. Whenever I face them, they just, no matter what I do, I could be spending 10 elixir defending them. One of the wall breakers always gets through to my tower, and I'm like, what? How is this happening? Nice little
This
magic.
is going to be such a nerve-wracking match. Air Surfer's allegedly considered one of the best players in the United States. This is going to be quite a difficult match.
Oh, look at that magic archer value left side. Already at 2,500 health. Solid split lane push coming in with the Skeleton King right lane and his Skeleton Bear left side. Nice little delivery there. But it was a bit too early. Skeleton's locking on.
The cannon cart popped before anything happened. He's going to have to eat that Dark Goblin damage.
Do you think it would have been better to delay that delivery just a few more moments to destroy the skeletons afterwards, or?
That delivery did stop the cannon cart from dealing a lot of damage, so I
that's
think
true,
what he
that's
did was
true.
the right play.
Wolver's going in. Nice little Goblin gang from Parsa up top. Oh, and the poison destroys the magic archer. The damage adding up.
At least the Magic Archer defended both lanes.
This is an interesting little swarm deck with the Skeleton King, the Skeleton Barrel, and a bunch of spam. And you also have the poison spell to clean up the magic archer. Does Air Surfer have enough splash damage to deal with all of this?
What do you think his last two
Delivery
cards
stops
are? There
cannon
might be a
cart?
bomb tower in one of them.
We got delivery. Do you think another spell in there?
We'll
You
see.
think a spell in a defensive building? Wallbreaker's going in. What has he got? Oh, the mortar going down.
That's a
Okay.
great placement that forced him to play the knight.
Oh, almost got the king activated. Nice magic archer to finish the mortar off once it's distracted. But
And
decent
that
poison
mortar was
value.
placed in such a way that the Magic Archer couldn't get value. So I don't know if he did that intentionally, but that was a pretty
you know
slick
he
placement
did.
on the mortar.
That was calculated. Knight going in, destroys the skeleton king. Oh, and he can't even get the ability off. And a quick Wahlberg's left side, keeping him on his toes. Oh, one of them always
It almost
connects.
connects. Now, if we saw the knight in the other lane, that mortar wouldn't be connecting at all, but because it's in the left lane, he's forced to use the Inferno Tower.
And this knight here, gonna be hit with the shield ability because it is evolved, destroys the cannon card. But Air Surfer forced to use an Inferno Tower against the mortar for a -1 trade. And then the
Wallbreakers
second
are going to
splash
connect
damage.
regardless of the
Oh,
Skeleton
yo,
King
what?
splash.
Woo! See, I told you, no matter what you do for the Wallbreakers, they always connect, and they do so much damage.
Satisfying.
We have an evolved mortar going down here for Parsa. Spawning out some goblins with each a mortar blast. Oh, and the
There
Wallbreakers
goes
just
the
keep
Evolved
destroyed.
Mortar. Oh. Wallbreakers take out the Evolved Mortar. It took the entire game to get to that
That
cycle.
Dark Up's not in range. It's not within range. It's so much value.
You know what? The cannon cart would have taken it out anyways, so I think it would have been the same outcome.
Oh, it's a greedy NATO, I'm sorry to say. I don't think he achieved what he wanted to achieve with that NATO spell. This skeleton,
That's a
look at this
perfect
swarm.
4-1 placement, enough to pull the skeleton.
Delivery here.
Oh,
So much spam coming in. I don't think Air Surfer has enough splash damage. If he had a bomb tower instead of the Inferno, it'd be a whole different story.
you're saying
The Goblin Drill, though.
Air Surfer's losing right now, but they're kind of equal in tower health. It's looking pretty
Oh.
good.
Air Surfer is
Surfer's
winning,
in the
but
lead now with the damage on the right side.
oh, maybe the
That
Inferno Tower is
cannon
a solid
cart
choice.
with the pixel of health, that's causing him trouble though.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that was a
think Air Surfer's
value
been-
roll delivery.
He's just doing a great job of getting that little bit of chip damage each time. You know, Goblin Drill goes in, you get a few stabs off.
So I
you get a
think-
few magic archer shots.
He noticed
Oh, and the wall breakers, dude! How did they get through?
Goblin Drill plus wall breakers, he can't really defend that right now.
Yo, what?
One tornado.
How is
that's
that
it.
legal? Oh my
Or
goodness, the
Magic
magic archer. Dude, that's insane. The wall breakers, just like 1,000 goblins down the wall breakers, just like, don't mind me. I'm just gonna make it
Yeah.
through this tower and do 1,000 damage. Now let's see. You think match 2, Lava Hound's coming out?
It's gotta. Because if he loses this,
We'll see if Juicy is correct here. Juicy is our insider.
But then if
here, so
if Air Surfer thinks he's gonna go Lava Hound, maybe Air Surfer's gonna go Lava Hound and he's gonna go counter Lava. No.
Oh, there's the Lava Hound. There we go. Oh, nice spam left side. Does he ignore the Lumberjack?
Oh my
He has to, right?
goodness, that's a lot of damage on the Lumberjack. Air Surfer knew.
Well, he knew he was low in elixir, right? You can only afford what, arrows? That was it. You know the options.
So we've been
Here,
told
Parsa capitalized.
that he's one of the best Lavaloon freeze players in the world.
Inferno's gonna lock on. Nice snowball there to distract the Infernal Dragon. It should lock on still though. Does he have a reset? He doesn't have a reset. Should lock on, and the freeze goes down. That tower's destroyed.
Goodness. The freeze Inferno Dragon.
Yo,
It's not even a minute into this game yet. That's ridiculous.
dude, the freeze came out of nowhere, but you kind of have to be expecting that, knowing that he's gonna use lava freeze. Nice blue for that mortar.
Shoot. Mortar with 1 tower down. This is going to be an uphill battle for Air Surfer.
Oh no. Look at that rush with the goblins and the lumberjack. And there's still a chance here. It's out at 1500 HP.
He's going to have to get to that
Typically,
evolved mortar to deal any damage to get through at this point.
See, Air Surfer's running a deck that typically just gets 1 tower. Like, Parsa has the edge here now with 1 tower being down and a beatdown strategy.
Yeah, you can put evolved barbarians in the pocket, Lava Hound in the pocket, Balloon in the pocket, and he's going to have to use mortar defensively.
All these pockets now. Infernal Dragon left side. Battle of the Infernos. Mortar going in. Oh man, there's no way. Wait. The only benefit is that he only has 2 ground cards, Goblins and Barbarians, so if they're out of rotation, he's got no distraction. Balloon by itself. Parsa wasted his air defense.
That was a really great snowball on him. And now the biggest thing is that Air Surfer has an evolved mortar that will come into rotation very soon.
Wait, I just realized Air Surfer is a mortar and balloon deck. What?
Right?
What is this? What is this deck?
Every time he's going in with Lumberjack when he goes Lava Hound.
It's a smart play because it forces an immediate response.
Yeah,
Goblin's gonna lock on. That tower might go down.
Ground troops.
Oh, and the Lumberjack rages up the goblins that spawn from the mortar.
Is it possible to defend this with just Musketeer Inferno Dragon?
Oh my goodness. And here we are saying, oh, there's no way that mortar's gonna lock on when the tower's down. And he succeeds, destroys the tower. A mortar goes in here.
Defensive mortar. It's going to absorb
Nice freeze.
2 balloon hits, but it's still going to get through. The arrows were a little bit late.
It's not over yet, though. Oh, but the Barbarians and the pups lock on. Air Surfer is out of elixir.
Barbarian's going to lock on, and that's the 2nd tower right there. Unbelievable that
I noticed the Lumberjack went down at the last moment of the Cane Tower, and it distracted the Barbarians, but not the one next to the tower that was weak. I'm wondering if he would have placed that Lumberjack 2 tiles to the left, if he could have defended that tower. And now we have the 3rd match going in. Obviously, no more Lava Hound available.
I wonder if this is anti-air deck. Like, I'm talking like bats, minions, and Tesla,
and everything else.
Musketeer, Electro.
Yep. Or it could be a cycle. We got an Ice Spirit. Battle of the Ice Spirits over here.
No way that Ice Spirit connects and deals that damage.
Do you think that's prediction? His profile.
Oh, for sure it was. That was.
I'm gonna predict an Ice Spirit right here. Oh, the
Hog EQ.
Yeah, Hog EQ versus. Maybe it's a battle of Hog EQ decks. Oh, it might be. Battle of the Earthquake. Monk versus Knight.
I love seeing the evolutions in all these deck picks, just because it just makes sense to have them.
Well, I like seeing the variety of the different evolutions. Like you have the Firecracker in here. It works so well, and the Barbarians work so well in Lava Hound decks.
Oh, that's a
All
really
going
good.
in. No EQ available
tanking
for the
everything.
Bomb Tower. The Firecracker with that value though.
Is that going to be a king activation? Yes, it is with the Ice Spirit.
Oh, there it is. And 1 shot from the Firecracker. Oh, it does 300 damage. Do you think Parsa also has a Firecracker in his deck?
No, just because of the Knight, I don't think he would have any reason to.
You think if it's not evolved version, he's not going to be using it?
Yeah,
Just pass
it's because it's a risk to activate the King Tower so easily.
Oh. See, I think the Firecracker gives Air Surfer the edge here because it provides a significant source of chip damage. Nice log spell with the skeletons too.
He did get a lot of damage early on with the monk, so this is going to be a really hefty push.
Got monk going in. Where's the final card? Oh, it's a musketeer. Oh no. I gotta be honest with you. I think the advantage goes to the firecracker deck here. Provides a substantial source of chip damage.
Blocks the monk before it crosses the bridge, forcing an early activation.
Oh, when musketeer destroys herself. Nice. Earthquake and the evolved firecracker with that chip damage. Hog gets through. One shot to that tower.
That evolved knight, though, it's
Does he have a
deceptively
chance here?
strong. It's got 2,000 health.
I don't know, dude. The Tesla goes in, distracts the Hog Rider. The Firecracker, like it's basically a mirror matchup at this point, but the Firecracker versus a Musketeer.
Monk to tank for everything, including the bomb.
Yes, look at this value. Hog goes in, bomb tower's destroyed, no damage to the
Not
tower.
with the King Tower activated, Hog doesn't get a hit.
No, but I think at that point, like you're literally just forcing your opponent to spend all of the elixir on defense with no counter push, and at the same time you're getting earthquake damage and firecracker damage. So you're just basically cycling cards, getting that chip damage all the time for Air Surfer. Pump Hog gets destroyed, yeah.
They're chilling, but Air Surfer's getting slightly more damage. I think it's just going to be an earthquake kind of game at this point.
Earthquake battle, down to the wire with some quick earthquake.
You think he's going to do guards right before it crosses? Oh, he
Nope,
tried
he
predicting the
crosses.
guards.
Get the ability, do that chip damage, and then he doesn't have bomb tower. Oh, there it is. And the firecrackers evolved again. Oh no.
The log
Can you
doesn't
protect
stop.
it?
Hog still gets one hit on the tower.
The Hog protection
Going
for
in
the firecracker,
with
keep it
another
alive. Yo, what? Keep in mind that Air Surfer also has a faster cycle when he's got the monk down, the 3-card cycle. Uh-oh. But he's caught with no tower here. With the monk with a knockback.
That's one. You know what? It's fine. He can afford that damage right now.
This is fine.
Hog Rider to tank for the Musketeer because he doesn't want any hits at all. He's way in the lead. He just needs to cycle a few more Hog Riders, a few more Earthquakes, and he's good.
This is a chip cycle race right
If
now.
he just put down
Going
Earthquake
in.
1 second later, that Musketeer would be toast.
I think he has his defense down on lockdown, though. The monk just knocks back the Hog Rider, the lock spell, and the Tesla. How do you break through? Monk going in. Hog's destroyed. I don't think he's got a chance to break through with this. Unless Air Surfer makes a mistake and gets caught off guard. He can just easily just play defense and stack a few Earthquakes and fire.
That Tesla took out that Ice Spirit. It was a very subtle thing, but very game-changing.
Hog gets through. Hog gets through.
There's the
Oh.
Earthquake.
Last Earthquake finishes tower off.
2-1 victory. That just means Air Surfer is going to move on to the bracket, and he's going to need to face Ian next. Wait.
Oh, that'll be that matchup of the decade, right? Air Surfer versus Ian 77. Do you have that correct?
By Air Surfer. First time to the third game, by the way. So already seeing that in the first one. Now, as a reminder for the bracket, is a great question. I thought for a second, too, that we were going to see Air Surfer versus Ian. No, they're actually one apart, and you only have to win twice. So if we would have kept the bracket going, they would have seen each other in the semifinals. But you only got to get top 8 out of 16. So both with a chance to move forward. Now, talk to me a little bit about that game. We're going to get some replays going here in a second. Here they are. Let's take a look at game 1 in particular. Shane, I mean, Parsa actually started out with a slight lead. The big mortar placement from Parsa was actually what went massive for defense, but of course, Air Surfer ends up taking it.
Yeah, that last interaction we just saw right there with that tornado spell and the goblin drill and the wall breakers. Yeah, there's just so much value. The wall breakers always slip through. And then right here, look at this. The Infernal locking on with the freeze spell. There's, last second freeze catching him off guard. One Infernal destroys the entire tower. I was surprised by this mortar right here connecting to that tower and finishing it off. Obviously, utilizing the rage spell from the Lumberjack.
He did use the Lumberjack to bait the Goblin, so he didn't have any ground troops in rotation. So that was a really good...
And then it's already right there for the rage spell, too. But see, here the Barbarian's going in, and Air Surfer places the Lumberjack next to his King Tower. But if he would have used the Lumberjack closer, it would have distracted the Barbarians.
Yeah, OJ, in the third one, we're seeing the final replays of our third game. I mean, nearly identical decks, right? It was just Air Surfer was able to cycle faster.
It was very, very subtle, but Air Surfer just slightly had the lead with the Monk. It was hard to get through the Monk with everything. The Monk would just provide so much value. It would deflect damage onto the tower and take out his Musketeer.
Yeah, you can see the stats here. Average tower damage, obviously nearly equal. But let's take a look at the decks. I know we've been talking about them. The Monk was crucial to tank. But let's look at game 1 deck. And Shane, I know you touched on this, but comparing and contrasting, seemed like Air Surfer had an advantage.
Yeah, I gotta say, like with the Tornado Delivery and the Magic Archer, it just destroys all of the Swarm from Parsa. I thought the Poison Spell would be more of a deciding factor for the Magic Archer, but unfortunately just couldn't really break through the fast cycle and the splash damage that Air Surfer had.
Yeah, let's look at game 2 because I got to shout out Juicy J doing his watch party right now. I think he was right? Like Parsa had a fun game 2 and kind of lived up to form, OJ.
Oh, this is the one where I was telling Shane, if I was facing Parsa right now, I would bring anti-air into all 3 decks. Just massive Teslas and Musketeers and Bats and everything into everything.
Yeah, definitely the Lava Hound freeze in the first like 38 seconds or whatever it was ridiculous. But let's look at the third game. Shane, you can walk me through this. Look how close these decks were in competition.
Yeah, I think the 2 small changes, like having the Monk and the Firecracker for Air Surfer, changed the matchup significantly. It allows Air Surfer to cycle faster with the 3-card cycle. The Firecracker is a consistent source of chip damage, which is how you play that deck with the Lock Spells, the Earthquakes. The Firecracker is, adding up that chip damage over time. It just kind of gave the edge to Air Surfer, whereas Parsa couldn't really break through with the Musketeer or the Knight.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I gotta say, very close competition. Fun to see. Juicy J was right, but job's not done, gentlemen. As we take a look at the bracket, you can tell, well, other games have been going on behind the scenes. So we see Katori moving on over Clown. Of course, we saw Air Surfer win there. Darien 240 actually won over Luminary. But the next matchup we're heading to, gentlemen, and the last one for you both to be in here at this moment before we change up the casters, is Cheesecake versus Allen. So a brand new competition, a brand new pair of players. The big question is, what do we think is going to happen? And since it's our last matchup with you two in particular, Shane, I'm going to give you a chance here. It's time for a prediction. Even if you don't know these players that well, Shane, I need you to take a side. You get first dibs on who you think is going to win.
Okay, well, I'm gonna choose cheesecake just because cheesecake is one of my favorite desserts. So,
Okay.
I gotta go. You gotta go with the cheesecake.
OJ, what are you thinking? Are you going with Cheesecake or you go with Allen?
Cheesecake is a solid player, and we've been told that Allen has coached some players in CRL, so it's gonna be a force to be reckoned with.
Okay.
I can't pick.
Okay, fine. You can abstain. I'll go with Allen. I'm a coach myself in a number of different things, and so I will stick with the coach mentality. High IQ plays, right? Like, OJ might have the micro down, but Allen's got the macro strategies. There's no question about it. We'll see who's going to be right here in just a second. That game's about to get started. Okay, we talked predictions. We talked players. We know a little bit about these players. Gentlemen, I know you've got watch parties. I know you've got content around the block. Let's talk a little bit about the Galaxy Z Fold 5. I know you've both had a chance to get your hands on the device, an incredible phone, and one of those things that a lot of your creators need. Talk to me about the micro here, OJ, because I know you're a micro guy. Galaxy Z Fold 5, feel pretty good?
It's amazing when you fold it out, got a massive screen on there. It makes a huge difference for gameplay. Clash Royale, I can actually place down the units with my fat fingers.
Look,
it's like carrying a mini tablet in your pocket. It's an amazing device. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's what I was going with. I was not implying you had fat fingers, but I was implying the micro is certainly easier, right? 7.6-inch screen. It's gigantic, so you got plenty of room to work with. And if you don't want it to be that big, you just fold it up. It's awesome. So we'll see, of course, you guys being able to use those later. You're going to be competing yourself, but take it away, gentlemen. It's time for the games. OJ, let's take a look at it.
All right, what do we have here?
All right, cheesecake. I'm team cheesecake. I love this dessert versus
I love this
Allen.
dessert. We don't have much intel on if they like any special decks, because Parsa had, we knew Parsa was going to pull Lava Loon.
Oh, we got a Lava Hound already. Lava Hound's a difficult strat and more wall breakers.
Oh, I love when wall breakers connect. That's almost 1,000
So
damage on the bat.
It's so satisfying for 2 elixir. It's gonna be one of the more like the highest like elixir per value or per damage value in the game. Interesting Inferno. Miner for the Archer. Oh, but his power though.
Archer, what?
Oh, what? Oh no.
That's
Do you think
a
that was
really
calculated?
good kite on the Inferno Dragon, but now he's got to deal with that.
I mean, it is some good damage. The miner does lock on that tower. I'm not too sure if he wanted that magic archer destroyed. I assume he did. But it's still 1,000
Archer
damage.
turns just enough.
He's got no spell. He's gonna sacrifice that damage, dude. Oh, the Infernal Dragon right side of the Skeleton Dragon. Cheesecake seems very, like, you know, very risky here. He's willing to sacrifice a lot of tower damage to get that push going on. Will it pay off, or will it take a bite out of his strategy here? Do you see what I did there, LJ? That's bite because it's Cheesecake.
Oh, jeez. So we're seeing Evolution Knights on both of the decks right now. It just makes me wonder what we're going to see next. Are we going to see Barbarians, Firecrackers, Royal Recruits, or no Evolutions?
Oh, could you imagine just no evolution for a battle? I want to see Evolve Skeletons. There's the Knight going down. Roll going in.
Yeah, there's no way that there's no Evolved Skeletons. I want to see the winner of this entire tournament use Evolved Skeletons.
Oh, issue a challenge. Wolver's going in. GT's got no answer. Oh, is it the Goblin Drill? Look at that minor damage.
That Goblin Drill, or that Goblin Cage, was worked out perfectly because it got one stab with the miner. But he's going to ignore that Magic Archer completely on the right side now. That's...
Oh, King Activation.
King Activation.
King Activation. Let's go.
That is valuable.
See, Alan is doing a great job keeping the pressure up. Like, Cheesecake just does not have an opportunity to build a push. Right now,
But Cheesecake doesn't have anything cheap, and he knows he can't afford to have that wall breaker right that connects, so he wasted his Evolution Knight.
Oh, nice Zap spell. It's locked on. That's tower down. He's got no chance, right?
Oh, man, that was an expensive...
Alan does not have a heavy spell.
He's got Goblin Cage for the wall breakers.
Wall breakers die? Oh, no.
He needs to.
Alan has no heavy spell, though. He's got no heavy spell to finish power off. In a miner, though. Fireball out of the way. There it is. There's the fireball. One more hit, and that's it. He's got no chance. Oh, man. Cheesecake with the last second comeback. Massive Lava Hound push. Takes the first round.
What deck are they going to have next? I want Evolved Skeletons.
I want to see Evolved. What do we got here? Royal Giant. Evolved Royal Giant, yes. Unfortunately. Going to be Barbarians, my prediction. Barbarians or Recruits. Two cycle decks. Guard going in.
Every time I see Ice Spirit, I think of Hog Rider, even if it's not.
Just think of Hog Cycle.
Yeah.
Nice snowball. Oh, there is the Evolve Royal Giant. Let's go. Firecracker versus Royal Giant Evolution.
Evo RG? We haven't seen that this entire tournament.
Okay. Nice fishy boy.
Oh, he knows
King
he's not
Tower
doing
and
King
pulls in the
activation,
Hog
so he
Rider.
put down the skeletons. Oh, well, he activated with the Firecracker anyways.
I think he used the Fishman there because he wanted to distract the Firecracker.
And
too.
the Monk is tanking for the Royal Giant right now. And
oh, no, that Archer's going to lock on. He's going to lock on. He doesn't have a lock spell. Oh, the nice arrows to start the guards, too.
Oh, he needed those guards.
See, normally you see a lock spell with a Hog deck because you lock that RG away and it gives you so much more time, but he's got a snowball. Interesting choice with this deck. See,
Alan says he's in trouble right now because
RG.
he doesn't really have much to address. Evolved Royal Giant versus regular Hog Rider.
Fishman to pull the Valkyrie away. I'm surprised he chose to sacrifice that Hog damage, but in the end, that RG's going to destroy that tower.
Yeah, there was a King activation, so you didn't need to worry too much about that Hog Rider.
I suppose, see, for me, I would have went the Fisherman on the Hog Rider to defend.
I would have done the same thing. I'm more about that micro. Like, logically, it makes sense to defend the Hog Rider for 3 elixir, but he knew that he's going to take the tower with the Fisherman pulling the Valkyrie, which is more the macro strategy and the higher level of how much damage you sacrifice to gain that elixir lead to gain a crown. I'm just not good with macro.
One more Hog going in. Does he have an answer? Nice snowball there. He sacrifices the damage. RG going in, and that it should be able to break through the Tesla quite nicely. Oh, with the Ice Spirit and guards.
Spirit and guards. No hits. Oh, going with a spicy Electro Spirit Phoenix defense. Is he going to do a Royal Giant in the pocket now? He's got.
I totally would. He's got. So the RG, there it is. There it is. It's so powerful.
He's not going to after spending a Phoenix on guards.
With that knockback, see, look at that damage, dude. Oh my goodness, it's so good. And the Luck's able to finish it off. I like the combination of arrows and log to finish off the Evolve Firecracker. Obviously, no, the Monk here should knock away. The wasted snowball by Alan, too. He was predicting a Fisherman.
Knocks it into the tower, but that still wasn't enough. Phoenix Skeletons, Monk is way too much damage.
There's the ability, and that's going to be a game. Cheesecake taking the match. There we go.
Wow, going with the arrows to completely defend the Hog Rider.
All right, so now we know. Just vote with your stomach, and you should be right. Cheesecake taking the victory over here. I wonder what kind of flavor. Cheesecake.
Gentlemen. My coach failed me, unfortunately. Vote with your stomach. Shane, look, I don't mind the take. I thought at the first, though, like in game one, Alan actually looked really strong, right? Was honestly dominating up until the massive push by Cheesecake. I mean, OJ, you said something about, hey, all of his units are cheap, right? Like, he had an opportunity to cycle. What was Cheesecake's strategy there that was able to make that final push to actually break the tower?
It was just the fact that he ignored the Hog Rider so that he could use his Fisherman to pull the Valkyrie that he was using for the Royal Giant. So he sacrificed a little bit of tower damage to take out the other tower. And me and Shane were like, oh, we would have used the Fisherman to defend the Hog Rider.
Yeah, let's look at those replays, Shane. Talk me through game one in particular, right? Cheesecake made a late game push that was dominant. And it was crazy, too, because you saw these towers go so low on the side of Cheesecake.
Yeah, so Alan does such a great job of maintaining pressure the entire battle, basically never letting Cheesecake build up a massive push, because you see what happens here. If he does get one opportunity for one push, that's all it takes. And so he was able to get it through in the very last moment of the gameplay in double extra period. And that's all it took to win the game, because Alan didn't have a heavy spell to finish that tower off right lane. And here obviously is the RG and the Fisherman that we mentioned earlier. RG just going in and then denies the Hog Rider with that Monk. And then the prediction snowball, which didn't really translate to anything. I think he was thinking that Cheesecake would use a Fisherman there, but it didn't quite pan out the way he wanted.
Yeah, let's take a look at these stats for just a moment. Of course, it's a domination here from Cheesecake. Very well done to take down the coach, Alan. Now, Alan's journey is not done yet, folks. It is double elimination today. We got to have 8 players qualify. 4 will come from the upper bracket. 4 from the lower bracket. Could still see Alan. But let's take a look at that brackets. The decks first, if we can, to see game 1 deck in particular. OJ, take me through it.
It was pretty solid. Cheesecake had the Lava Hound, and he just went through everything. Alan didn't really have much to answer other than the Bomb Tower and a Magic Archer, but he did use the Tornado to activate the King Tower, just using whatever he could at that moment.
Yeah, let's take a look at game 2 here with Shane. RG. I mean, Royal Giant was really the dominating factor here, and it didn't seem like Alan had anything to protect against it.
Yeah, it's funny because we kind of called it out beforehand. I was like, I want to see a Revolve or a Giant. Next, it comes down and dominates that matchup. Just a very well played game, and obviously, like with the RG breaking through the evolution, the Tesla just isn't enough. And then the Monk is such a strong counter for the Hog Rider. It's a very difficult matchup for Alan to kind of break through.
I totally agree. Let's take a look at the bracket because, well, things are changing, things are updating, and we're going to get a chance to see who has a chance to qualify in the upper bracket. Now, every matchup done in the upper bracket, aside from Adam and Troy, still waiting to see who's going to win that one, but you can see all of the players that have moved on to round 2. Jobs not done yet at the very least. Cheesecake is going to be going up against Sugar Frenzy next, so talk about voting with your stomach. I don't know where we go in that matchup, but let's take a look at the lower bracket in particular, because these are our players that have moved down, and we actually see OJ Parsa's out of it. Lost in the second round, in the first round of the lower bracket, the second round overall. Luminary getting the better of that matchup.
Already eliminated, but Luminary is gonna be facing whoever's gonna be in the first one. That's gonna be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, you'll see somebody actually drop down from the upper bracket if they lose in round 2 of the upper bracket. That's who drops down to face Luminary. So a lot still to be decided, but so far one player already fully eliminated, a couple players poised and ready to go. Speaking of poised and ready to go, gentlemen, before I send you away, I do need to talk about a couple of different Samsung products. We've talked about the Galaxy Z Fold 5. It's incredible. We've talked about it. We've shown it. But we also have some other Samsung products we want to highlight. The Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Plus. One of the things you can actually win if you win the Grand Finals, but you can actually just go get your hands on it. You want to, because you can discover a world of endless possibilities with the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Plus. It's strengthened by Samsung's mightiest processor, and you'll have the power to unlock and inspire greatness with the Wi-Fi connectivity and enhanced durability. Go check it out. The link is in the description down below. You can also head over and type in the command on YouTube and all of our live stream channels. The exclamation point Galaxy Tab S9 will pull up that link for you. It makes it easy. And speaking of our live stream platforms, we're live all over the place. You got to go check out Samsung and stay connected with them. All of those links are down below as well. Go get involved. So many different products, beautiful products that our amazing creators were showing off, as well as a ton of different events. Now, folks at home, we are going to take a very short break here in just a moment, but up next, we have our next match, okay? One more matchup to be decided in the upper bracket. We're going to shift some things around behind the scenes with our creators, and as we do that, we will head to a very short break, but don't go anywhere. We have a ton more going on behind the scenes and a ton of more matches to show. Really excited to see who our final 8 players will be that make it to the Grand Finals on September 30th. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Jack and I are here right now to announce something very exciting. Right now to announce something very exciting. Drum roll, please. Where the entire Supercell community will come together. First of its kind cross-game event where Supercell universes will collide as creators and players will compete in Brawl Stars, Clash of Clans, and Clash Royale to find out who the best gamer in the Superverse is. The Grand Finals will have a $100,000 prize pool. It would be much? $100,000 prize pool! Whoa. The finals are going to be on September 30th, and Courage and I are going to be casting. Courage will be casting. I'll be there. I will attempt to cast.
You will be casting.
I will attempt to cast.
You will be casting too.
I'll be casting. Yes.
Oh, this is gonna be exciting. For the finale on September 30th, we got some interesting fellas going on. Huge shout out to Samsung for sponsoring this entire tournament. It's a $100,000 prize pool. This is going to be the first time we've ever done this. Like Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, and Brawl Stars all... Samsung can really go for this one for real, Yusuf. This is great. Nah, I'm not covering the bracket. How's everyone doing? Nah, there's no emotes today. We're just spectating who's gonna qualify. There's gonna be 8 people that are gonna qualify for the finals. This is the Clash Royale segment. They already had the Clash of Clans and the Brawl Stars. Who do I think is gonna win? So how it's gonna work is there's gonna be 8 from Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, and Brawl Stars, and they're gonna team up with 8 creators. So I'm gonna get 1 player from each team. So I am in it for the grand finale on the 30th. That's gonna be hype. Honestly, who do I think is gonna win? I think and I'm not saying this because I'm the greatest. I think I have a good chance because I play all 3 games. That being said, Kairos is a force to be reckoned with. He played Clash of Clans competitively. He played Clan Wars, and he would kick out his co-workers if they weren't performing in Clash of Clans. And he essentially invented if not popularized bridge spam. He's one of the earliest people in the world to use Battle Ram Bandit bridge spam. Not a lot of people know about Kairos. They just see him as the... According to my calculations, Piper has a 13.9 tile range. But no. He's the grandpappy of bridge spam.
Ignore him. Focus. Remain calm as they press. Find a way through. Consider all possibilities.
So here's the dilemma, chat.
Then make your move.
You've got Ian, who's insane at Clash Royale. But is he also good with Clash of Clans and Clash?
Back the $100,000 Galaxy Battle.
Clash of Clans and Brawl Stars? That's the thing. We're here to look for players that are good in all three games. You know what I mean?
The Clash Royale Qualifier Finals. We've seen several matchups. And now we've got Juicy J joining me and Shane. Juicy, what'd you think about those first couple matchups?
Honestly, it was crazy. That comeback against the Lava Loon, that was one of the craziest comeback ever. Lava Loon definitely has the matchup there, or Lava Miner rather, but it was still crazy to see. I mean, my whole chat was spamming Alan choked. I was like, no. Poor Alan.
Look, I was cheering on Alan too. Now, Shane certainly was not, but in game one, Alan really did well, right? Like, we talked about it a little bit on broadcast just a moment ago. I think both those towers got down to like less than 500. It was like 440 and 240 or something like that. And it was just that massive push at the end by Cheesecake that really set him up for success. So it was fun to watch. Now, we've got a couple more matchups coming down the line as well. And Shane, as we take a look at this bracket, we're going to be talking about
Adam and Droy haven't played yet?
In particular that we're going to be starting with before we move on to some of these round 2 matchups, right? We still have one more to solve, and that's going to be Adam and Droy. And any thoughts on this matchup, Shane?
Well, I'm curious to see, because OJ mentioned that Droy was Mr. Cena.
Yeah, you definitely do need a
I'm not too sure what
Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5.
So I like kind of going in and, waiting for a surprise. And I think that's going to be an interesting match.
Yeah, should be a fun one. Juicy J, what you got for me? I know you're the big brain Clash Royale guy, so what are we thinking of this matchup? 7.6-inch
screen of Clash Royale.
Honestly,
the tablet in your pocket.
I know a lot about Adam. He's a fellow TikToker, and he plays E-Giant. He's a fellow E-Giant player as well. A lot of my chat was saying that he doesn't know anything else to play other than E-Giant, but I'm not sure if that's
really
true. I'm definitely interested to see what else he brings to the table here in this best of 3.
Yeah,
Droy's a sleeper. No one really knows about Droy except me.
Like when you have one specialty, you know it's coming at some point. The big question is when, right? Like you might not even
a caster.
throw it
I was a caster, and I think UCJ is going to carry.
And so it's this kind of game of cat and mouse, this chess game of these players trying to predict what's going to happen. I mean, Juicy, what would you do if you're going up against Adam when you're trying to pick your decks?
Honestly, I would not play E-Giant first game. I would wait to see maybe a couple E-Giant counters come out, because it is duels formatting. So if you see maybe Mini P.E.K.K.A in a big building,
so he's playing it safe
right at the beginning, you don't want.
Is that what Juicy J would do? Play it safe.
What if after you've seen those?
What if they save their E-Giant counters for the first
deck? Take it away, gentlemen.
All right, Juicy, let's go into this. We got Droy and Adam. You mentioned that E-Giant might be a factor here.
Absolutely, Adam very good with E-Giant. He's been using an E-Giant variation with Electro Dragon this season, which has been pretty crazy. Yeah.
Is E-Giant still like really strong competitively, or is it just like an interesting kind of like unique strategy that Adam like has perfected?
Is Juicy J my son? I'll adopt him.
E-Giant's kind of falling out of the meta with the Evil Barbs and also just the other quick cycle decks with like the Magic Guard Tornado with the Bomb Tower and all that. But, if you're an E-Giant one trick, you play E-Giant. That's just kind of what happens sometimes.
This is my son. Wilbur's going for a walk right now.
We'll see if it is.
She'll be back.
Here right now. We got Skeleton Dragons going in, destroying the Firecracker. Hog, Snowball again up top from Roy. And it appears that Adam's running some sort of beatdown strategy. So we got Fast Cycle versus beatdown.
Fast Cycle versus beatdown. Yeah, it looks like Adam's using Lava Hounds here. That arrows Shane gonna be doing so good versus these Firecrackers. I'm pretty sure Droy's only air defense is just the Firecracker, unless maybe he's got Inferno Tower, which is gonna be so difficult for him.
Oh man, we'll have to see. But that Hog Rider connecting already.
Is that him?
1400
Yeah, oh
health.
yeah,
Of course,
it's
we've seen
a full
Lava
air
Hound
deck.
come from behind earlier on, and so you can never really count them out with those beatdown strategies. All they need is just one moment, one massive push, and the game can be theirs. Firecracker going in, and there's the Inferno Tower.
Oh, Droid has an
no, it's
Inferno
right
Tower
onto
for the
Lava too, and the
freaking
Valkyrie for the
Inferno or the
Barbarian.
Lava Hound.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, dude.
This is something we've seen in Sierra a little bit. Like sometimes you play Augie Q, but you're very weak versus Lava Hounds. So you put that Inferno Tower in. But then you're weak versus the Evil Barbs. So we actually see that tank slot put in with the Valkyrie. And the Valkyrie covers
I
all
don't
the
think it's
bases.
gonna
I mean,
really
this is
get
a
through.
great deck pick from Droy here.
Yeah, it's fantastic, especially paired up with the Ice Spirit and the Snowball to just knock the Barbarians away, giving your Valkyrie time to destroy them before getting destroyed herself.
Yeah.
While going in, getting a few shots to that tower. I don't know how Adam's going to set up here.
He goes for the
Obviously, the
balloon,
Firecracker. Oh, that's a nice prediction of the Valkyrie versus the Miner, keeping the Firecracker alive.
and that snowball.
Balloon is in front. Oh, no.
Balloon
Yeah,
doesn't
that snowball,
connect.
I mean, you talked about
Droid
it
with the
earlier, knocking back
defense.
the bars, but look
Oh.
at it, knocking back the balloon there, just getting so much value. And this Hog Rider is so hard to stop. Barbarians do the job though.
They get the job done, but they're so heavy for a cycle that, you know, Jordan
Like
can get
Juicy
back
was
into the
saying,
Hog
those
Rider
arrows are
quickly,
value
get the
for him.
Barbarians back. Valkyrie going down, obviously.
Predicted his
Falcon
prediction.
Dragons tearing through that Valkyrie.
Ice,
And a nice earthquake from Droid.
yeah, Ice Spear gonna freeze up a little bit. EQ just gonna be cycling out here. As long as he doesn't make a big mistake and let this Inferno Tower get broken through with maybe like a zap. I mean, he should be able to get this game in the back.
You
Arrows
watch
come
Juicy to
down.
get better than you
Maybe
watch
zap
me to
comes
see
down
some
that
people get
Firecracker,
cheesed.
But it's just not enough.
Don't watch me to get better.
Happen here for Adam.
Oh, but the Barbarians
my
going
micro
in.
videos
One
are
is alive.
alright.
Miner's tanking. Oh, not quite. And the Hog goes
There's the
in.
Hog Rider.
Nobody
Droid's
stops
gonna get
that.
the hit.
That
He
is
didn't really
Droid.
have.
Tower
Adam
goes
did have
down.
Barbarians.
Unfortunate matchup. That is a very
Oh,
difficult battle
who's
to get
there
anything
flexing
going on
the-
with that constant pressure of the Hog Rider and the
Global
Firecracker.
tournament emote. That was a top
Yeah,
100
Honestly,
emote.
like, you just can't break
Like
through
the
that defense
king,
of the Snowball and the Inferno.
Yeah, the Inferno was honestly the MVP.
The-
of that
the-
match.
the
It doesn't
trophy.
seem like it. The Firecracker definitely got a decent amount of value as well, but that Inferno just kind of prevents any sort of big lava push from happening. Even with that zap, you almost need a lightning to be able to break through such a tanky building.
So now, are we expecting an Electro Giant in the second match here?
He goes for
Second round.
Yeah, he goes for the Gold Knight in the night. So I mean, it's possible, but I would say maybe more likely we could see a drill executioner deck from Adam here.
Golden Knight. Fairly commonly used with Electro Giant, but it could be a drill deck. Nice skeleton destruction, no waste of the ability there. And the Goblin going in. Okay. We got Minor Cycle versus Goblin Drill. You are very much correct there.
But does he have the
Nice drill
fireball
going in.
though? Yes, he does.
Oh, he does. Oh, no. Dude, the Goblin Drill, like, there's no way to defend it. If you got the Fireball, like, it just knocks everything away. The Goblins instantly lock on.
Yeah.
It's just, like, consistent chip damage.
Miner in a similar kind of boat there, but Adam's actually got great miner counters here. He's got a NATO, making it so the miner can only be placed on one spot to prevent the Kintar division. And he's got the Knight, the Gold Knight, and even Goblins here to pick those up. So maybe Adam could be in a pretty good situation, especially with that Evil Knight. Does such a good job of tanking Archer Queens and stuff like that.
Well, the question here is, how does Droy stop the Goblin Drill?
Yeah.
You know, he only has the Fireball. If you, or the Barbarians. If you use the Barbarians, he just fireballs them down. Otherwise, what you have?
talk right now. I don't know. Juicy J's
Droid.
spitting facts.
Honestly,
So what do you have as a defensive option?
it's a great question. I honestly, the biggest thing that you can do here is utilize that Fire Spirit.
Lava
For
Hunt is
example,
just
you
a
can
Sky
go Fire
Golem.
Spirit, kill the first Goblin, and then log the entire drill out. Or you can go like Skeletons or Fire Spirit after you go for that log to kill that first Goblin, as he just did here. He kind of messed it up. He didn't have that Fire
They're
Spirit
kind of chilling
cycle,
right
but
now.
if he can keep
It's
that
going to
in
be double
cycle
elixir
for
soon.
the remainder of this match.
Evolved
he might
Knight
be able to
versus
decent
Evolved
ideas
Barbs.
to stop this Goblin.
Oh, that is spicy.
It's a tough one, though.
Evolved Knight versus Archer Queen. If she uses her ability, he activates a shield.
Those Goblins are going in and get some damage
That's-
done.
For sure.
That's
Miner
a
coming in the right
busted
side
interaction.
here. Safe spot once again. Doesn't get picked up. Executioner versus these Evil Barbs is going to get some decent value. But Droid actually a little bit more consistent in the damage right now. And that Poison actually...
No, there's no way to
similar his
spectate this
Fireball,
unless
he's
you
doing
have them
more
added as
damage
friends.
in the Fireball as well. So Adam actually chooses to switch lanes so that he can defend and counter push. What do you think about that choice?
I think it's a solid choice to go
Yeah.
right lane because you know what? You have to defend that tower with the miners. You might as well get value for your counter push
Yeah.
instead of going the opposite side. And he's opting to ignore that miner, which I don't really know.
Yeah.
That could come to hurt him later on. Like, look at that miner damage.
So much.
And we said earlier on that he's got some pretty good counters for the miner. But if he just chooses to let it, get that damage. Oh, there's the NATO though. King is activated. Will help out later on. But his tower is already at 1,500 health, and the Archer Queen almost a shot.
Yeah, that was so
close.
close. That P-log was so good. Now here's the counter push that we were talking about, but he doesn't even go for the drill. I feel like you gotta go drill and you gotta look for those Gold Knight NATOs to connect to the tower. That's the only way he's gonna be able to make this comeback.
The Executioner, I think, right there is an interesting choice. A bit too expensive for what he's trying to do, and it's slowing the cycle down consistently.
Fireball for skeletons?
Nice
Is that
double there with the
is that the
skeletons.
play?
Skeletons do log on, but the log finishes everything off, and he just does not have the responses in hand. Always opting just to go on offense and ignoring the miners. And that's allowing Droid to stack up some significant
Low
damage.
key?
Already
I
down
want
to 1,000
Adam
health, but the
to win
poison
this.
destroys the goblins.
Because I want to see E
Doesn't
Giant.
leave him much of a counter push at
Juicy
all.
J was saying that Adam is really good with E Giant.
Any sort of Gold Knight dash, and here comes that.
I don't want to
Fire
say one
Spirit.
trick pony,
He
but it
cycles
could
the
be.
skellies, and he doesn't even, or he kind of maybe should have logged there. One goblin in though.
But Droy
kind
is
of a
getting
drop in the
through
bucket at this point
repeatedly,
with,
nonstop, just
out of
minor
tower down to
poison,
70
minor
and
poison.
already.
I think just opting to save the elixir for the poison, the mine, and the counter push. So sacrifice one goblin shot to your tower and have a more significant.
Oh my goodness.
Trying-
When it goes in.
Trying to get that
Poison
NATO
range.
there, it just doesn't
The
work.
log
out.
just takes it out, stops the knight.
Oh, nice prediction with the
Pulls
miner,
it
but
up.
still, the poison just guaranteed chip damage. There's nothing.
He needed to
has
use
go an
Executioner
all-in
to
right
avoid
now,
that
but there's just
Fire
not enough time.
Spirit.
Cycle is just way too fast. Poison goes down.
Yeah, he
That's
didn't get a
power
chance to
down.
bring out the E
And that is going to
Giant.
be GG Droy, aka Mr. Cena, taking a 2-0 sweep against Adam, my fellow Electro Giant brethren. GG's well played. I mean, that was just a fascinating match.
Gentlemen, I could not agree more. Glad to be back with you. Droid kind of made short work of it. Now, of course, we made it overtime in game 2, but overall really dominated in both game 1 and game 2, albeit we didn't think that at first. Like, I think when we were looking at game 2 in particular, I was looking at the minor counter and saying, I think with the Goblin Drill, like, I think he's got this one in the bag, but the chip damage just kept coming in, and he couldn't get any push going through there, Shane.
Yeah, I mean, Juicy called it up perfectly with the Goblin Drill going in. He opted never to use the Barbarians in the Goblin Drill, always to use the Fire Spirit, the Skeletons, in the log. And so you basically perfectly answer the Goblin Drill, keep the Barbarians for offense, and Adam never really responded to the Miner. So the
What's my
damage
workout routine?
continues
Just
stacked up.
Yeah, let's take a look at those replays.
Lift heavy
and
until it
Juicy,
hurts,
talk me
and then
through some
keep
of these, of
lifting
course, looking at
until
game 1 first.
muscle goes.
You know, the Hog Rider
no
is just
more.
a force to be reckoned with.
I
Whenever
don't
the
know.
barbs are in cycle, this version of
A lot
Hog
of it
Rider
is
just didn't have a
diet.
building. So he had a really hard time stopping that. In the second match, it was just those minor poisons, always getting value. Like Shane said, it just seemed like he was kind of under defending those miners sometimes. You know, he has decent counters, but so many times he just allowed that miner to get so much chip, and he was never able to get a good connection on offense.
Well, quick glance at the stats. Of course, a dominating performance from Droy. Let's take a look at those decks, though, Shane. I want you to talk me through deck 1 in particular.
Well, like
There's
Juicy
going to be
mentioned,
more. This
Adam does not
is
have
this
a
is
building
the
in his all-around deck. It makes it
qualifiers
almost
for
impossible
Clash
to
Royale,
effectively answer that
and they're in
Hog
the
Rider.
finals.
Your best answer is Barbarians. That's a
Once they pull the
5-4
bracket,
trade
it'll
every
make more
time.
sense.
Droid already has a fast cycle, so if you make that exchange, you're just going to be losing the matchup later on in the battle because of the momentum shift. But it's kind of unfortunate didn't have a building in there.
Yeah, let's take a look at deck 2, Juicy. We already talked about it a little bit. Goblin Drills had a chance. I also will say the poison was something that was chipping away a ton of damage towards the end and picking up a ton of goblins.
Absolutely, and that's a great call out.
Oh yeah, there's a
Really when
ton
it just
more.
comes down to it, though,
This is
it's
gonna
just that
be.
Fire
I'll
Spirit
probably be streaming
being
for another
able
4
to kill
hours.
Goblins. If you have an Ice Spear, an E Spear, or a Heal Spirit, when it jumps, it doesn't kill the goblin. The goblin can get connections. The Fire Spirit kills the goblins. Whether you go log plus the Fire Spirit or you go Fire Spirit plus the log, you're able to counter that drill very effectively.
Yeah, it's a great shot. Well, let's take a look at the brackets because, of course, we've just resolved our round 1 match, our last round 1 match. Players are in round 2. People are moving on and getting eliminated down in the lower bracket as well. But here's our final update here for round 2. Every player that has won their matchup has moved on, and we've seen our matchups. Ian77 against
this is the upper
Corey,
bracket.
and so
We've
on
got
and
Ian,
so forth. Let's take a look at the lower bracket
Surfer.
though, because at risk of elimination,
Cool Bro Lady,
seemingly
thanks for the
a few
100
players
dono.
already
Holy
eliminated
moly.
here. Juicy, Jorge out of it. Parsa out of it. Alan has lost. No, the coach is gone.
The coach is gone indeed. You know, I was talking on the watch party with my chat, and the thing about Alan is if you're a coach, you got to get those good deck picks. That's what a coach does. but it seemed like he did the opposite. He wasn't able to get those good matchups, and that's why kind of failed him here in the situation.
Yeah, a tough shake for Allen, but not a tough shake for all of our competitors. Still, again, the rule of thumb here, Shane, is, of course, you got to win twice before you lose twice. We've got 16 players, 8 are moving on. Shane, here's my question for you. We talked a little bit at the beginning of the broadcast about how you're trying to learn a few things. What are some things we've learned on broadcast today, besides maybe don't pick like Allen?
Well, first and foremost, I've learned I've got some pretty tough competition coming up next week. But you know what? I think I'm just learning how important your deck choice is, and honestly scoping out your opponent, knowing what their tendencies are, trying to craft a deck around that, because it can really come down to a matchup, and it can just be game changing whether you have it or not.
Yeah, and speaking of those matchups, we got to take a look at our next matchup.
They're setting up more games right now.
Tori, Juicy, I know you got a lot of intel. I think a lot of us all know Ian77. Talk to me about Ian as we get our game ready.
No, I saw the dono. That was a massive dono.
Like a YouTuber match.
Huge
Nate,
thank you again for the
best minor
holy
rocket player in the world. He got number 11 in ladder last season versus Ian77, the best hog EQ player in the world. Great players, both great.
How do you quantify best in the world?
This is one where it's like, I don't know which way it could go. Ian maybe a slight edge, maybe a little more experienced and competitive, but Nate's got a great chance.
Well, let's find out. The game is ready. Shane, take it away, my friend.
Oh,
Let's go.
yeah, I saw the message. I didn't want to read it out loud.
Versus Katori. I think we're missing a hog deck first play. Oh, the wall breakers again. Oh my goodness. Wall breakers and Goblin Drill.
Yeah, wall breakers, drill,
oh my,
and some more
another
wall
one?
breakers. Maybe a mirror matchup. No, probably
Holy.
a minor deck.
Thank you so much for that.
Here, and then that
If
Goblin
I could play a
Drill
game of Clash Royale with
Ian.
any historical
I'm not really
figure,
sure who has a matchup in this
who would I play
situation.
against?
Maybe Ian has a slight advantage just because he probably have a big spell. But these Magic Archer.
Oh, the Magic Archer though.
Yeah.
Magic Archer? That
tower
question
damage.
is way
The
too
king
deep.
activation for Katori is going to be a huge later on with the Goblin Drill.
Yeah,
It was an interesting choice to place the drill right behind the tower where the goblins could be pulled, knowing that it was likely that your opponent had a NATO in there. And the one wall breaker connects. Why does that always happen, dude? Wall breakers are they're so slippery. They just always get through no matter what you do.
Yeah, it seems like that for sure. Somehow making it through, the Magic Archer just not able to.
I'm so
splash
bad with
on
history. I
both
can't
of
think of
them.
any historical
And like
figure
you
right
said,
now.
that King Tower just helping out already.
My mind's going blank. The
He
pressure.
got a drill also. So is this just a straight up?
It's a mirror matchup.
I think it's just a straight up fat mirror matchup here. That's
So-
crazy.
We still have 2 more cards for Ian, but the king activation could be the deciding factor.
We're
in this
we're seeing a
game,
lot
because
of
it
drill
helps out
wall
against that
breakers in this
Goblin
meta.
Drill substantially, and then the Magic Archer walks onto that tower. Nice needle by Ian, but unfortunately, I think Ian kind of already knows that the king activation is going to be a huge factor. Tessa going in for the wall breakers. Nice choice.
I gotta say something though. Like he does say good game, partly because he's taking so much damage. But after watching so much of Ian content, he loves to do this mind game. He says good game.
Is it a mind game?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
says good game, but he's
Oh.
like, he knows that he's like lost if Nate plays well, but he's trying to get in his head to try and make him make a mistake. It's kind of
Like
fun.
overly confident. You think it works? You think
Oh,
like if
so
you're playing
Ian
a game, and
plays
someone's like,
mind
good game,
games. I
you're
didn't know
like, I got
that.
this in the bag, and maybe you make a mistake.
I don't know. I mean, I definitely could. I mean, he always does it, so maybe it has worked for him.
Oh, nice king activation.
That
by Ian
wall
there. We'll
breaker.
see how it pays off in the end. The damage obviously stacking up. Nice choice to go opposite lane with the Goblin Drill. Dealing some decent damage to the Evolved
the
Knight
Knight
going
doesn't
in,
connect.
forcing out some Spirit Goblins for some extra looks for value. That net evolution is so devastating because with that shield, normally with a quarter health left, you can typically just ignore it, but with the shield on there, it's not taking any damage till it gets to that tower, and then it attacks so fast that you have to answer it.
Yeah, and I like how Ian's playing this to try to make the comeback. He knows
Oh, that
he
roll
needs
delivery
to
was really
out-cycle
good.
his opponent with the Knight to get that Evo 9 cycle.
I
It
wasn't
just
paying
says that
attention in the
X
beginning,
factor
but how-
for a potential
what
comeback.
happened
Match goes to
exactly
the
in
bridge
this
as
game?
Well. NATO's gonna pull it in once again.
What made Ian
I thought that match
lose
could
that
get
tower
some
damage in the?
but it seems both these players
In the
well
first
versed in
start of the
scenarios
match.
and interactions. And Katori keeping the pressure up to the Goblin Drill
Oh
and Wall Breaker's right side.
Wall
One
Breaker
of them
doesn't
almost
connect,
connects, but the
barely.
King Tower coming in clutch, stopping
Is it
that
because he doesn't
second
have
wall
much
breaker.
wall breaker counters right now?
And the
compared
Magic
to
Archer left lane
Katori?
shots that tower.
Yeah, Spear God's kind of pushing Knight's gonna pick it up. Here comes the drill on the left. Magic Archer to the bridge.
Actually,
trying to
don't know,
lock
forgot
on,
stuff.
And he misses the NATO. Wait a second, this Magic Archer is getting so much value now.
Oh no, the little miss. Allowing the Magic Archer 1 shot, 2 shots to that tower. And the delivery.
Knowing them
finishes
both, you wouldn't be
off. But we
surprised
do
if they
have
agreed to
a
mirror match?
almost full
Really?
health Evolved Knight coming in. Spears take care of the wall breakers right side. And then we have the Goblins going down while the Knight tanks. Oh no, he's got no responses in hand. The Goblin's locking on that tower. He's struck by the drill.
Yeah, wall
Look at
breaker.
the Goblins.
Oh my goodness, the wall breaker connected.
10-67. Ian's making the craziest comeback we've seen today. Maybe other than that lava matchup earlier. But this
If
is some
Katori
great
played
gameplay.
perfectly,
How does that wall breaker get through, dude? I tell you, just one wall breaker. It just always gets through. Goblins connect there. Oh my goodness.
oh
The magic
no.
archer. So by the time they do
That
it, it's always
magic
just one shot.
archer
Still-
damage.
Oh, shots to that tower.
3.
Yo,
4
oh
hits.
my god, that was so many magic archers. Here comes the counter push from Nate. He needs to make it happen right
He
now.
had an Inferno
Drill,
Tower this whole time?
Knight,
My
Evil
goodness.
Knight, magic archer bridge. Is it going to be enough though? That roll delivery getting so
There's a
much
lot
value
going on.
defense.
It's triple elixir. I can't keep up with anything.
And Katori knows he has to
Is
run
the
hard
Evolved
here
Knight
to
enough?
Prevent Ian from going in from one more drill.
Nope, one
The
wall breaker
does
connects
connect.
on there,
Magic
but
archer going down.
that's still.
And also the tower. It's on the Knight.
The NATO to pull back.
Desperation NATO.
That prediction roll delivery was so good as well on the magic archer. Drills
Double
versus
drill. They're both
players.
panicking.
Drill's
700
going in.
health versus 200
The Knight
health.
does not distract. Spear's going
Goblin
down.
drill
Goblin's
connected
lost.
on.
Oh, that tower goes down.
Ian
takes the
came
game.
back.
GG's. Ian taking game 1 of this best of 3. I mean,
Yo, Juicy,
I'm speechless.
you had the prediction
So-
right there, buddy. The good
J-Chong, you're
game,
saying that
but
the
some
wall
mind
breaker
games
connected at the start.
came back.
Yeah,
So that's why he
can't
was
believe
down.
it. Okay.
Purple
Do you
Lady, thanks for
think
the membership.
that saying the good game
And huge thank you again for the
confidence.
double donos earlier.
No, I don't think it played a factor at all. I think it was just I think just Ian's just probably just a really skilled player that knew what he was doing.
Yeah, that's probably true. Ooh, I want to quickly point out a little micro interaction here, but
All right.
since we
Yeah.
are in duels formatting, Nate knew that his opponent would not be able to play Tornado again, so he played it not in the safe spot, but in the back. Realizing that information, getting already a bunch of chip to start this game.
Because he knew just he couldn't tornado spell.
Yeah.
Good point. I have to remember that for the grand finals.
Oh, we
Thanks for
got
pointing
Royal Recruits. Or is this a Piglet deck?
We got.
I love
Evolve
seeing Royal
Barbarians versus
Recruits.
Evolve Recruits. I feel like the
Yeah,
Barbarians.
it's a Piglet
needs
deck
to
for this
be the
flag
matchup.
machine.
Whenever I've played them, they've always done so well versus the Evolve Recruits. It's just like one of the better answers. Just place them in the middle. They have so much health. Take care of them fairly quickly. And you have Fireball bait deck from Ian.
And that bomb tower as well. Gonna be so good versus the pigs and the recruits. And Ian, once again with the mind games. Doing
Is
the
it
white-
more mind games?
Yes, that's more mind games. He's showing the white flag. He's like, dude, this match is so
No.
bad. I'm gonna lose. But I'm gonna try to win.
Yeah, he's still gonna win. I don't know. Do you think Katori's rocking a Fireball there? What's his second spell?
That last spell has gotta be a poison with the miner.
Because you would never use Fireball with poison or with Minor Soul, right?
I mean sometimes, but
In
very
no world.
rarely, for sure.
So here we have the matchup.
Purple Lady, you don't need to keep
Barbarians versus recruits. Both
with the
evolve.
donations. I
Flying
appreciate it.
machine
Thank you so
is
much for that.
honestly going to be a significant factor in this matchup. If you don't have an immediate response, you can get so much
Opinions
value so
on Barb
quickly.
Hut.
Yeah.
They were
Evolve
great.
Barbarians survive
during a-
Oh, Zappies, but the Minor's still going
There
in.
was
He's
one
just
year
done.
where they were
Miner
super
chipping away
meta.
quite a bit
That was
here.
when
Zappy's
Seth was
doing
balancing the
his
game,
best, gonna
and he was the one that
counter
decided
But this is how you
if the
play
bomb
Minor
hut,
poison. And
bomb
Minor-
tower, or
this
the
is
bomb
Nate's one trick. Minor
barbarian hut
rocket,
goes
Minor
down,
poison,
that's
all
spawn
very
barbarians,
similar.
and that
So
was
he uses
game
one trick,
changing.
And he gets a good matchup here. You got to think maybe Ian could have predicted his opponent here, but not able to do so. As long as Nate doesn't make a huge mistake, it's going to be a tough match for Ian here.
See, I would think the advantage would go to the flying machine because it's such a.
If he doesn't make a
devastating
single
target, you don't
mistake,
have
it's going to be tough for
immediate
Ian. That's what
But
Juicy
not
said.
able to break through with that bomb tower in the middle. See, right now the flying machine doing his job, providing some defense, but then going on to destroy the bomb tower, clearing the way for.
Oh, that
for
Archer
Ian.
Queen.
Yeah, you're right. Here comes
He's
the
going
piggies.
down.
There's no bomb
Does
tower
he
in
have the bomb
rotation.
tower?
Evil
Oh, he's
Barb
got
with
the
log, that's going to
barbs.
completely wipe him out.
Oh,
Jeez.
they're so strong. Look at them just destroy.
That's the worst time to have those
And now
barbs.
they're on the counter push. But see, Ian's stacking the flying machines, knowing he doesn't have an immediate response,
Yeah.
and just trying to prevent any sort of poison value.
The Archer Queen wasn't enough for the
Archer
flying
Queen's too far out
machine.
of range. What?
Does he have enough for
Was that a miscalculation?
Oh my! He's keeping the flying machine
You're definitely
alive.
right about this flying
That's the
machine being
only
key
thing
to
he
the
had for the
matchup
flying machine was
Ian.
the Archer Queen.
Honestly, he needs to somehow try to get
The barbarians,
two
they were early.
flying machines
The
down
flying
on the
machine's still
board,
alive.
In a way
That
that
flying
a
machine
poison
is
can't control for
costing
them.
him a
Maybe
lot
he
of
can get that
elixir.
lock and make this comeback.
But see, look at the value this one flying machine's getting right now. Katori used an Archer Queen trying to
That
snipe
ice
it, but
spirit
it's out of
saved the
range,
flying
so they
machine
still
from
have the
crossing
Queen.
the
Then he
bridge.
destroys 3 barbarians, and now it's still applying pressure.
Now there's
And he
another
also has
flying
the second
machine.
one going down.
Oh my
to
God.
destroy the bomb tower, clearing the way for some Pig is going through. But the question is that enough to break
Yeah.
through the evolved barbarians? And I don't think
Oh
it is.
my goodness, those
Barbarians are just too strong.
Those evil
or
bars,
evolved
the bomb
barbarians.
tower, as long as Nate doesn't overcommit
This
in
Ian guy
offense,
seems kinda
as long as
good,
he
yeah,
has
for
enough
real.
to get a poison that flying machine, he should be able to have perfect defense and just chip
There's a
away
reason why
throughout
he
this
has
match, and that's exactly how
so
he's
many
doing right now.
views.
Once again, recruits
Nerf
back,
flying
barbarians
machines
in the
range?
back. And we
Nar.
see a flying machine in the middle here in the
Nar.
moment, and then probably a poison spell from Katori. I think Ian has a tough matchup ahead here. I don't see a way of breaking through. Because all Katori needs to do is just kind of hold on for the win.
Yeah, Ice Spirit trying to clean up that Zappy. That gets one hit. Barbarian Barrel should be able to kill the Archer Queen now. The other thing to mention here is that Archer Queen 3-card cycle. We talked about it earlier, but that 3-card cycle can be so helpful for just making sure to always have a miner on the tower and always have that poison for defense.
Has my team already played? No.
Something I find is that
We're
don't
seeing who's gonna the
opt
8
for a
players that are gonna
champion
qualify for
I see
today
lots of strategies that just have an evolution. Like every
are
deck has
gonna
an
each be
evolution,
distributed
but not
into
every deck has a
each team.
champion.
So
And,
8 Clash Royale
Temperature
winners,
is
8 Clash of Clans
strong.
winners,
Some
8
strategies
Brawl
just
Stars
work
winners.
better without a
We're
champion
gonna get
involved.
one of each player from each
Yeah,
game.
the
So
champions
that's in
have
the
definitely fallen
30th.
out of the meta a little bit because of all of the nerfs to them.
So we haven't
But also
decided
those evolutions
anything
just
yet.
being so strong
I don't have a
is
team yet.
Make it,
We're deciding
sometimes
which my team is.
obsolete. That is going to be it for game 2, ladies and gentlemen. And we're seeing the YouTuber grudge match best of 3 go to the final game here, 1-1 after Nate with a very, very nice deck pick here. But also, Nate's one-trick deck now out of the kind of equation here. He's not going to be able to play it for the game 3.
So do you see Ian going into a hog earthquake for this third round here, or
I mean,
do you think he's gonna
Yeah, I mean,
try something unpredictable?
I mean, there's definitely a good chance. The reason I say there's a good chance is Nate has also used Tornado already in game 1. So without that Tornado as a really good counter, I think he could just go for it. And after seeing the Ice Spear, I would say 100%.
In the log, yeah. And unfortunately, the mind games did not work in the favor of Ian last.
How long is
match,
the stream
but
gonna be? We still got the
Goblin
lower
going
bracket
in.
and everything else.
Arrows for the firecracker that he likely has. There it is. The arrow's already out of rotation. Nice chip damage with the firecracker. The hog almost gets a shot off, but that firecracker dealing 400 damage and still
Oh my
alive.
And I
goodness.
wonder if he gives a King Tower activation versus it as well. He does go with the Zappies. So we're seeing a bit of a
King Tower
reverse
activation with the
in
Zappies
matchups.
already.
We have Ian with his one trick, and now Nate with the Recruits evolution. Probably Pigs, probably Flying Machine. Ian spamming some emotes here, maybe realizing that this matchup is not going to be too easy for him, but he does outcycle
Piglet,
his
Flying
opponent's
Machine.
Goblin Cage here, so he is going to get that damage.
2 hog shots too, even with the fireball and
There's a
flying
clip
machine.
out there of
That's
me
an
saying,
8 extra
"Ooh."
defense to still allow 2 hog shots.
Yeah.
That was substantial. And the Mighty Minus, it's the first time we've seen it all night.
Oh, that's true.
Very
We haven't seen
interesting
anyone play
choice.
Mighty Miner
Yeah,
this
Mighty Miner,
entire day.
Same reason. You know, you'd rather have Evil Knight. He used it earlier, but at least you have that 3-card cycle we've been talking about. Firecracker.
That
hopefully
Firecracker
gets
is
cleaned up
going
on
to
arrows here.
never mind.
Slightly late, but he does
Oh,
get the Ice Spear.
Ian's
See,
Ice Spear
interesting by
needed to
Victoria,
pull
he
there
used the
so that he
recruits
could
at
pull the.
exact moment to prevent.
You know
Mighty
what?
Miner
That
from
works
getting
out too
close
with
enough to his
the
tower
goblins.
where the bomb could have been activated to hit the tower as well, because obviously Ian's running more.
There's another clip of me saying ooh. No, the one that got me saying ooh was in full 4K, and it was in a high-pitched voice.
Not now though.
Look at that,
That
evil
evolution.
Firecracker. It
Oh,
got
so
nerfed, but it's
powerful.
still so good.
How much damage did that do with that Firecracker?
Oh my goodness! And it's gonna get
Was that like 400 damage?
It stacks up damage so quick. It locks under whatever you use in defense in front of your
I
tower.
wonder how valuable that Ice
Damage
Spirit
just
really
chews
was
away.
to stop those
One
2
more hog
piglets.
going in. And
Well,
he doesn't have
Split
Goblin
Goblins
in
still
hand.
defend it
No
pretty
Goblin
well.
Cage. That's 1 hog shot. Oh no.
Towers down to 430.
Oh, no.
Another Firecracker. The bridge Evo. Recruits do come down. Nate needs to make the comeback right now. Here comes the Flying Machine over the river. Gonna snipe that Tesla out. Recruits are charging. Kills the Ice Spear. Kills the Tesla. He needs to get some pigs down though. He's saving up to 5 elixir. Here they come.
Dealt
Zapping the
1,100 from
Mighty
just the
Miner
Firecracker
down.
alone?
Is this the comeback push
I
he
thought they
needs?
nerfed it.
Oh, not quite enough, but that was a substantial amount of damage.
Oh my
Obviously,
goodness.
He doesn't have a fireball or anything.
Ian's playing his bread and butter. Juicy J said he's the best
Is an earthquake, maybe a
hog quake player in the world.
Earthquake, and he's good to go.
So he knows.
Can he survive long enough though?
Yeah.
Recruits and a flying machine left side. Goblin's going in.
Flying Machine trying.
He's low in elixir right here.
He needs to lock on-
Flying machine locks on.
Oh,
the Flying Machine
Firecracker
locks
locks
on.
on there.
This might be it. Oh, it was so close.
And that
Ian taking the second and winning the best of 3. Well done.
GG's. I mean, that was some great gameplay from both players. That Evo Firecracker in that last match, though, just the MVP. It put in so much work.
I'm saying it
Gentlemen,
every time. That Evo Firecracker is just a deciding factor every matchup.
Gentlemen, Evo Firecracker, talk about a crazy amount of damage in game 3, but we gotta talk through all 3. Honestly, I like the YouTuber grudge match. That was a very close game across the board, and even with the Evo Firecracker, it looked like Katori actually had a really good chance to win that game 3, right? Like, it had a massive counter push right after the big Evo Firecracker damage, and almost answered back nearly on both towers. So, a fun match to finish with, and it went to game 3. Congratulations, of course, Ian77 officially has qualified
Our
for
first
the Grand
qualifier.
Finals, which unfortunately
But
for you
chat,
two,
let me ask you this.
means that you're gonna have
Ian
to
might be
go
one of
against
the
them.
best
But
Hog Quake
take a
players
look
in
at
the world.
replays. Shane, let's start with you here in game
But
1.
how good is he
My
in
thoughts on
Clash of
game
Clans
1,
and
honestly,
Brawl
the
Stars?
activation of the
Do we
king
want
was a
Ian on our
huge
team?
part of the defense
That's
here
the
from
thing.
Ian.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Katori had the king activated earlier on, but Ian was able to get his
What do y'all
activated
think, chat?
about halfway through the match. But Ian just a little bit better with the pressure, able to get these magic archers lined up right here, like 5 magic archer shots to that tower, and then the Goblin
He's never uploaded Brawl Stars content. Neither has Cashman, and I didn't know Cashman had 30,000 trophies in Brawl Stars.
Yeah.
And then we have Fly Machine here, right?
You know
side,
who-
like the Fly
who I
Machine,
want in
thought
here?
would be a better factor, but Katori's some pretty solid defense. And then this matchup,
No, everyone's gonna pick
unfortunately,
Ian.
for
No.
Katori, there's
I know who I
nothing he
want.
really
I'm not gonna
do.
say it on
He
the
went
stream.
all in this last push right here with the recruits, the pigs, and the zappies. He almost had it, but once Ian defended, that was it. All he needed was a few more earthquakes. I thought he had him right here with that Fly Machine, but it went down. And then the Firecracker finished it off.
Yeah, it was
Firecracker was just such a good card.
Push. It was honestly such a great counter push. It made game 3 really, really close in the end, albeit Ian, of course, coming out on top. Quick look at the stats here. Fairly even across the board from tower damage, but let's take a look at the decks here.
Wow. Ian dealt less
Juicy,
tower
Talk
damage.
to me about game 1. Ian
But got more
obviously very
crowns.
strong.
I mean, Ian played great. Nate played great. It's just almost the exact mirror matchup. Just the Inferno, the only difference. The Magic Archer Tornadoes, that's what this matchup is about. Ian just doing it a little bit better. I mean, we saw in that
Wow, this
replay,
was really a
Magic
mirror
Archer
match.
Tornado with the lineup with his Knight tanking on his opponent's side of the tower, even got so many shots. And whenever you get that big connection, that's when you know you've won this matchup.
Yeah, let's take a look at game 2. Shane, talk me through this one. Similar, not quite a mirror necessarily, especially with
Again
Yeah,
with the
Final
donos.
Poison
Oh
was
my!
a
You don't
fun
have to.
base,
Thank you so much.
But it's just a very tough deck for Ian to win with because
I'm really bad with
like
history.
the Mind
I
Poison
was born in
consistently
Canada
away, the
33
Fly
years ago.
Machines.
I
Yeah, just a very
don't
difficult
know who's
matchup.
the
yeah, there was
greatest
zero
prime
answer
minister.
for the Minor Poison, to be very clear, and that's why, of course, Katori was able to win that. But let's look at game 3 here, Juicy. A massive victory, of course, by Ian.
pick one CR
Yeah,
main,
Ian
one
played
Clash
great.
Clans main, and
Honestly,
one
this
Brawl Stars
matchup
main.
here, it's not easy.
No, I would
for
rather
Ian
pick
either.
3 players
I
from
mean,
all 3
you have the
teams
Fireball
that
and
are
arrows for
above average
Firecracker.
at all 3 games.
Ian used the bomb tower earlier in the best of 3, so he didn't have that splash damage. And you really don't have anything for that flying machine either. So Ian played fantastically, getting the massive damage lead earlier on, realizing once it got to the double elixir, those massive pushes that we saw at the end there could have been a game changer. But he got that a huge damage lead at the start, and that's what allowed him to pull off this W.
Well, again, Ian77, the first and only player that has qualified for the Grand Finals, but a huge congratulations. Such a fun match to watch, and a ton of other matches going on, and a ton of other matches to view, gentlemen. We're going to be heading to Air Surfer versus Darien 240, but I do want to remind everybody that there is a lower bracket as well. 4 spots are going to be earned in the lower bracket as well. So even if you do lose, you still have a chance. You can see where Katori fell to. Going to go up against Adam down at the bottom. So a chance to see Adam potentially for the first time, or second time rather, after his loss against Droy. So a lot to talk about with all of these matchups. But
Adam
back
versus
to the
Katori.
upper
I
bracket.
think Katori's
we
gonna
go.
take it.
Back to the next
What do y'all
matchup
think?
we go. And Juicy, any thoughts on this next matchup? I know you talked and touted Air Surfer, so give him his flowers, if you will.
I mean, Air Surfer, he's been at the World Finals like every single year. I mean,
Really?
I
Every single
practiced
year?
with him back
Even 2019?
in Seattle Season 2 when I was living in LA, when I was on Team Misfits, and he's so good at this game, and he's a grinder as well. He's practicing, and he's super good at sand volleyball. I don't know why this man is talented at everything.
Really?
You've got not only in-game info, but maybe even out-of-game info. I don't think that's
I didn't even know that about Air Surfer.
But should it ever be added, we know.
Isn't he
who to
really
go
tall
to.
as well?
It's definitely Air Surfer.
For some
Clash
reason,
of
Mo
Shame
Light's not
here.
playing in this
I've got
tournament.
a question for you. Are you going to bet on the underdog that is Darian? Obviously a talented player, been around the scene for a very long time, but do you go with the underdog, or are you going to stick with maybe the crowd favorite?
Well, considering we face the winners of this tournament next week in the Grand Finals, I don't want to face against a guy that's been at the World Finals multiple times and is also really good at sand volleyball. So I'm going to root for Darian here.
Okay.
He's got my vote.
I love it. I love it. You're rooting for Darian. Juicy and I may be rooting for Air Surfer. Juicy, you talk about experience. You have a ton. What does the experience, of course, of going to the World Finals, but just playing this game competitively bring to the table? And with that question, I'm going to send it to Game. You can analyze the decks and talk to me about it.
Honestly, Clash Royale, it's a game where there's just so much stress. You got to be stressing about, the viewers watching. You got to be stressing about what deck you're going to pick. Did you get a good matchup? Are you playing perfectly? There's a lot of things going on, but Air Surfer, he's so good. He's been in this game since day one. I'm sure none of that really affects him anymore.
Who are the 8 captains?
Again, skeleton, dragons, knights, logs, potentially goblin
Gonna
drills.
be, I think.
Ooh, execution coming down here on a mortar. I'm talking barrier.
Okay, bomb tower on that
Me?
defense. Skeleton blocks it though.
And I think I know I'm one of them. I'm one of the 8 captains. Kairos is going to be another one. He's a leading contender. He's good at Brawl Stars, Clash of Clans, and
one of the previous
Clash Royale. I'm scared of Kairos, not going to lie.
Using this mortar skeleton
Nobody clip that and send that to him, though. We show him here. We'll destroy you, Kairos. Yeah, clip that part and just send that to him.
He's using Hog Lightning NATO here.
Oh, that's guaranteed 2 shots. That's a lot of tower damage. One back bite goes through, though. How did that back it in there? Nice minor attention from Skeleton Dragons. Executioner is an interesting choice, though.
Yeah.
5 Elixir. It wouldn't be my first pick for like a solid defending card, but I think with the extra range it got many balances ago, sometimes you can clip on that
Mo
tower.
probably doesn't want his name tarnished from the other games. To be fair, he's very good at Clash Royale. But he would have to be decent at Clash of Clans and Brawl Stars.
Skelly Drags is one of the best counters to the Skeleton King. Everything in Darian's deck dies to an Executioner. It is very expensive, like you said, but as long as he has decent elixir management, maybe he can get a lot of value from the card here.
Now, do you think this comes down to a successful scouting out of your opponent, knowing what they're going to play, and then crafting the best strategy to counter that? Because when you look at these this matchup here, Bomb
Wait,
Tower,
which part of the bracket are we on right now?
Execution and the Tornado just destroys almost the entirety of Darian's deck. The skeletons, the bats, the spears. He's got real no answer for the Hog Rider. I think Darian already knows the matchup's going in his favor. He says a good game here. I'm not sure that's another mining game.
Looks like,
but I think realizing that
this is the
in that tower is going to be a tall task, and the miner.
This is the final bracket.
The Tornado in there and the
No, this is Air Surfer versus Darian. Whoever wins this,
it's really tough. We talked about how
gonna
good
be
the
one of the
tornado
top 8
is.
finalists.
And I love that I love that you asked about, how do you pick decks in Clash Royale? Are you trying to predict
if whoever wins this game, because this is the finals for today, it makes it to the Superverse finals
next weekend. Honestly, the biggest thing when you're picking decks is you want to pick a deck that does decent versus any deck your opponent could pick. So in this situation, he's got a pretty solid matchup, and I'm sure he was prepared for a couple other decks that come out in this game one that this deck could hopefully do decent against.
Do you think this high executioner deck could do well with a variety of matchups? Because it seems like it's poised to do well in this matchup here, but against a Recruit's Flying Machine deck, what would you do?
Yeah, that's a great question. There's definitely a couple certain matchups that could be difficult for this deck, especially since, the Executioner can be awkward, the triple spell can be
Evolution
awkward,
Knight, Lightning.
but,
Oh
we've
my
seen this deck
goodness,
a little
Hog's still
bit
going to get a
in
hit
this
on there.
meta, and it just
That's it for
seems
Air.
like it just
Air Surfer's
dominates,
got
and
it.
That's what's happening right here. That Hog Rider getting another Sean Tower. Darian's not giving up. He's going for this, but
He's going all in.
Knight to tank. He just needs to cycle to Lightning at that point.
Log goes down. He might take it down too low. Oh, with NATO. See, taking the safe route.
NATO damage.
Log NATO. No lightning spell there. Air Surfer with the first of the best of 3.
Which of these guys are really good at Clash of Clans and Brawl Stars? Well, I know. I'm not telling you, Eric.
Whenever I use that Hog Executioner deck, I don't know. It never works for me. The pros make it look so easy, but whenever I play it, I just can't get value.
Honestly, I'm right with you on that one.
One
I
of
do not
them
like this
used to
deck,
be a top El
but,
Primo player.
They've kind of like, as of recently, kind
I
of
want
added a building into
them
it.
on
I
my
feel like that was
team.
the one thing.
I'm
that
not
made
telling
me,
you who, Eric.
Like, kind of think that deck was really annoying because like, usually you have goblins instead of the bomb tower, but having that building, I feel like kind of covers a little bit of bases.
Do we get to pick, or is it randomly assigned? I'm not entirely sure yet.
Golem from Darian. A bit of a log bait fast cycle deck from Air Surfer.
So yeah, I mean like a log bait mirror matchup. It looks like here, Darian with just an the pre-snowball is crazy. Is it
Aside from Kairos, which Brawl Stars creators get a clutch
the wall
cleanse?
breakers, and they still will connect to that tower if they're not
Which
responded
other Brawl
to.
creators going to be in this tournament?
That's 1,000 damage even to distract the Barbarians. Goblins going in, though. He's got no response to the Goblins. Darian taking some substantial damage over here. Look at the Goblins add up.
That was insane. Just shot for shot from these players. I mean, I love the pre-snowball, but that wall breaker kind, like you said, was perfect. And then Air Surfer responding with the Goblin Barrel here. That's the weird thing about this deck from Darian is he actually doesn't have a small spell. His last card is Evil Recruits, Shane.
Wow.
Evil Recruits?
Dark up in the Skeleton Barrel? What is this deck?
It's absolute. Like,
I don't know.
Dark Goblins, Skeleton Barrel,
I don't know.
Wall Breaker, World Recruits.
Double Dark Goblins going
This is just throw every bait cycle thing down, and I like it.
Response does have the snowball. And now we have the Evolved Barbarians going in. Even one of them obviously providing a ton of
Crying Man? I don't even know if Crying Man is
with no
how proficient is Crying Man
Barrel
in Clash of Clans? What's his Town Hall at?
Damage that tower every time.
I hope it's Town Hall 1 so I can crush him.
Have a better Goblin placement there too. Wallbreaker does get one shot. I mean, Air Surfer doesn't have the bomb tower. Maybe once we hit into double elixir, there's a chance of comeback with just absolute and utter like crazy spam with the evil recruits on both sides. But Air Surfer gonna be trying to always have those evil barbs in cycle. That's why he's cycling them out early here.
Yeah, I think the Barbarians just shut down the recruits so effectively. And without a small spell to consistently destroy that Goblin Barrel, a nice Goblin placement on this one, but I just don't see a way of daring defending the Goblin Barrel. It's a nice placement in there now, though, with the recruits both sides of the arena. And
Snowball.
And the charge of recruit right lane with the wall breakers.
Given the charge for the row recruits.
They are not one connection.
That Snowball.
Let's go.
Jeez.
Ice Spirit trying to
it was
jump.
kind of necessary.
Snowball coming down.
It was kind of dangerous.
Honestly, kind of the unsung hero from Darian here. I mean, Air Surfer not
if the
having
Dark
a
Goblin
log,
doesn't get hit, then that's going to be good.
Clear the way.
Air Surfer might be in trouble. This is a really random deck.
The tides have kind of shifted here.
Oh no. Probably going to get high. Get a few Goblin stabs off, though. Air Surfer, I believe, does not have a heavier spell.
You're very good at Clash Royale and Brawl Stars, but you're only Town Hall 13. I would pick you.
Maybe it's a rocket.
If you're Town Hall 13, I'm picking you. That means you know how to Electro Dragon.
All in, up to ignore the Goblin Barrel. It could be a mistake, though. Goblin's
Crying
going down.
Man
If he does have Rock,
is
he's
mid
dead.
Town Hall 9. Okay.
Here comes the wall breakers.
Slightly threatening, but slightly washed.
Pretty low on elixir. Fire Spirit does connect. Wow, can you believe that Fire Spirit? It was able to jump.
Oh, with Skeletons go left side of the arena. Is it enough? Not quite. Will we find that last card? Darian keeping the pressure up, knowing he has to go in right now. This is his last chance. Goblins on tower. Goblins on tower.
Oh.
Tower goes down. Yo, what?
There's no way. The craziest, I guess the third craziest comeback of the day.
How
able to get that rocket
can we get an
down
instant
because
replay?
of the absolute insane dual lane pressure. I mean, I'm speechless. I don't even
Town
know.
Hall
That was
13 skills can
insane.
transfer to Town Hall
Do you think
15
it was
way better than anything
obviously
lower
had to
than
be the
that.
Rocket, and Darian knew that. He never
Here's
let
the
up for a
problem
moment
with my
to
Clash of
allow
Clans
him
is that
to
I
get
was
6
Town
less
Hall
with that Rocket. It's
11 when I
game
came
over.
back.
So constant
And then I
spam
just
at the
farmed
bridge,
sneaky
and
goblins
it
from Town Hall
worked.
11 to 15,
Remember,
so I
when
don't actually
spammed
know
the
how to
bridge, it just
attack.
results in game over, but it worked for Darian. Going on to match 3 of this best of 3.
There's a lot of wall breakers in these best of
Not enough.
Next still.
these best of 3 duels when you
breakers, I
bring
tell you. Oh,
when you got to
it's
bring
getting
4
Oh my god, bro.
or 3 different decks.
These wall breakers are the MVP of the day. Every single game, they're connecting for massive damage. Supercell, please nerf.
Nerf wall breakers.
Oh my gosh.
But you know what's funny though is
wall
whenever I
breakers
use
are
wall breakers,
insane.
it's just like my opponent just like arrows, done.
They're just slightly
Yeah,
so
no,
annoying,
done.
easy to
Throws music,
counter,
I'm
but
like,
deal so
dude,
much damage if you
I was
don't
getting
address
through.
them.
I swear, whenever
Wall
I
breakers
use
single-handedly
wall breakers,
prevent
they just
beatdown
evaporate on the arena halfway through the
from
to the
being
tower.
really
Like,
meta.
they just never make
You
it.
put down a golem, wall breakers go on the bridge. That's 400 That's 400 damage per hit.
Once again, Goblin Drill's fast cycle, but kind of an interesting combination here by Darren.
Look at that. He had to use a 4 elixir Musketeer to defend 2 elixir wall breakers.
Opting to go with some sort of unorthodox strategies to maybe catch his opponent off guard. Do you think there is value in kind of using these kind of
my Clash of Clans sneaky goblin journey? I'm max Town Hall 15 now with every single wall, pet, and hero at max level.
There's definitely a lot of surprise factor.
I was farming
potential
8 million gold every single day. Wake up.
Meta.
Attack,
Like
E-Dragon, do this and that. But I'm giving you too much info about my strategy.
Has some sort of splash damage to deal with them.
But that was your Clash Royale journey? Yeah. You didn't do war, just chest and exit? Yeah, no, Clash Royale is perfect. Your chest cycle is in sync with your battle movement.
Even using on defense if you need to.
And that's why the game is perfect.
Still breaking through that bomb tower, both charging the tower right lane.
Okay, wall breakers don't connect this time. Snowball comes down, but we see some spam on the right.
Spear goblins and bats.
He knew his snowball was out of rotation.
Oh,
he knew
goodness.
he had no immediate response. Just go with some goblins and bats. Apply pressure. But now you have a full health. The Night Evolution gets roasted by the Inferno.
It's crazy that the Evolution Knight potentially has over 3,000 health.
Wall breakers pressure on the right side. Roll delivery
That he had to use a Knight and Inferno Tower. Well, the Inferno Tower is already there.
Snowball not going to everything, but it slows down enough to get a couple goblins connection. Pretty close game so far.
That combination of Goblin Drill plus a knockback is insane.
Yeah.
Like you can't defend anything you place on the ground, just get knocked away. The Goblins get a few stabs off, that's all they need for that chip damage.
Snowball's kind of like a mini freeze too. It kind of just slows everything down, like right here. Slowing it all down, making so the goblins are just straight on tower.
300 damage each time.
You exclusively play 2v2 CR on the toilet?
So you should be fine with the bomb tower.
I believe that.
Absolutely.
By the time you get 4 chests,
everything out.
little bit of this, a little bit of that, wash up, and you're good to go. That's the start of the day. Air Surfer's got the roll recruits though, and they're evolved.
Ball breakers do a pretty good job of stopping those goblin hits, but it's not enough. One goblin hit yet again, and Darien playing so well here and just consistently chipping away with these goblin drills.
And that poison provides so much value.
The roll recruit. It connected. The roll recruit connected on the right side.
Look at that damage.
Did you see that?
Oh my goodness, Air Surfer.
The Evil Knight backwards somehow, and the recruit was able to charge and connect to the tower, and the Evil Knight.
My palms are sweaty watching this.
Darien this game, Air Surfer with a massive comeback.
This is the finals for Clash Royale for this bracket. Whoever wins this qualifies for the Galaxy Battle Superverse for the big finale.
Spear Goblin's coming down. Darien has a tall task ahead of it. He does have. I guess they both have decent cycles, like decently maxed cycles, so it's a poison game right now. With the drill, with the snowball knocking it back. Oh, but it's not quite enough. Goblin's going in.
Poison, like you said, just kind of the MVP right now for both players, really being that consistent.
It's triple elixir now.
Setting up with another
he might be able to just
Poison on
do
the
roll recruits
early,
again.
Trying to break through that. Fast as well. He wants to take that tower, that bearing tower down. Oh my god.
Yeah, that bomb tower. Once it goes down, it's a little bit harder to deal with the delivery.
Oh, he's going too hard on offense for Darien. The nice
Did he just cycle to 2 poisons?
So many recruits, even left lane. Miner goes in.
Miner in the bottom left lane, so you can predict it. That's it. Recruit connects.
Wow.
That's Air Surfer qualifying.
Finishing out with style. Charging up, taking that tower down, and we have an Air Surfer 2-1.
24 in-game spectators, no less from Air Surfer.
Into the lower bracket.
Insane. I need to add Air Surfer.
That is not how I thought that matchup was going to go. Darien put up a fight. Wow, went to game 3, and it was a close one. I honestly thought Darien was going to win game 3
I already
as I was
have
watching. Had the clear advantage. Air Surfer just made a massive comeback in the yin Shane. Overall, very impressive battle, and that goes to show when you have experience, even like Darien has over the last 5
You think Air Surfer is going to win the whole thing?
Can always answer back. And sometimes the wild
You're going to slide into Air Surfer's DMs?
Most successful.
But is Air Surfer good in Brawl Stars? That's the thing.
I mean, it really just came down to that Evo Knight. Did you see that Evo Knight? He played in front for the recruit, thinking that the charge would go in. I mean, maybe we'll see in the replay here.
Yeah, let's take a look
so
back
that's
on
it.
these replays. You're going to see game 1, 2,
There's
and
8
3
people that
in
can
the
qualify
replays,
for today's
Game
Clash
1,
Royale
of course.
finals.
Not a lot to write home about,
77
Shane, right?
and Air Surfer qualified.
There's
There's 6 seats left.
Really uncontested.
Oh, I mean, it was
for the Clash Royale finals.
Lopsided matchup.
The 8 players today, the final 8 move on.
This second battle, though, this is the one that kind of caught us off guard. Darian coming in with a massive push right side.
For the Galaxy
And
Battle
Mighty
Superverse, it's going to
Miner
be insane.
tanking for
A
his dollars,
huge shout out to
going all the way into the
Samsung
game, preventing
for
that rocket from
sponsoring this
going down,
entire
securing
tournament and
him the
everything, this
victory,
entire stream.
pushing it
It's a $100,000 prize pool.
third matchup, and then of
This
course,
wouldn't be
is the
possible
Miner
without them. Like
holding
the
it on
production
tower.
behind
Look at
this,
that.
you
Goes
have
in.
like a whole team
Look at
of
that. That is insane.
people
That
facilitating
Miner
all of this,
distraction?
the prize money,
Yeah, that
everything.
Miner, I mean, take this as a note for everyone back home watching. Whenever you have counter pushing units, always play your Miner in the back of the tower because that is what allows
Yeah, that was a clean
cards to be
win.
pulled backwards and
But not as
increase your
clean
chances of a great connection there.
as
You're
the Galaxy
learning things
Z
on
Fold 5.
broadcast today, Shane.
With
I
a
told you
7.6
we
inch
would
screen.
fill your goals of learning, right? We're all learning together.
It's actually really cool.
Quick look at the
Fits
stats.
in my pocket,
A win
comes
by
out, you-
Airsurfer,
you-
albeit
you'll-
it was a close
It's like a tablet
one.
in your
Let's take a
pocket. It's
look
crazy.
At the decks and talk through them. Shane, let's start with you here with the game one deck because you said it was lopsided, and it certainly was.
I'll be back in a minute.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You have the Executioner, the Tornado, the Log, the Bomb Tower. Just destroys the entirety of the Swarm from Darian. Even the Lightning Spell, hitting that Mortar, the Tower, plus the Skeleton King. Just perpetual damage. And Darian has literally no way to respond to that Hog Rider and prevent damage to that tower.
Yeah, that's right. And Juicy, take me through game two because this is the one where Darian threw some things at the wall and apparently they stuck.
Yeah, I mean, the Evo recruits, not so easy to defend. A little bit of a mess up in the graphic. Instead of the bomb tower, you actually had Goblin Barrel here. And without having that bomb tower, you know, it's so difficult to defend the recruits and all this spam. And the other thing is that small spell, the Snowball, doesn't kill Dark Op. So the Dark Op was able to apply so much pressure as well. And we saw the no small spell from Darian play factor, allowing Airsurfer to get damage. But in the end, the swarm on the dual lane pressure was enough to break through from Darian. It was a well played game from both sides. Darian coming on top on that game there. It was beautiful.
Yeah, the spam at the bridge was huge to win that one. Shane, finally, game three. Of course, we just saw it. Talk me through these decks.
I mean, it just came down to that Miner interaction, like you said.
Yep.
Miner in the back, pulling the knife on the tower, allowing the recruit to dash on, getting that additional source of damage, just giving that edge to Airsurfer and securing him the victory. Just really well played overall.
Such a fun match to watch, but job's not done for Darian. Job is done for Airsurfer.
Is there a
Another
Samsung
player,
mode?
of course,
It's
has
coming,
qualified for the
but not for
Grand
this
Finals.
tournament.
Only a week away, by the way, September 30th, same place at 3 p.m. Central Time. But you can see it on the graphic here in our bracket. Airsurfer has moved on. Darian will move down to the lower bracket. Of course, we're going to be taking a look
Is
at
this the CM?
Cheesecake and
No,
Sugar Frenzy
this
in
is a
just
different
moment,
one.
but
He's
let's
for
look at
Clash.
the
He's a
lower
Clash
bracket
Royale
because we've got some fun
comp player.
matchups to see who qualifies down in the lower bracket. Of course, 4 spots being earned. You gotta win 2 before you lose 2, and some of our players have only lost once. So Katori Adam down at the bottom, but Darian 240 will be going against Future in the bottom half.
Am I gonna join
of that
Supercell if
lower
I'm 70?
bracket. So, gentlemen, what a fun matchup. What a fun day thus
Who
far
knows?
of Clash Royale. We are gonna head to a very short break in a moment, but before we do, we've got to talk about the Galaxy Z Fold 5 because the Galaxy Z Fold 5, not only do I have it in hand, and it's a 7.6 inch screen, is gigantic. You already heard about the micro that you can do from our friend OJ, who's over there hanging out in his watch party, but it also has
That's
dual
me.
app viewing, so you can actually do way more with your screen with the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5. You can drag and drop photos into a text message. You can chop 2 sides
Shane-
side by side.
Shane
You
being
can even stream videos while
the
you're
silent
checking
model.
your feed. All right, so a lot you can do with this thing. Go check it out with the command !Galaxy Z Fold 5. That link will populate for you. Or if you want to make it easy, just head down to the link in the description below if you're hanging out.
Need to get me
with
into
us
Clash
on
of Clans
YouTube.
esports soon
And
instead of
by the
just
way,
Sneaky Goblin
if
E-Drags.
you were wondering how these players qualify
You know,
for
I
this event,
asked
well, they
Carbon
play
Fin
Clash
to train
Royale.
me
And if you want to play Clash Royale
in 30 days,
it's
and he
free
said that
in the Android Google
dragons
Play
might
Store.
actually be
Go
viable
download
because I
it
didn't learn
right now
proper war
for
attacks
free on that Android
at
Google
like Town
Play
Hall
Store. It's
13
a
and
lot
stuff.
of fun. Our creators have a blast with it. Of course, you should check
In 30
out their
days at
videos
least.
as well on the topic of Clash Royale.
Back in my day, Town Hall
They
10
make
was the
some
highest.
incredible
We just
videos.
focused on
Look, we're gonna take a look
hog
at the
heal,
next
queen
matchup.
walks.
I think it's
Those were
Cheesecake
simpler
versus
times.
Sugar Frenzy coming up right around
Back in
the
my
corner.
day.
Don't go anywhere, folks. We're gonna head to a very short break, but when we come back, it's gonna be a battle of the food.
Cheesecake versus
Battle
Sugar Frenzy.
Of
Who
Shane's picks.
do we
Don't go
pick?
anywhere. We'll be right back in just a second.
Walking uphill in the snow both ways. Yeah, back in my day, dragons took 4 hours to train. Back in my day, they didn't even have Dark Elixir. I remember how hyped the witch was when she first released. Stay user, thanks to the donut. Spells with 4-hour train times. Oh! And you had to boost so that spells could finish in 1 hour? We've come a long way. It's crazy. So I think the Clash of Clans versions will be Town Hall 15 versus Town Hall 15. Not entirely sure yet. We'll see how that goes. But the finals is going to be really exciting to watch.
Shake it off, that log left a mark. Let's get stronger, let's get vengeance. This dark elixir, it's
But how's my Hawaii trip? Oh, we only have to call 911. It's not a big deal. I'll make a video about that.
He's gonna take down every tower.
Who's next up? We got Cheesecake versus Sugar Frenzy. We got Roy versus Dr. Puerto Rico. And then the losers bracket. We still gotta figure out.
Yeah! Fight, fight, fight! Fight, fight, fight!
Steven, thanks for the donut. Is it still possible to join this tournament? No, they've already done all the qualifiers and everything. So Eric's saying that it's likely that we're going to be doing a Town Hall 15 versus Town Hall 15. There's going to be a lot of pros to guide the teams. I hope the pro doesn't tell me to use the Titan. I don't know how. The Titan is confusing. Why is it so tanky when I see people use them? And then when I put down the Titan, it just dies immediately. Oh yeah, there's the log bait back in the shop. If I had that on my mini and I didn't have log bait, that'd be super clutch.
Folks, we are back with the $100,000.
I think that's exactly what Carbon Fin said.
Superverse
Don't use
brought to
Titan
you by
without
Samsung
practice.
Galaxy and Supercell,
Stick to
of course,
dragons.
all powered by the Galaxy Z Fold 5.
The monolith is to
Clash
blame for that.
Qualifier
Well, now that I'm
finals.
maxed on
We're
Hall
here.
15,
We're
I
doing
kind of
two
know why
players
that's
have already
the reason why
qualified
my
for
Titan always
September
failed.
30th, the grand finals, $100,000 on the line, and it's right around.
So let's mod you up,
only
Ian. What's
1
up?
week away, same place, different time. 3 p.m. Central Time is when we're
You were
going
Town
live,
Hall
so
9 in
plenty of
Clash
time
of Clans.
to watch
That's
all
good
of
enough
those
to
grand
spam
finals. You're gonna get a
dragons.
chance to see all the creators that are casting this event and the other 2 events that we've seen.
We
Clash
want
Royale
Ian on our
and
team.
Brawl Stars. They're going to be competing this time around. You're not going to want to miss it. But I've got to welcome in.
I was
one of our
asking
new
everyone in chat
casters.
who
We
I
got
should
Juicy J
pick, and
back, of
everyone's like,
course, but Sir Tag is with us as
77.
well. Tag, my friend, good to have you here. How are your watch parties?
Dude, I've done fantastic. There's been so many fun games. I cannot believe the match of Darian versus Air
I
Surfer.
can do a mushroom
that
cut
had
too.
me on the edge of my seat the entire time.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd be on the edge of my seat, to be very clear. With all that Juicy J was kind of touting for his experience and skill, I thought it was going to be a
mushroom
blow.
cut in junior high.
Put up a good fight.
Middle school.
I mean, Juicy, we're about to go into this next match. We've got.
Hey, my hair is perfect for that too. I got
now, I know Shane was really
half of it is silver
pulling
and half of it is black.
And they played fantastic. Do you have any thoughts on this next matchup?
Honestly, my only thought is
played Brawl Stars before global release. Oh man, this Ian is a force to be reckoned with. We need Ian on my team. It's gonna be crazy.
Sugar, I don't know anything about him, and as a caster for CRL, if I don't know something about you, maybe it's your first time in a tournament. So that's could be very possible here.
Hey, something to prove though, right? Little chip on your shoulder. The underdog mentality can go a long way. And Tag, we did see that sometimes when you throw random things at the wall, crazy decks, they can actually come out to maybe surprise your opponent. You know, spam the bridge, whatever you need to do. Take a map win. All of a sudden you look up, all of a sudden you've won the round, right? Anything can happen.
Yeah, truthfully. And honestly, Sugar Frenzy is one of the best Royal Recruits players in the entire world.
What?
So he's definitely someone to look out for. Even though he's not as well known, he's extremely good.
This is new to me.
So
I don't think Juicy J even knew that.
He pulls out the Royal Recruits, if it's going to be game 1 or game 2. But I expect it to be pretty early on.
No.
And maybe Cheesecake will be prepared.
No disrespect.
There you go.
Because I'm not one to talk.
But game is ready, gentlemen.
How do you be the best Royal Recruit player in the world when you just put them down?
Game 1 versus Cheesecake at the bottom. Sugar Frenzy at the top. Both leaking elixir.
Not trying to slam any shade.
No, we see the goblins in the back.
I'm just genuinely.
Yeah, so we end up seeing the goblins in the back first play, and we're seeing Royal Hogs potentially from Cheesecake, or actually he's gonna go for Royal Giant.
Wow.
Royal Giant with Fisherman.
Yeah, he has the zappies with that.
Zappies,
the Electro Spirit didn't go in.
That Skeleton King version is definitely not something we see.
Royal Recruits are a lot better in competitive than on ladder.
Cycle version.
Okay, that makes sense. I only play ladder. I've never played competitive.
At the top here. Maybe
I played competitive in 2016, and then I had to focus on content, and I
who do
became
you think
washed.
has the matchup advantage here?
I was like,
Because
you know what, this is my life. I'm just gonna be washed forever.
Potentially go and
Here I am 7 years later. I've been washed for 7 years, and no one's noticed.
It could be a little bit sketchy. Also, I'm sure you've seen this before, where fishermen are in the middle, both pulling each other and stopping each other from getting the
2016 was an easier time.
It's
I was
be a
free to
sketchy
play
situation if that happens.
Yeah,
and both my main account and my mini account were top 1,000 in 2016.
Lies in
this is when people were just slamming cards down. It was a simpler time, man. Now everyone's counting cards and elixir perfectly.
Tombstone plus Zappies and Fisherman combo, probably a little bit better on defense.
Back in my day, I just needed to know to put down the cannon.
Yeah, I think you have to give
in the middle,
a little
and
bit
I'm
of
good.
advantage for the Tombstone. Skeleton King going down on the right-hand side to go and defend against the Royal Giant, and it looks like Cheesecake is trying to go and pull the RG.
Double Royal Giant deck.
We'll end up giving him one.
I don't think we've seen
a
mirror Royal Giant yet.
Lane too. So I wonder if, because there's the building, does Sugar Frenzy try to go opposite lane
Eric with
so
the
then
bridge
he doesn't
spam deck.
go
I'm scared. I'm scared. You might actually be a decent opponent.
Yeah, opposite lane would make sense. Double elixir
was totally
kind of saving Sugar here, I feel like. You know, that was a pretty scary
to get
push.
steamrolled in Clash of Clans, but
down to 15,
I might actually have to play in Clash Royale.
And I really like what Cheesecake's done in this match, being pretty aggressive with those RGs. A lot of the time, if you're more aggressive with the RG, then you're going to get more Evo RGs on the board. And those Evo cards are so good in the current meta.
So
yeah,
did he just
hard
say
to not get
Evo
evolutions?
Cards are
one thing
so
that
good in the current
have
meta?
To note is
Evo cards have been so good since they've been
released
released
and slow rolling them instead of dropping them directly at the river.
I mean, Juicy J is not wrong. That's on point. They're very good in the meta.
Or maybe get to a second Royal Giant so you can drop that evolution. Wow, Cheesecake gets through, as you said before. Not having that building is really hurting Sugar Frenzy right now. What do you think about the slow roll Royal Giants compared to the Royal Giants at the river?
Sugar only got Fisherman.
Honestly, I think that's a great call out. I honestly think that
the fact that
slow roll a regular Royal
Cheesecake
Giant
has Zappies and Tombstone and Fisherman.
That's my opinion.
There's no shot.
I think when you play the RG in the back, the whole point is to get that Evo RG, and Cheesecake understands that.
Oh my goodness, Motherwoods with the goblins and everything.
Look at that monk. That monk getting so much value here.
Yeah, the monk giving the 3-card cycle
goodness,
too,
that was an
so
insane
you
Skeleton King
back
activation.
Faster to that evolved Royal Giant, which is a nice benefit. The Skeleton King getting pulled really close by the Fisherman.
That was beautiful.
So both towers can finish it off, and then I think that Cheesecake just
No one
really
uses
is
Evil
confident
Mortar.
out
We
of
saw it
position,
once today, but
cycling
that was
all the
about it.
zappies and splitting them up too, instead of dropping them all on one side. We haven't seen a big spell yet. What do you think about that? Could he have dropped it in the same side because maybe there's a lightning? Oh, geez.
Look at this evil RG on tower. It's getting
So after
so
we
much
make our
damage.
team, are we gonna play
It's
with them or
just pushing
coach them?
everything back. That was
Wow.
that was a
Find out
really
on
bad
September
defense from
30th,
Cheesecake. I
the grand
honestly
finale
think it
of the Galaxy
started
Battle
when you went for
Superverse.
those zappies in the back. You need all 3 zappies for that defense. But here comes the counterburst to the right side.
This
Oh,
has
here's
been
a
one of
big
the most
push.
dynamic defenses
Skeleton
ever. The Electric
King
Spear
with all
chaining
the
onto
skeletons
every
blocking
single
the Phoenix from
skeleton
even
the
touching the Royal
Skeleton
Giant.
King. And the Royal Giant coming
my-
through in the right as well. We've had a really controlled game now, Juicy, and
that
it's spiraled
monk,
into
though.
chaos.
Wait, doesn't
That was
there
a-
it is. GG.
Oh,
He had a lightning? Oh, yeah. Lightning Fisherman
Frenzy.
RG.
Kind of getting
Dang.
upset here, taking game 1.
He
You
didn't
know,
have a
like
building,
Coach said, maybe
and
a
he
chip
still
on his
got
shoulder,
through.
something to prove. Not the best matchup, especially with that lightning. The Zappies should get infinite value.
I need to
here,
stop talking.
but that
Oh,
one
there's no
mistake
shot
with
he's
Cheesecake,
gonna get through.
playing the Zappies in the
Cheesecake
back,
has
to the
Zappies
right,
and Tombstone
allowing
and
for that
Fisherman.
RG
He's going to
connection. That
win
was
this.
brutal.
Loses it.
I noticed that, and I didn't see a
gonna
spell
stop
that was
talking now.
scary for Cheesecake. I was like, wait, why did he do that? And that was it. And it's the $100,000 prize pool, man. That's like, Cheesecake is one of the best players in the world. He's so good, but the mental just slipped slightly there, and that's all it takes is just one.
Absolutely. Knights on the defense versus the Miner here. So we see Miner and Cannon Cart. I'm not really
Speaking
sure
is
what kind of
jinxing
deck
it.
that could be Cheesecake. Maybe it's
Who do I wanna
just a
jinx?
Standard quick cycle that could be Miner.
I have the
could be
power.
Drill, could be even Hawk.
Mortar probably from Sugar Frenzy, right? Or
Surely.
has to be something similar. And then Cheesecake, we don't have.
Oh, that's
no
a
clue
really
yet.
great Ice Spirit. Tanks
Poison
one
coming
hit,
down from Sugar
stalls
Frenzy,
it
which is interesting.
just
We
enough
have seen it with Mortar
so that the
before,
wheels
but
fall off.
I'll have to wait and see.
I
if
love
that
seeing those
is
small
gonna be
interactions.
Something different. He could also turn to Royal Recruits because that is his main deck, but he always plays it with Royal Hogs and the standard triple spell one. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, I think you
Tag
gotta
and
be on the
Juicy are
money
really
with
immersed
the
in the
Mortar
scene. They
here,
know what's
but
up.
Once again, we see the Executioner coming out versus a Mortar spam like this, and look how much value it's getting already.
Yeah. Wow, that thing is just
So here's the
clobbering
thing
tower.
is-
It's crazy because if you use a tornado with Executioner, even if they drop units behind your Executioner,
Tag is
you can still
gonna
use
be
that
really good
tornado
in
to,
Clash Royale.
like, divide it and put it right next
But I'm
to the
pretty
tower
sure
so
I
you
can
get
beat
that damage.
him in Brawl
Nothing
Stars and
escapes
Clash of
Executioner
Clans.
tornado anymore.
I know, it's so brutal, and it just does so much damage. Wait a second, the Ice Spirit didn't jump. Wait, oh,
But
here's
Kairos-
Evil Knight, though. Evil Knight might bail him out
Kairos
here.
is good at all three.
Yeah, as you said, Ice Spirit will typically lock onto a cannon cart because the cannon cart can't
Why is
one-shot it.
UCJ so underrated?
But
He's not
paired with
underrated.
The
No,
bats,
no, no.
The cannon
He's-
cart and the
he's
bats
the
were able
top
to kill
gaming
that.
streamer
That
on
changed the
TikTok.
interaction completely. Unfortunately, for
Well
Sugar
deserved, too.
Frenzy, the Evolved Knight did so much damage to his tower and defended and just became an absolute monster.
Can you believe that? Like, he made the biggest mistake of the game. He played an Evil
could beat
Knight.
Tag in
It bails him out
COC.
defense, but it also
Yeah.
tanks the
He
back
might-
for
he
30
might
seconds and
beat
gets
me
a hit
in
on
Clash
the tower
Royale. I
for some
choke in
massive
Clash
damage.
Royale so
That's just
easily.
ridiculous.
I believe it.
Everyone
but
just
I
gets
don't
into
want
my
to.
head.
Well said, Tag. Well said.
Great Ice Spirit and Knight there, just a body block so the bomb tower would stay alive a little bit longer so the mortar wouldn't lock onto the tower. That's just such high level gameplay. Oh,
Yo, speaking of high-level gameplay, we have an Executioner NATO getting 3 shots on the tower. Cheesecake absolutely just dominating here in game 2.
Cheesecake's like, dude, I think I'll have my dessert now and eat the entire tower. So he's looking
Oh,
like
there's
he's
no
in a
way. There's
pretty
only
good position. Minor
15
Poison
seconds
can
left.
close
That's just
out
the
this
poison
game,
away.
too. It's really in Sugar
Unless
Frenzy's
he
court to make
somehow
the
gets that
massive play with the
evolved mortar to
He's
really
gotta
connect
go
and
now.
have a good tank for it.
Here comes
No.
Evolved Mortar. Long tower on the defense, though. Only 8 seconds left.
there's no-
Evolved
there's-
Mortar does a lot
it's
of
not
damage, but once
possible.
again, an Evo Knight back in
Evo
cycle.
Knight
Gonna
on the
lock
mortar,
everything up,
too.
and that's going to be GG's in game 2. We are heading into a game 3, ladies and gentlemen.
You know what, Juicy? I think the recruits are coming out, and without Executioner and Bomb Tower, I would be so scared if I was Cheesecake. You're played against one of the best
Tag
recruits players in the entire
Tag with a
world
high level
right
knowledge,
now.
saying
And
that
you
Sugar
don't have
Frenzy is
the
one
two
of,
best counters in the game.
if not the
What
best
is
Royal
it?
Recruit players in the
That's like
entire
one of the best
world,
calls I've
and there's
ever
no
heard.
Bomb
That's such a
Tower
good
or
call out.
Executioner
He's got the
for the
fireball as well.
recruits.
Maybe we even see a recruits in the mirror matchup here. Would you give Sugar the advantage here?
Is it a
being the
mirror
one
match?
trick?
Yeah, I would. I think it's a huge advantage. He's running his main deck right now. I'm scared. But there is a bomber in the deck
Wow.
for Cheesecake. Do you even
No
see that
way.
often?
No, but he knows that he's used the bomb turn execution. He knows
my
his opponent
goodness, it is
is
a
gonna
mirror
use
match.
pigs, so he brings
Juicy.
the delivery and the bomber just for a
I love
second,
it.
you know,
Juicy sees
just kind
one
of
match. one card played.
Precautionary
Mirror match.
action here.
They're both Royal
Actually,
recruits.
now that I think of it, every single game in this best of threes had a good recruits counter.
Yeah, dude, he knew what he was matched into and built a deck to beat it.
Oh, Golden Knight connects.
The Golden Knight walks onto the tower. Juicy, how do you feel about your hero?
You know, a lot of people say I look like the Golden Knight, so I can't help but be so happy to see
Juicy does have that
connection.
Golden
But
Knight
look at this
aesthetic.
Pigs plus bomber connection left inside. Towers down to half health already.
Wow, this is just an amazing deck
How do
construction.
we get the Samsung
Having
emotes?
Trail
We
Delivery,
don't know
Fire
yet, but
Spirit,
it's
and
not
Bomber
related to
all in
this
the same
tournament, so you don't have
deck.
to worry. We can just chill
That
out.
is
Check out
amazing.
this
I wonder what Big
qualifier.
Snow
Who's
is.
gonna
Do you have
win?
any
Who's not
thoughts
gonna
on
win?
what the last two
Top 8
cards
qualify for the
Cheesecake
finals.
could be surprising us with?
Wow, he's got Valkyrie too. There's no way. This is the snipe of all snipes. The only thing
Did
that can make
Cheesecake
this
just
better
snipe him?
versus recruits pigs is if he had
No
a
way.
fireball as this last card. I'm not sure if
Juicy
he used
cosplays the
fireball
Golden Knight?
in
Oh, I
previous
almost
best of three
forgot
or not,
about-
though.
Yeah. What do you think about if you main a deck like this and you're like infamous for playing it? Do you think you just don't play it because people build your entire like decks to counter it, or do you still play it? Like Parsa, I remember ended up playing his Lobhound
Yeah.
Freeze deck. Like, I guess it's just such a tough thing.
It's a great
Cheesecake
question.
cheesed them, yeah, but it's a
I
duel,
mean,
so it's fair
honestly,
game.
What I was talking about earlier with Shane was you use your one trick after you've seen your opponent use counters that counter your one trick, which is what he did though. Like he waited for the execution to come out, he waited for the bomb pair out, but little did we know that Cheesecake's got bomber delivery Valkyrie in store.
Yeah. To be fair, the Mortar Evolution does pair very nicely with this, and it's a creative deck. I love the fact that duels bring out this level of uniqueness. If you jumped into a ladder game, you'd never see anything like this, but this is an incredible composition from Cheesecake. And the Mortar Evolution just has so much health, too. It's hard to kill, so if you can't get on top of it with like a Golden Eye Dash or a Fly Machine, like, you're going to fireball it, or what's the strategy?
Honestly, it's a great question. This is going to be game over, ladies and gentlemen, though we have Cheesecake taking the 2-1
Cheesecake with a
game of
Valkyrie
Clash Royale.
bomber?
And honestly,
What a
I don't
complete
know if
counter
Cheesecake has a
pick.
coach. I don't know if he's picking these decks himself. But either way,
Sheesh.
props whoever is picking the decks here, because this was an absolute masterclass in deck picking here. Beautiful play.
He just counter-picked.
What
And
a fun
what
one.
Tag
And
says is the
what
best
a
Royal
fun
Recruit player in the
win and
entire
a
world.
Fun matchup, right? Like, again, another matchup, like on desk, we were talking about.
Ben
it.
in the
We didn't think
Superverse? He
necessarily
is.
Would go to
There's
game
gonna be 12 of us.
And at the end of the day, not only did it go to game 3, but it was close, and we saw the massive outplay at the end with Cheesecake. So cool to see.
Truly one of the most, I don't know, spectacular snipes I've ever seen. I've never thought that he would have that type of counter. I was so excited when I got to see the Royal Recruits, and then it just ended up getting wiped immediately.
Yeah, we got to go back and clip your reaction to when the Bombers came out, because that was just pure gold. Let's take a look at the replays, though, and Juicy, walk me through some of these.
Absolutely. We looked at game 1 here. As an RG mirror matchup, I will stick with what I said. Cheesecake definitely should win this. He had the early damage lead. The zappies are the key.
Cheesecake
Once those zappies
moving
were
on.
recycled, though, we see right here is a lot more
There's
difficult.
5
from the
slots
defend. That
left
evil
in this
giant
bracket.
is so good at taking these towers down.
Yeah, very fun to watch and tag as we see kind of this next matchup close out. I mean, walk me through some of this. And I think one of the things that's worth noting, too, that Sugar Frenzy really put up a good fight. And I think it was the misplay maybe from Cheesecake at the beginning that Sugar Frenzy was able to actually capitalize on.
Yeah, so in the Executioner match, Cheesecake ended up just destroying with Executioner Tornado. Is just a great deck pick. The last match was incredible from the route of Cheesecake's deck selection. We had no clue that you could even build something with a Valkyrie, Royal Delivery, Fire Spirit, and Bomber. This is a deck that has never been seen in Clash Royale before. So
He
the
literally
creativity was off
invented
the
a new
charts,
deck to
and,
counter
obviously, it caught Sugar Frenzy.
Counter
off guard.
Sugar Frenzy.
Yeah,
My
love to see,
goodness.
of course, taking a quick look at the stats, you can see the average tower damage way up for Cheesecake, of course, grabbing both towers at the end in game 3 and dominating with some ingenuity. Let's take a look at the decks, though. Game number 1 was a blast to watch, and yes, maybe a misplay, Juicy. Talk me through these decks, though.
Yeah, so like I said during broadcast, that last card from Sugar is so important. If you have the Fireball, then you can kill Zappies, you can kill the Mother Witch very easily for even elixir trades. But with the Lightning, it's negative elixir trades, and it's only going to target the 3 most healthy cards in its area. So the Zappies are so good. Almost the natural counter to the Lightning here in this game 1. But Cheesecake kind of choked it. I mean, it was actually pretty insane to watch.
His nubs in this
that
tournament,
Lightning almost
he
getting no
is.
value, but still able to win with the Evo RG.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, let's take a look at
Eric,
deck 2. Tag, walk
Kenny,
me through this
Judo, Lexnos.
Yeah, so the
From
execution
Clash
of Tornado
Clans.
really made a huge
And then for
difference
Brawl Stars,
there.
Crying
As you
Man,
guys
Nubs,
saw,
Kairos,
whenever
Ben.
the miner was coming through, it was slowly
And then
but surely
for
getting damage for
the Clash
Cheesecake.
Royale side,
But
there's
when he was able to use the tornado
me,
to line
Shane,
up
Juicy,
Sugar
and
Frenzy's
Tag.
units near the tower, then you started to see like thousands of damage roll through. And because they were both using a minor poison archetype, when someone gets 1,000 damage, the damage is going to be relatively similar, and the lead is going to be held until the very end. So Cheesecake just ended up having a really good deck combo and played it perfectly.
Shout out that Evo Knight, by the way, going crazy on the bailout into some
Yeah.
push at the end as well, getting a little bit of some offensive pressure. But game 3, this is the crazy one. Juicy, take this away and talk me through this deck pick.
All right, so if y'all are back home just tuning into your first Clash Royale stream, the reason why this is so ridiculous is that Bomber, the Valkyrie, and the Roll Delivery, and even the Fire Spirit, they all do splash damage. They're all redundant in most deck picks, but you need splash damage versus a Recruits Pigs deck. So Cheesecake, knowing that Sugar Frenzy was going to come with his best deck, this Recruits Pigs, he puts all of them all in the same deck to have as many counters as humanly possible. And the Phoenix for the Flying Machine is just icing on the cake. There's almost nothing that Sugar Frenzy could have
Wow,
done
I
to
didn't
win
even
this
notice
game
the
after this
Phoenix
beautiful deck pick from
was a
Cheesecake.
Flying Machine counter pick.
Great.
I was so
shout.
fixated on the
much fun to
Bomber,
watch, but if
the
you're a big
Roll
fan of Sugar
Delivery, the
Frenzy,
Fire Spirit, and the
job's not
Valkyrie.
done.
That's
Still
so funny.
in it, just down in the lower bracket, but congratulations.
That's the
by
biggest
way.
counter pick in the history of
Cheesecake
counter
has
picks.
joined our other
Imagine
winners
having
and
your
has
fourth deck
qualified for our September
specifically
30th
to counter the best Royal
Grand
Recruit player in the world.
$100,000 on the line, and Ian77, Air Surfer, and Cheesecake have all made it.
Yep,
And they'll be
double
competing
elimination,
against
top
you two,
8 cutoff
by
for
the way.
finals.
But let's take a look at the lower bracket. Here's our matchups. Of course, Darien against Future. We've already talked about this, but it's Sugar Frenzy going against Luminary, who we haven't seen on the broadcast yet, but Luminary did take
that's
down
spicy.
Tarsus or Tech.
Yeah.
Who's on my team? We
Luminary
don't know
is
yet.
Actually, one of the best mortar players in the entire
Or do we?
world. He typically will run either the Mortar
So
Evolution.
what I
or
realize
he'll
is
run
there's 12 creators
Evolved Barbarians at all
and
points in
only
time
8
and just run
players
one
from
big
each
deck.
game
So it'll be
qualify.
interesting to see
So
what
that
he
means
pulls
I'm
out,
the
if he's
Clash
gonna be
Royale
running
representative.
some cycle decks, or
I
if
was
he's gonna
hoping
fall
to
back on his
snag
roots
Ian or
and
someone.
potentially get countered just like Sugar Frenzy was.
Yeah.
Well, we'll find out more details on
we've
the
got
30th.
One more winner that can actually walk out of the upper bracket and qualify without losing a single match, by the way. The goal, I said this before, I'll say it again, win 2 before you lose 2. So one more that can make it through the upper bracket, and then it's all down to the lower
Is Ian
bracket.
in the tournament?
Do or die
He
mode.
already
So it's
qualified.
Joy versus
He's good.
Dr.
He's chilling.
Puerto Rico,
He's one of the
TCJ. What do you
8
got?
finalists for today. So
Honestly,
he's already moved on to the
I played Dr. Puerto
Galaxy,
Rico on ladder
Galaxy
before.
Battles Superverse.
He's a great player. I'm pretty sure he uses a crazy deck if I'm not
The Brawl
wrong.
Stars match has
Troy,
already happened. You
aka
can check it out on
Mr. Cena,
on
a little
Kairos'
bit more
channel. He already
versed in the
streamed
scene,
that
Definitely recognize that name.
about last week.
Playing a few tournaments. I gotta give Droy a slight advantage here going into this best of 3.
You think
Okay,
that it's going to
Tag,
be
you're gonna go
2
Troy as well.
from each
Continuing
game
to
so that there's going to
prove
be an expert?
Cena
Yeah,
is
that
the
would
better
make sense
player.
for me too.
I do think Cena is the better player, but
We draft
I
teammates
like
on the
Royal
30th?
Recruits, so I am
We'll find out.
100% going for Dr. Puerto Rico. He plays Royal Recruits and spams savagely at the river at all points in time. So I want to see some
I should be
intense
concerned
games.
about Ben. He's good in all 3
Hey,
as well.
the bridge spam, it's worked, right? We
Yep.
saw it on broadcast. It does work. I like
Ben
it,
and Kairos
Tag.
are forced to be
Well,
reckoned
I'm
with.
excited to see what happens here. I believe the game is ready. So Juicy J, Tag, take it away.
But here's the thing.
Let's
All
roll.
4 Clash
Alrighty, hopping in.
Clash of Clan clearers,
Selecting decks, game
they're going to
1.
wreck us.
Any cards are
But
available.
we're going to have a
Good luck.
Clash of Clans
Coming out
pro
from both
that can coach me. The Clash of Clans pro just needs to be like, yo, OJ, don't use sneaky goblins.
Royal Recruits right out of the start, and we are definitely seeing a
Oh
more
shoot, this is still
defensive-oriented deck from
the
Droid.
upper
Showcasing
bracket.
ice
Droid
game.
versus
Now with
Dr. Puerto
Minor,
Rico.
I don't know if it's
My-
going to be Royal Recruits.
My money's on
What
Droid.
direction do you think this is headed, Juicy?
Honestly, great question, but I think.
All
it's
right, since
gotta
I
be
can't have any
Night
Clash Royale
Knight,
players on my
Minor,
team,
Wallbreakers
Eric, this is
deck,
the one who's
featuring a Firecracker, maybe
decent
even
at
a Prince here.
Clash Royale and really good at Brawl Stars.
Mortar and probably a Hog Rider from
Ian and Droy are gonna be
Overall,
really good
I would
team
say
picks.
that Dr. Puerto
If you get
Rico
one of
having
those two in your
a slight
team-
matchup advantage here, as long as he has those arrows.
I don't know.
over the opposing
I don't know the
guards.
intel on the other players if they're good at Clash Royale or Brawl
Also
Stars,
having
but
those Oh
I mean,
my
Clash of
gosh,
Clans
I
are
was
ball
gonna say,
stars, but I
not
know that
having
Droy and Ian are
an
going to be
amazing
solid
answer to
picks
bats
for sure.
besides like Ice Spirit, but the snowball comes down, and Droy finds himself in a very easy defense. I wonder
No.
if
This is the upper bracket.
Firecracker will stay on the map for a while or not. That's the scary thing. We saw that with Ian before, where the Firecracker just nonchalantly just chilled on the map and sprayed the tower with a ridiculous amount of damage. So I think that might be the key defining feature if you can keep that range card alive long enough.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great call.
Droy hasn't lost yet.
Firecracker, especially when you don't have a big spell or at least arrows, almost always getting really good value. And Droid not having either of those. So maybe you're right about that Firecracker. Going to be able to get some solid value.
Another thing that was interesting is because he cycled the Musketeer and guards on the left-hand side, he did not have a good way of stopping that mortar. Like there was really, like keeping that mortar alive, there's really no good way of doing that. It just took damage from the wall breakers. So it's wow.
How many
That Hog Rider got a
shots
lot
did
of
he
damage.
get
What
there?
is
Tower only
going
down to
on?
768.
What
At least the Ghost got some hits on the left-hand side. And he has a snowball for defense. And we talk about how this matchup could be good for Puerto Rico. But Droy utilizing that evil mortar with just having a great start here in the single elixir.
Has he cycled
So
to his
Mega Knight's
evil
taking
mortar
the-
yet?
the damage
It'd be
from
great if we
the
could see in
mortar, so
the in the
Firecracker can
spectating
start
or
to
the
chip away on
replays,
top of
like
the
how many
mortar.
rotations they're at. You know what I mean?
If this Mega Knight's going to accomplish anything, though. I think that the bats should just
Oh
get cleaned up.
shoot!
by
They had to use
snowball
bats
and
for
then not
that.
necessarily,
What does he have for the wall breakers though?
accomplish
That
what he
might be
wants. He's gonna
ouchy.
have to go for wall breakers for all his damage.
The mortar to
Yeah,
pull.
wall breaker's not
That's an
gonna connect,
expensive
the
wall
mortar's
breaker
gonna eat
defense,
that,
but it was
and then-
absolutely necessary.
Lastly, just once again, I feel like Dr. Perico would have played his arrows by now for these guards. Maybe that's why he's
Droy's
having a
going
hard
with the
time
Hog
breaking
Rider.
through.
That's
Speaking
it.
of
He
breaking
needs
through,
to
this
defend this
Hog Rider inside
perfectly.
is taking the tower down to 0. Now the question is, Dr. Perico, can you take this tower?
He's going to go all in with the wall breakers. The firecrackers coming
breakers.
through. There's an earthquake coming down on defense to shatter the rest of the
Oh
stuff. And
my
he has ball
goodness.
mortar with super high health, barely pulling
He's
things
pulling
back. Sombrero goes stun block onto it.
the firecracker.
Oh my god, the firecracker shot! Literally millimeters
way too
away
tight.
from the tower, but it doesn't get there in time.
And the worst part about it is, Juicy, you know that decay was absolutely imminent. That tower was forfeit. In a situation where you're running Mega Knight and you take a tower against a mortar deck, you're always going to have an advantage.
Yeah, you're
If he
absolutely
took that
right.
tower,
If Dr. Puerto Rico could have just got
that would have
tower
been
in that
devastating
last
for a mortar
millisecond,
player.
he would have come back and he probably would have gone to win that game. But that's not what happened. Maybe in another universe, but not in this one. Droid,
Yeah, not in the
taking game one.
Galaxy
Puerto Rico
Battle
needs to get the
Superverse
reverse sweep
universe.
if he wants to survive here.
That sounded better
Yeah,
in my head.
so
I'm sorry.
Droy, last game we saw Hog Rider.
Felt more
Are we
punny
going to
in my
start to
head.
see some minor poison come out of him? Dr. Puerto Rico still isn't even running his main deck. So he has put himself in an awkward position where
Nubs is
he's
decent at
trying to put
Clash
himself
Royale.
outside
He
of the
is.
comfort zone and not be as predictable.
Did you see that pre-log? That has to be in replay. It keeps
Oh
these
my
bats alive,
goodness,
allowing
two
the
wall
double
breakers
breaker
connecting
connection,
already?
and Puerto Rico calls
That's
the
still
good
on
game
the
already.
tower.
Droy with the absolutely disgusting plays in game 2.
Yeah, and he's going to build on that too. He's going to be able to have a lot of elixir here for the recruits and get counter push immediately after trouncing the Knight and Musketeer. That's a hefty 7 elixir investment in left-hand
He
side.
hasn't
that just
even
got
dealt
deleted.
with the Royal
He's
recruits yet.
recouping his
Oh,
investment from the recruits
did
immediately.
Dr. Puerto Rico just give up?
And it looks like Dr.
Oh
Puerto
my
Rico
goodness,
is just
already.
straight up giving up here, allowing Droy to take this. I mean, Droy
He played well
confident in this
up
best
until
of
this
3.
point.
I mean, after that game 1, how can you not be confident? It's like, wow, I have fate on my side with Firecracker not killing my tower there. So just going so aggressive in the early game here. Those Evo recruits put in the work to finish off the game as well.
You gotta say, like, if you have that game 1, it opens up the leeway for you to make those.
Yeah,
predictions
game
with
1
the
would have been
log without
insane.
having that scare factor.
That
of, like, oh, if I lose this
firecracker
game,
was
I'm
like
out.
half a frame away.
It's a great call.
Gentlemen,
If that
I grabbed a
firecracker
sip of water,
took it
all of a
out,
sudden we're
Mega Knight
already
would have
done.
eventually
I mean,
been able to
Droid just
dominate the mortar.
dominated. And, you know, I feel like sometimes that scoreline doesn't really tell the full story, right? Like, game 1 really was close. And I think I'm with Juicy. I actually think Dr. Puerto Rico might win that matchup if that firecracker shot is not just floating around in some sort of, like, Superverse way up in the sky somewhere, milliseconds away from connecting and sending to overtime.
Yeah,
and
that was the
likely
upper
sending the
bracket.
win towards Dr. Puerto
But we still got
Rico.
the lower bracket.
A
Dr. Puerto Rico
wild
can
game
still
1,
win.
But an absolute stomp of a game 2. Let's look back on it, Juicy. Kind of take
That
these
is way
replays
too
away,
much
walk me
damage
through
for
what
a Hog Rider. way too much damage. He committed
and it was great
Ghost
pressure
and
from Droy. He did a great job of
all
realizing
the
the
hoo-has.
massive matchup disadvantage, and once again going for that early aggression, taking the tower. And check out this push. Okay, we have Mega Knight, Ghost, Evil Firecracker. The arrows prediction come in, do not hit the guards. 3 seconds, 2, Firecracker shot. It's almost there, but it doesn't get there in time. And looking at game 2, Puerto Rico, I mean, I don't blame him for literally just being just not in his comfort and just being upset, honestly, after that game.
That's a
one.
third player that's
Kind of
going to
just gave up
qualify.
here after a tough start, and that was that. Droy played so
Or fourth player.
fantastically in this game too.
We got
as well.
4 more
With the
slots
prediction
left for the
log,
Clash Royale
Tag
tournament.
said, that prediction log, you don't make that play unless you're super comfortable with your position after game 1.
Yeah, and it's funny. Here's a quick look at the stats, and we talk about decks, right? Like Dr. Puerto Rico didn't run his main deck in the second, and it was Droy's immediate push. It was like over 3/4 of
the
health
best
of the
Clash
tower
Royale
or
that changed
something
another
like that.
game.
That kind of forced
Ferg's not the
Dr.
best,
Puerto
but he
Rico
started with
to,
Clash Royale.
give up. So let's take a look.
And then he
at deck
transitioned into
one,
being
though,
one of the
and,
best that-
Tag, I'll let you walk me through this one.
What he
because,
does.
Yes, a win by Droy, but it was a close match.
Yeah, so the Hog Rider did devastating damage to Dr. Puerto Rico, because if you look at his deck, the only way he can effectively counter it is dropping the Mega Knight or the Prince, and they both cost 5 or 7 elixirs. So you find yourself in a situation where you're trying to defend with bats, they're going to get snowballed. Firecracker, Miner, Royal Ghost, they don't really counter the Hog Rider, so we saw opportunities where Droid just did devastating damage. Unfortunately, Droid just wasn't actually able to get into a spot where he was scared.
We need a
He
monolith
ended up
in Clash
winning that
Royale. That's what we
last
need.
bit of the
It needs to
game,
be a legendary
and
tower.
He's just so confident
I'd be
in the
pissed.
second game too. After that first match where
It'd basically
he was
be an
able to
Inferno
win it,
tower, but
second match he just
worse.
carried away and played super leisurely, where he's like pre-logging and being able to look at the matchup, knowing that Dr. Puerto Rico wasn't even running a deck that he was scared about. He's like, okay, if I play against recruits, I got to have that bomb tower in there. So you saw him build his entire deck combination where he had bomb tower and Valkyrie so he could beat Dr. Puerto Rico's main deck. And it was an absolute beatdown of a match, despite Dr. Puerto Rico still being one of the best players in the world.
Yeah, and I want to give a second here to really give Droy his flowers. Very well done, and congratulations, of course, because Droy, you've qualified for
There's
the Grand
casual players who are
Finals
decent at
a
all
week
3
away,
games, and then there's
September 30th,
pros
3
that hyper
Central
focus
Time.
on one
You're
game.
there, and you're competing. The question is who
That's
with.
true.
Certainly not these 2 gentlemen that are joining me in the booth, but instead some of our other creators
almost
out in the
do-
Superverse. But we have finalized our
so would
upper
you
bracket
want
winners.
someone
Ian,
who
Air
just
Surfer,
barely
Cheesecake,
qualified and is
Droy,
decent at all
they
3,
went
or someone
lossless.
who's just
they went perfect.
a
They walked
beast
their
at that
way
one
to the
game?
finish line, and they have earned their spots. But now it's time to head to the lower bracket, gentlemen. Here it is.
Lower
our
bracket.
final
Dr. Puerto Rico's
4
still not out yet.
matchups
Sugar
of
Frenzy's
the
still in there.
day. An opportunity to prove yourself. You've got to grab 2 wins before you grab 2 losses. And right now, they're 1-1. An opportunity to move on. As we take a quick glance at this, Juicy J, who are kind of some of these key matchups you're looking at saying, like, uh-oh, I think that's going game 3 no matter what?
Game 3, no matter what? That's a tough one. Honestly, I gotta flip the script on you a little bit. I feel like there's a lot of favorites in all of these matchups. We have Clown, super strong player, did so well in CRL. Luminary, like Tag said, one of the best mortar players in the world. Darian, super well known in the community. And we have Nate. I mean, if there's going to be the close match, it's got to be Nate versus Adam. This is the closest one of the day, but I got to give Nate a pretty solid edge here.
Okay, so potentially even 2-0s for the rest of the day is what you're telling me, Juicy J. I like that from you. A little spicy take from you. But Tag, I think we've got an opportunity here to head into our lower qualifier first matchup, right? Our lower bracket. We're back with Dr. Puerto Rico, a chance immediately after to prove themselves again and make it to the qualifiers. You've just got to win this matchup. Talk to me about this one. What are we thinking? Dr. Puerto Rico versus Clown.
Yeah, so Dr. Puerto Rico didn't get a chance to play his main deck. I think he's going to jump into it earlier on. He's not going to have that regret of, wow, I am playing against a top-level CRL player, and I'm not playing the decks that I'm comfortable with. I think he's going to try to get that confidence a little bit earlier and then switch it up and run something else later. Clown might be anticipating that. He's just going to likely run some really defensive decks, probably go and stick with the Minor Poison. It's one of those things when you watch someone else beat the person that you're playing against, you might start to copy some of their strategies.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. And Juicy, I know a Clown, a CRL player, didn't end up qualifying this time around, so maybe a chip on their shoulder and is going to try to punch back. What are we thinking?
Absolutely. You know, he's got something to prove here. I mean, this is one of the biggest tournaments this year. So, I mean, let's go and just hop. Wait, sorry, never mind. We're not hopping in the game yet. My bad.
Oh, good. Look, here's the thing, Juicy. I might just step out of the booth. I'm just gonna let you.
Barbs
do
are the
my
best
job
Evo.
for me.
They are, but
killing it right now.
they're not that
Y'all's cast-
spicy.
y'all's cast
I want
sound flawless.
I want to dominate.
Work, gentlemen. And I know we've got some amazing watch parties going on as well over there. OJ and Shane, they're doing their watch parties behind the scenes. We'll check in with them in a little bit. But with this matchup, Dr. Puerto Rico versus Clown, I'm just excited to see the main deck from Puerto Rico, like Tag called out, right? Like, didn't get a chance to see it the last time around. And I know we talk about the kind of chess match that is picking your decks, because when you are a one trick or when you're specialized in a certain type of deck, everybody expects you to use it. And so you see, like, we saw those air defenses being able to be used on every single matchup. You can't do that every time. Like, you gotta stack in one direction at least one time. The question is, when do you do it? So Juicy, when you're playing mind games, you've been here before, you know your matchup. First, second, third, in this sense, Dr. Puerto Rico, when do you throw it?
Honestly, I feel like you throw it first game, because who expects you to play your best deck first game? Or you wait.
I don't know. Isn't that mind games? Don't you want to play your first deck?
Today, but that's probably
no one's expecting it.
The strategies to go for, or your kind of secret third strategy. You do a tag set. You never play that deck, and maybe you get yourself in decent situations with maybe other decks with your opponent trying to counter the deck that you're best at.
Yeah, no, it's a great shot. And sometimes it's kind of like rock, paper, scissors, right? Like, if you go in with the strategy, you feel really confident in it. Sometimes you just smash down with that rock right onto your opponent. If you go in trying to, like, react or, like, read, you just overthink it and you end up throwing the game away. And it really felt like that's what happened in the last matchup. Like, I think Dr. Puerto Rico should have just thrown their main deck at second.
These mind games are the best part, for real.
They're really good with.
When we saw
Tag, as we go into
Cheesecake
this matchup, I know
counterpick with Bomber, Fire Spirit
Talk
roll
to me about the meta,
delivery,
because Evo
Valkyrie
really has
against
changed the game.
the best
I
roll
know
recruit
you're a
player.
fan of the Evo
Oh my
Knight,
goodness.
So talk to me.
Literally had that in the
Talk to me
storages.
about what you're thinking about this new meta.
Yeah, so the top 3 evolutions in the game.
Oh, it's the
are
same
as
thing with
follows.
traps.
Evolved Knight is the best
in
one.
Clash of Clans.
Second one is
Wow.
Evolved Barbarians, and then
Tag.
third is the Evolved Recruits.
Tag, you're taking the game, so you keep talking about the meta while you watch it unfold in game.
All right, so we see Clown already starting with a Miner. It's looking like it'll probably be Miner Poison. Could potentially be that Executioner
Barbarians to
Bomb Tower
completely
deck.
block
Dr.
that,
Puerto
but
Rico,
now the
however,
Barbarians are
is
cycled
not
to Evo.
running Royale Recruits. We see Barbarians, so he might be going in an alternative method, maybe going for a Lava Hound or a Beatdown deck. Juicy, what are you thinking from this?
I mean, you talk about how good the Evo Barbs are in the meta and Evo Knight, and we're seeing them first game. Looking at the deck overall, probably gotta be a lot.
Are they winning money?
Right, but
There is a $100,000 prize pool that we'll see on the 30th.
Executioner.
Not just that, he's got the Bomb Tower that fully counters the Balloon. He's going to have Tornado, and he's going to have Executioner Ice Spirit, Juicy. And we know he's also got Poison in the deck, too. Dr.
Wow.
Puerto Rico just flew headfirst into a hard counter, but he's got Miner, so there is some maneuverability that he can do to redirect the Executioner.
Yeah, that's a great call out. One of the best plays you can make with a Lava Loon deck that has the Miner in it is play that Miner in the back of the Executioner, making it very difficult for those Executioners to line up. But that's why the Tornadoes in the deck as well. A lot of the time we could see some good Tornadoes to make sure the lineup stays accurate on the Executioner's end there.
So the Poison's coming down on the Evo Barbs and also an Ice Spirit. That's going to cycle a little bit faster, just dropping 2 cards compared to the Evo Barbs that cost 5 Elixir and is only 1. The Miner is going to be tanking for some little bit of pups damage in the right, and it seems like Dr. Puerto Rico is leveling the playing field right now.
Here comes the Balloon, the Bridge. No Execution cycle. He does have the Bomb Tower. He has the NATO as well. Let's see how good his micro is here on this defense. Hopefully he doesn't mess up this Tornado.
Puerto Rico's going against a hard counter.
Juicy, you cursed him, man.
Oh, my bad, bro. My bad. Oh, he gets the cancer activation, though. I mean, that's something.
Yeah, I didn't expect that to happen. It looked like it was going straight back towards the tower.
That was insane.
Miner coming down from Clown. It seems like he's not trying to counter push with the Executioner, and he's just going towards left-hand
Evo
side the entire
Knight
time.
on there.
What do you think about that?
Oh, look at that Bomb Tower placement.
I think it makes sense to go for those Executioners.
He pulled with the Ice Spirit
in the back and early, so you can cycle back to multiple.
into the Bomb Tower, and the Bomb Tower is now tanking for the Executioner.
I mean,
That placement was
once again, that is just not what you
insane.
want to see when you're against the Poison and the Executioner here. You want some solidarity in your deck. Maybe some sort of
moly. Now he's got 2
Mega Man
Executioners in
or
the map.
Phoenix here to deal with those Exes.
Oh, Balloon doesn't
he had to
connect
go
in the
for an Ice
tornado.
Spirit or a tornado there, and he
Executioner's gonna hard counter him. Yeah, he's got the Executioner for the Barbarians.
Looking pretty good
and
though,
the
because now he's starting to get the
Minion horde.
Executioner counter pushing the side that he wanted.
Yikes.
So Dr. Puerto Rico trying to do some split lane pressure, but then he has to allocate arrows to clean up a 1 health.
The one thing I hate about
Executioner.
Minor
That's
Poison
gotta
is that
be
you
painful.
slip once.
For sure.
And then you lose
with those bomb
everything.
tower, just shutting down those evil barbs as well. Execution back once again towards the Lava Hound. And you talk about the dual lane pressure from Puerto Rico, and that's what you have to do. Because a lot of the time, it's going to be slightly difficult for Clown to get multiple Executioners on the board. And since that is the only air targeting card, it makes it kind of difficult, but, you know, Clown's got a pretty good cycle, so he's back to 1 already.
Yeah, what you were talking about earlier.
Balloon doesn't
is cycling
connect on
the
there.
Executioner in the back in the far corner, and then it takes 4 cards to get back to it. So since he's going to have Ice Spirit, Minor, Log, and Tornado,
Oh
like,
my
he's not
goodness.
spending that
Going
much
with Lava
elixir to
Hound
get
and
back to that
ignoring that
Executioner,
Minor.
especially in double or triple. I don't think that the dual lane pressure is going to work as well. So maybe he's going to have to start concentrating on one side.
Puerto Rico's
Possibly
ignoring
see.
that
He's going
Executioner.
directly into an Executioner at night right now. He has a full elixir bar. Maybe he'll go for a minion horde and a
One
Minor.
Balloon connection's going to change everything for real.
Oh, the balloon
Oh
minion
my
horde push
God,
right now,
going
Cycle
minion
Tornado,
horde.
Poison, wiping everything out in the bomb tower.
He's got nothing for the Knight though, Juicy. Look at that Knight.
Yep, Knight on tower, and so is the Minor, and I think that is just about
Oh, the tornado to pull the Barbarians upwards.
Clown with a master class of Minor Poison, having absolutely no openings right there for Dr.
Oh my
Puerto Rico.
goodness.
Dr. Puerto Rico, let's see what he picks next.
Did Clown just...
Let's see. Reminder to everyone back at
Oh
home.
man,
This is duels formatting.
This,
so whatever
this
you
brings me
play
back to
in
the
first
B-Rad
match
days.
cannot
Minor
be
Poison,
repeated.
back
You
in
also
my
have
day.
Selected decks as well, so that can shift things up as well here with the deck picking. You see
I
the
hate
main
when
deck.
wall breakers connect.
It's here.
Oh, is this the main deck?
This
Talk
is
to me
his
about
main
it.
deck. It's Rail Recruits, Skeleton Barrel, Wallbreaker's Dark Goblin with Mighty Minor. And he's going to have Skeleton Barrel
Does
and
Tag know
Wallbreakers as
this?
the 2 win conditions. He's going to be spamming all the time. Now we get to see him in his true element.
Okay.
Dr.
Talk
Puerto
to me
Rico going
about
with his
the
main
Puerto
deck, and
Rico
it doesn't
deck.
look like
But now talk
Clown
to me about
truly has
Clown's deck
the
and how this might be
hard
a
counter
great
for this.
matchup for him.
Clown is
Wall
gonna
breakers
probably
are
be
everywhere.
running a mortar
Yeah, that's the
cycle
nature
deck,
of the
it looks
duels.
like, right?
There's 4
He'll
decks
either
you
have a
make.
Musketeer or
You
an
can't
Archer
reuse the
Queen in
decks.
there. Or even a Vol Firecracker. Well, okay. that is what he ran.
Yeah, and then that Valkyrie though in that roll delivery, I feel like is gonna be so good
Oh,
on defense.
Those are
And
good
Puerto Rico
roll
not having a
recruits to
building
save
in
the
this
Dark
deck
Goblin.
allows for those Hog Riders to kind of get easy connections, but it seems like he's a little bit
Roll
low on
recruit on
elixir,
the
but
left
he does have
connect.
that Valk delivery on cycle.
Yeah, and also I got to talk about the perfect placement of Clown. A lot of casual players will drop their Firecracker in the
Clairvoyant,
middle.
he really
to counter
is.
the Wall breakers, but dropping
sees
it directly
10
down
steps into the
in
future.
the center will end up
Yeah.
having the Firecracker not miss a single one. So that was super smart. Wait, he's gonna have Rail Delivery and arrows. Juicy, I don't
No
know if he's
way.
gonna have Earthquake.
Tag hunts for unique decks.
What is-
Yeah, that makes sense.
this is-
That makes sense why he's so knowledgeable.
This is another massive snipe from Clown. This is what a vetted CRO player does. He realized he doesn't need EQ because Puerto Rico doesn't have a building. Instead, he brings the arrows and the roll delivery for massive defense and offensive potential versus all this spam. What a pick from Clown.
And we got to appreciate him splitting the goblins early, too, to be able to counter the wall breakers. Like, he had thought everything through.
Yeah.
But here's the recruits. They're going to start charging.
Yes, they are. Let's see what he's got for the defense. He gets the Valkyrie down. Dark Gob to snipe.
Valkyrie on
Becomes the
both.
skeleton
I don't
barrel
know.
inbound.
The
Some
recruits are so
going to
strong,
the right.
man.
Wrong with the wall breakers. Roll
Oh,
delivery drops
dude, the
down.
wall breakers.
Wall breakers not going to get the double connection. Arrows,
Good arrows.
everything.
But skeleton barrel on the left connects.
And so does the Evo recruits. What a push.
And you got to appreciate the fact that Dr. Puerto Rico is conserving elixir. He was at 10 elixir when that Hog Rider came down. He's not over spamming. This is what happens when you're a
Firecracker
one-trick
Evo
player.
is so
you
much
know
damage.
just how much you can get away with. So he's spamming to the extent that he can get damage, and then he stops, he conserves enough to be able to defend, and then he does it all over again. He's not even trying to get damage with these recruits. He's caring about the next recruits, the evolved ones. That's where he packs his punch.
You know, Goj talked about the rock, paper, scissors element of Clash Royale, but sometimes if you're good enough at a deck, you're able to beat...
Oh, yeah, no,
you're able
roll
to
recruits
throw
are
rock
solid.
And beat paper anyways, because you're just that good.
That's what we're looking at now. And the Firecracker got eaten alive by goblins and skeletons. You don't see that every day, especially in the face of a Valkyrie protecting it.
Dark Goblin
Recruits
takes
will
out
come down
one.
any second to keep the Dark Goblin alive.
And then onto the
now,
Valkyrie, and
I
now
think
he's
Clown's
counter
in
pushing.
some
And that
serious
Valkyrie
trouble.
Inferno Tower almost getting
Got
no
the
value
shield
here.
off of that one
Delivery
roll
does
recruit.
drop.
That's
Fighter
trouble.
drops. Evil recruits.
The thing is, the
bridge.
recruits
Here comes
have
the
a
wall
shield,
breakers,
and that
the
resets
skeleton
Inferno
each
Tower.
side. Is this going to be a match?
There's no
Oh,
way.
both
He has to
sides.
arrow
Here's
the
wall
left
breakers,
side,
and there's the
right
skeletons.
side. Recruits on the left.
Juicy,
Oh
the
my
arrows
goodness.
Came down, but they still didn't stop the wall breakers. The Inferno Tower is not going to be that good. And Dr. Puerto Rico does have a spell. He's got Fireball. So all he needs to do is cling on and stop the Evolved Firecracker from locking on the tower. And he's able to Fireball
one more card and he
back
can Fireball.
win the game. Can he
There we
hold
go.
on, though?
I love that Mighty Miner at the bridge, blocking that
Boom.
evil firecracker. It was the only way to come back. The second fireball comes down of the game, and it finishes it off.
The
And now we're 1-1 in the back to three.
$100,000
We're
wall
going to game
breaker.
three,
I want to
ladies
see
and
that.
gentlemen.
That's
This
not
is
today,
a
though. That's on the
beautiful
30th.
match of Clash Royale. I'm so excited. I can't barely even fathom what I'm looking at right now.
That was some of the best gameplay we've seen all day. From Dr. Puerto Rico, he played that matchup masterfully.
That was
against
a beautiful
someone that
gameplay.
Presumably had a pretty
100%
good matchup,
agree with
right?
Tag there.
So
Yeah.
I'm happy. He might have some confidence going into this match. And maybe even if he's not playing his best deck in the world, after that win, the momentum is surely in his favor.
Absolutely. And maybe the matchup and momentum could be as well. He's got the Evil Knight. He's got the Poison going against Clown with the Dark Prince and Evil Barbs. Maybe some sort of Goblin Giant beatdown deck.
You can tell that was his main deck with how smooth
the
everything
Dark
flowed.
Prince there
100%.
is going to be interesting because, oh, wait, could it be Sparky Juicy?
It's either Sparky or it's just the Goblin Giant Rage spam deck we've seen. Here comes the Rage. Goblin Giant on tower. Lumberjack trying its best. Puerto Rico
Minion
solo elixir.
connects?
His tower's dropping already. Tag.
Oh
Wow,
my
Clown
goodness.
Bouncing straight back from that loss in game 2.
And you have to admire the confidence to play
There's
a beatdown
no
deck
way
in your
he just
Clown.
got through
You're
with
not
that.
doing something that you are extremely
He hasn't even
comfortable with
busted
from a
out a
control
Sparky
aspect.
yet.
You're kind of putting the ball in your opponent's court and saying, can you defend this? Let's see. And he just went in there.
Arnar.
With a minute in, he's already taken a tower.
I mean, I don't even know. I guess it was just
What is
play
Puerto
to be
Rico's
aggressive
eighth
like that,
card right now?
with the Poison being out of cycle. But I mean, that's just a fascinating idea, just a macro idea there. I mean, you talk about the comfortability of playing a cycle deck, but with a beatdown deck, he just threw all his marbles at the bridge, and they ended up rolling in and taking that tower like it was nothing.
So talk to me about this. He's obviously got Ram Rider. What's the key to come back? I think it has to be dropping a Lumberjack, spamming a Heal Spirit, and praying.
Ram Rider for there. Ram Rider's gonna have to deal a lot
into the mini P.E.K.K.A.
into the mini
You know,
P.E.K.K.A. though.
You talk about that big push, and that's what he's able to do here to get that one Ram Rider connection. It looked like scary, but
Can do that too.
Clown's got that fireball for the defense. Not only is fireball so good for those big
can't do that.
pushes, but it's so good
I
for
lied.
stopping the magic archers as well.
We see the Evolved Knight cycle to the left-hand side. Maybe he's going to try to
Rage
do some
spell
split
changed the
pressure.
landscape
He also has
of this
to deal
game.
with the minions.
Yeah.
He can't just let those go.
First
He's got to go
push
for
with
Magic Archer to
the-
beat him up.
with that.
Forcing out the Barbarians on the other side
Insane.
means that, well, Clown now has his mini P.E.K.K.A. as his
Not only is his
reliable
right
answer
tower
to the Ram Rider.
Down
Here comes the Lumberjack, the Heal Spirit, the Bar Builder trying to slide that Ewis, but the Goblin Giant pushes the Bar
Into
enough
Ewis.
so the Ewis is going to survive. He's able to defend. Here comes the Ram Rider. Ewis still alive though. Any P.E.K.K.A. dropping on defense. Does he have a Fireball?
Gotta push that away. Fireball comes down on the Magic Archer. The Knight is approaching the tower. The Barbarian is going to get swiftly dealt with by minions. And with 16 seconds remaining, the ball is definitely in Clown's court to screw this one up.
Yeah, I think that Clown's got this unlocked. 5 seconds, going to tick off the timer here. Puerto Rico has given up once again. And Clown with a 2-1. A very nice match of Clash Royale. GG's all around.
You gotta say, the Clown won the circus today. He ended up weathering the storm in the second game where, you know, he got destroyed by someone that played perfectly, and he came back.
Dang.
Seriously, being able
But
to
he did-
dominate in the last match.
Puerto Rico played his main deck really cleanly. That was nice.
Impressive and such a fun match to watch. Again, we are being
Clown
treated
wins the
to
circus
some
today.
incredible Clash Royale sets, by the way. So much fun across the board. The beatdown deck, Juicy Jay, at the end. I mean, I think that first tower went down in game 3 in like 50 seconds or 51 seconds. Incredibly quick beatdown.
I mean, the Dark Prince on the defense, the Poison was out of cycle. He said, you know, why not throw Goblin Giant Minions Rage in the bridge? And, you know, Bridge Spam, that deck that Puerto Rico was using, it's great for offense. It's not so great for defense. You don't have a building to distract that Goblin Giant, and that tower dropped so fast.
Well, Tag, I was talking about the rock, paper, scissors. I gotta say, game 2 in particular, Juicy J, I love the comment you said. I think you said sometimes rock beats paper. That's exactly what we saw, right? And Tag, I know you were excited about that deck. I guess it lived up to the expectations, yeah?
It lived up to the expectations every time. He was able to protect the Dark Goblin with the recruits, salvaging every important card that he could. Every time he went on offense, it was calculated. He never overcommitted. He still had enough elixir to have that Mighty Miner to finish off the Hog Rider. He retained the card cycle he wanted, and it was just incredibly impressive to see that all work out.
That was
quick
clean.
succession with no misplays. It gave him some confidence in the next game, but it was definitely a bit short-lived after that Goblin Giant steamrolled.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Juicy, walk me through a couple of these replays.
Can't believe that Goblin Giant got that early connection so early.
Well, rock beat scissors, or rock beat paper this time around.
Yeah, NATO not coming, or sorry,
I
Arrow's not
agree
coming
with
down
you.
in time. The Skeleton Barrel was honestly the MVP.
Puerto Rico was
and
ruthless
the
with
last
his
play at the end here, just
cycle
predicting
deck.
that Firecracker, not allowing
So
any sort of
clean.
comeback. Looking at the game 3 replay here, we saw
Look,
that
this
aggressive
rage
top down the bridge though, and Clown
took
you
out
know,
the
not letting
Inferno Dragon
nerves,
before
not letting
anything
that
else
boss get
could?
to him, and he just goes
Holy
in and takes
moly.
his tower within literally the first 50 seconds.
Yeah, a really fun win, and then staved off any advances. And yet again, Dr. Puerto Rico, I think, accepted his fate at the very end here. But let's take a quick look at the stats to see the comparison and damage, of course, on the side of Clown after that victory, especially with that beatdown. That was a lot of fun to watch at the very end. Clown, just perfect prediction, but. Folks, what a fun day of Clash Royale. Let's take a look at the bracket. We're going to head straight into the bracket.
We still have
and
3 more
see where
slots
everybody's
for
at,
the
because, Juicy
people.
J, Tag,
8
we
total
have found
slots,
our
12
fifth
creators.
qualifiee, if you will. The fifth player to make it to the grand finals to compete against, you two.
You know what I
and
hope?
OJ,
I hope
of course,
that
and Shane. We've got
that Kairos
3
and Ben
more
do
to
not get
reward,
Ian
or rather 3 more
or
that can
Droy.
be earned. Sugar Frenzy Luminary up next. Now, I know we might be giving away one of you to your watch parties, and I know your chat's excited about that. So, Juicy J, before I send you away, talk to me about this Sugar Frenzy Luminary matchup and maybe who you think could win.
You know, I definitely think Luminary's gonna win, but who I'm rooting for is Sugar Frenzy. I do not want to be playing against Luminary next Saturday at 3 p.m. Central Time. Make sure you guys are.
He doesn't want to play against Luminary? Why?
But yeah, I mean, Luminary, like Tag said, one of the best mortar spam players in the world. Every time I play him on ladder, I get demolished. Like, this man is just the goat of
he gets
mortar.
wrecked by him.
I love it. I love when you guys root for the
I'll be
underdogs
casting
so that you
the-
don't have to play against
rest
the
for tonight, I
players
think.
that maybe are on paper the favorite to win. So exciting. Well, before we head to a short break, I've got to tell you again about the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5. We've talked about the 7.6-inch interior screen. It's a large screen, and it enhances your gaming experience. And the Supercell games you're watching now, including here with Clash Royale, are optimized with the screen size to make competing and leisurely playing even that much better. Go check out the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5 with the command !Galaxy Z Fold 5, and you can also just head down to the link in the description below. OJ already joining us to show off the device, so you know you want to get your hands on it. Folks, what a fun day of Clash
why'd they put
Royale.
him on
An
camera?
incredible device to talk about all powering all of this competition.
Wasn't
So
ready
if you're
for that.
enjoying it, go check it out. And if you're enjoying the broadcast, make sure you give
I did duck lips on there.
subscribe
I wasn't
to the
expecting to be
Samsung
on camera.
Channels here down below. Follow,
I
like,
literally
all
got
of those good
sniped.
things. We're live on a modicum of different channels, and there's a ton of different channels and social medias to go follow. You can see all of those down below here with Samsung. Stay connected with Samsung. They always have some incredible new products they're offering and some amazing events that they're a
Yeah, no,
part of.
Samsung's the sponsor of
Let's
this entire
take a look
stream
at the
and this
up
entire
next
tournament.
graphic,
This wouldn't be
because guess
possible.
what?
Production
We've
would
got
not be
Sugar
possible if
Frenzy.
not
We've
for
got
this awesome
Luminary up
sponsorship,
next. You're not
including the
gonna wanna miss this
$100,000 prize
matchup.
pool.
Will it be the underdog or will it be the on-paper favorite? Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this very short break.
Tea break.
I are here right now to announce something very exciting. Drum roll, please. Galaxy Battle Superverse Program, where the entire Supercell community will come together. First of its kind cross-game event where Supercell universes will collide as creators and players will compete in Brawl Stars, Clash of Clans, and Clash Royale to find out who the best gamer in the Superverse is. The Grand Finals will have a $100,000 prize pool. It would be $100,000 prize pool! Whoa. The finals are going to be on September 30th, and Courage and I are going to be casting. Courage will be casting. I'll be there. I will attempt to cast.
You will be casting too.
I'll be casting, yes.
Please don't go. Please don't go. Please don't go. Don't go. Don't go away.
There's no Galaxy emotes today. That'll be another time. There's still 3 slots for the finalists. Someone had the emotes? No, it's not released yet. Evolved Mortar hasn't been nerfed. It's one of the balanced evolutions that came out.
Folks, a day to be remembered, but job's not done yet. 3 more spots can be booked to the Grand Finals on September 30th. I've been your host all day today. My name is Goj, and this is the $100,000 Galaxy Battle Superverse, brought to you by Samsung Galaxy and Supercell, all powered by the Galaxy Z Fold 5. This Clash Royale Qualifier Finals has been a blast. Let's bring in our casters for the final 3 matchups. We've got OJ back in the booth with us, and of course, Tag hanging out to finish things off. OJ, I know you had a blast on your watch party, my friend. What do you think of the last couple matches?
The one that really stood out to me was when he got counterpicked with Bomber, Fire Spirit, Valkyrie. That was just ridiculous. To just get so absolutely hard countered by the deck that you're good at. Oh, that was
true.
That was my favorite match all day.
True pro behavior, right? Like just perfect counter pick with such a difficult deck to build. Tag, I'll even hand this to you as well. What has been your favorite matchup of the day that you've seen?
The one that was between Air Surfer and Darien, that was by far the best match of the day. The fact that Darien is like one of my best friends. I was rooting for him the entire time. But Air Surfer, he played perfectly, constantly applying pressure the entire time to the point that Darien was forced on the defensive end. Darien had to drop multiple bomb towers. Meanwhile, he was getting minor poisoned out, and they were both around 1,000 health. Darien had matchup, and then it barely went in Air Surfer's favor. I was mystified by the fact that he was able to make that happen, and I thought for sure that Darien had the game on lock. So that was the one that I just had immense respect for Air Surf, and I truly believe he's the best player in the United States after that match. I don't think there's a doubt in my mind after that.
Great call out, and I couldn't agree more. I thought Air Surfer played fantastic, and Darien certainly put up a great fight, but Air Surfer came out on top and has qualified, of course. But lower brick, we've got 3 more matches, gentlemen. Here's my question. This is maybe an open-ended one, OJ. Is there something we haven't seen that you want to see? Maybe a favorite of yours, a piece of the meta that is unexplored here on main broadcast?
We've seen every single evolution played from Royal Giant, Royal Recruits, Mortar, but we haven't seen an Evo Skeleton yet.
Yeah.
I want to see someone get cheesed so hard that the Skeleton trickles onto the Princess Tower, into the King Tower for a 3-crown victory, just in one solid push.
Well, the game is ready. Maybe we'll see it in this one. Tag, OJ, take it away.
Luminari is already going in for an Ice Spirit, so we don't think it's going to be a Mortar deck. It's probably going to be that minor
it's
poison
not an evolution
deck.
skeleton.
Yeah, it's unfortunate we don't get to see that immediately. But what direction do you think we're going to go with this Archer Queen deck? It's got to be...
That's just massive cycle. It could be anything at this point.
Probably Evo Knight, right? It could also be Evo Barbs, though. It's going to be one of those. That's typically what we see. Is it gonna be minor poison, or is it gonna be wall breakers? I think that's the deviation that we're looking for.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, OJ, have you? What do you think about the recruits when they start charging? Are they super scary for you?
They're just so intimidating, and the thing about them, if you're a casual player, you get one connection and it's completely over. And the difference with this this competitive scene is that you never see an accidental connection. So it's just really nice to see all these crazy plays right now. Oh, you were right. There's a Barbarian on Luminary's side.
Yeah, he's deciding to go for that just because it's a little bit better if you're playing against a Goblin Giant or a Golem. It just keeps you safe. So he also allows himself to start using the Evolved Knight in other type of situations with other control decks. Because it is one of the strongest ones.
Right at the bridge. That's a spicy one.
Yeah. Do you think that they're going to protect? Oh, wow. Sugar Frenzy is really committed to that.
They're both going in aggressively.
They just keep raising the stakes and refusing to lose the bridge battle. And it seems that Luminari, without using the Archer Queen ability, now has some significant counter push.
Oh, but that's going to take out the shield for that roll delivery there, and it's going to have a charge.
Yeah, it's also interesting. So Sugar Frenzy's main deck is Royal Hogs, Royal Recruits. He's taken a piece of his main deck and deviated it to be a bit different. I wonder if he's going to use his Royal Hogs in a future game, but the wall breakers are his choicest win condition right now. Skeleton King
has a really clean wall breaker defense on there too, and then now he has to deal with the Archer Queen.
Yeah, talking about that, it makes him rush his Royal Recruits right into a bomb tower. Typically, you'd want to drop that a little bit further back so you can build up bigger pushes, but having to drop that directly into bomb tower, that has to hurt the mental.
There's just so much going on in the middle right now with the Skeleton King, and now he has Barbarian Evolution for the next cycle.
You gotta appreciate the consistency of dropping the Mother Witch into trades where he wants to go and convert skeletons or barbarians that are counter pushing. He's constantly got that Mother Witch value, but 2 wall breakers connect on the right. That's massive, OJ.
Oh my goodness, that's 800 damage on the right side, and now he has Royal Recruits Evolution, but I think Luminary's on the Evil Barbs rotation as well now.
Yeah, and one other thing is we're seeing him constantly be committed to kill that bomb tower, whether it's minoring on it, poisoning on it early, or dropping skeleton dragons in the middle. So if he eliminates the bomb tower, Luminari doesn't have a great defense. Luminari's sitting there like, okay, I guess I gotta go Archer Queen or drop Evo Barbs, but Evo Barbs are kind of just dying to Mother Witches and then skeleton dragons after.
Royal recruits there taking out the Archer Queen, so that giant skeleton stays alive. We're going to see a bit of a counter push now. Think he's going to make it through the bomb tower?
Yeah, the bomb tower is definitely dead to the wall breakers. And if that was an evolved Royal recruit on the right, that would be charging. But luckily for Luminari, he can more so ignore it. Beautiful log, cleaning up the recruit and also the Goblin Gang for a juicy positive elixir trade.
Now he's got the evolved Royal recruits. Going to come out with another bomb tower. Miner on the Princess Tower instead of the bomb tower this time.
Ooh, he missed the poison on the bomb tower. I think he was trying to hit an Archer Queen or something, but
yeah, or skeletons or just something inside that proximity of that miner just to maximize the damage.
Missing that bomb tower though might have hurt his chances of getting more damage. So the Skeleton King's coming down with the recruits. 2 recruits getting portioned off on the left, and you see the majority of them still going towards the tower that he's trying to take. Always going for the poisons, predicting the Evo Barbs, and catching them.
Well, that's a really value poison right there, getting the Barbarians and everything else. He's just going aggressive on the right side right now with the Skeleton Dragons, the Miner. The Barbarians, they didn't stop the Miner's chip damage. I think this might be it.
Yeah, talking about Skeleton Dragons damage, they have been relentlessly spammed at the river. Seriously, if you don't have Archer Queen in cycle, how are you supposed to deal with them if you're Luminari?
Oh, that was a clean one.
That was an interesting game too, because if we think about it now, if you're Luminari and you've used your best deck and you now have to play, if you're Sugar Frenzy and you've used your best deck, now you have to find another win against one of the best players in the world when they haven't used theirs. Luminari still has the mortar, so we'll see when that comes out. Sugar Frenzy has already used his top pick. So Tombstone coming out, Sparky already. So Luminari is either showcasing a Graveyard deck or a Lava Hound deck or Royal Giant. And Sparky, well, it's...
there's no way there's no Goblin Giant in here.
Yeah. Oh, do you see that Fisherman? Is that going to reset it, OJ?
Oh my goodness, the Zappies into a Sparky deck. I don't know how I feel about this for Sugar Frenzy.
That's also an incredible interaction. Usually you would think that the Zappies might not fire or reset if you're more of a casual, but Luminari's unlocking these pro-level plays of like, hey, I can make sure the Sparky is stunned for a short bit of time, just enough for my Zappies to stun it again. So stealing the Sparky and stunning it, that was probably one of the best plays I've seen in a while. I would have never thought of that.
That was really precise play there. Just so much, just a testament to how good these players truly are and the micro and the macro level strategies of everything. Like having to count card rotations, elixir, and now we have to consider evolution rotations.
And right on the money, just like you said, the Goblin Giant is plopped down. So the cool thing about Sugar Frenzy's deck is instead of just relying on the Goblin Giant, as you said, now he's got the Evolved Knight and the Goblin Giant for 2 tanks. So, ooh, the Zappies did not get the reset.
Go down. That is devastating. Sparky takes out the Barbarian and the Skeleton King.
And he's getting closer to the Knight Evolution too. He's not even reached this final form of damage. The next push that he's going to make is going to be huge. Fisherman's going to be out of cycle for it too.
It's looking pretty even right now.
It is pretty cool for Luminari to have that Tombstone because it's allowing him to delay these pushes and still afford enough elixir to defend. At the same time, those Tombstone skeletons, each time the Sparky shoots it, the Sparky is getting knocked back a little bit, giving Sugar Frenzy the ability to build up more stuff too. So eventually, they're going to be in the middle with the biggest pushes that we've seen all game.
These are just massive pushes right now. Sparky's still at full health, but he's got Tombstone back on, so that's going to take care of the Sparky for a little while. Well, the Goblin Giant goes in solo, but
it's a constant
I don't know how I
stream.
feel about that Sparky right now.
Yeah, it seems like there's a constant stream of piggies and skeletons distracting the Sparky. Sparky's working overtime, but not accomplishing anything. Electro Wizard comes down to reset the Zappies and also...
that might be it. Electro Wizard onto all of that.
Yeah, the Electro Wizard seemed like it was just to fulfill the Sparky, just to make sure the Sparky could finish it off. He's now getting desperate and rushing to the right-hand side. Do you think anything will come of this, OJ?
With the Zap clearing everything, the Sparky is slowly cleaning up. But Luminari looks like he's in a massive lead right now. He's just in full control the entire time.
Yeah, it seems like he doesn't want to give up momentum. When he's ahead, he's getting the saying of, let's get further and
Royal
further ahead.
Giant? I mean, yeah, but like 3-4 minutes into the game, Sparky's way too far back. That Royal Giant's going to finish it off. That's a clean victory.
You gotta say, when you're playing for $100,000 on the line and your life is on the line if you lose, you're not gonna go for your win condition unless you can guarantee it's gonna take the tower. Because if you mess up once and you spam that RG into a mini P.E.K.K.A. or an Evolved Knight and a Sparky, and then they have that 6 elixir investment to counter push off of, you might be GG. It might be over for you. So Luminari did not decide to take any chances there. Just like Sugar Frenzy, going in for arrows on a Fire Spirit for a -3 trade to preserve his tower. Or -2 trade to preserve his tower.
Do you think that Sugar Frenzy has a cycle deck if he's so protective of that Fire Spirit right now?
After seeing the arrows and the Evo Barbs, I don't think he will. Just knowing his play style, seeing Recruits, and then seeing Sparky, I don't think he's that type of player. I bet it's going to be a Lava Hound deck or something of the like.
Oh, and the Wall Breakers. You needed the Fireball for that. That's just devastating amount of damage they ever connect.
It could end up being the Evo Barb's Royal Hogs deck, much like, you know, Recruits used to be in this deck, and then Recruits got their own evolution. I think that's the route he's going to take, actually. It's going to be Royal Hogs. Switching it up. And Goblin Drill from Luminari. We'll see if there's going to be another another building in Luminari's deck to be able to defend the Piggies.
Spear Goblin's got a fair amount of damage there. They're both going in aggressively. Tesla to defend the Piglets.
Yeah, smart play for Luminari to be able to have that building. He needs to have adequate defenses because Sugar Frenzy has really shown his play style of running aggressive decks. Zappy's going down on the left-hand side, all in congregation together, a little line leader stuff. But the Evolved Knight is really what we have to take a look at.
Oh, against Evil Barbarians, they're charging up into the right lane. Got Executioner to take care of that, though.
Yeah, so the thing that we're going to have to see is Sugar Frenzy able to use his Fireball to disorient the Executioner, or is he going to try to go opposite lane of it? Because going the same side and not being able to kill it, that is a death sentence for all of his bait cards.
Drill on the right side. Bomb on the left side. That's devastating damage. Luminari looks like he's got a massive lead right now. Knight to defend the Flying Machine and rotate into an Evolution Knight for the next cycle.
The scary thing that I'm looking at for Sugar Frenzy, knowing his deck, he's going to have defensive options that are 4 elixir with the Goblin Cage, 5 elixir with the Evolved Barbarians. He's having to drop all these high-cost cards to go and maneuver and somehow counter Wall Breakers that are split up, and then also Goblin Drills. So you're in a position where your cards aren't as efficient and they can be maneuvered around. So it's an uphill battle for Sugar Frenzy. He's got to find one good opportunity. He can either get through with the Fly Machine, the Rail Hogs, or the Evo Barbs. Those are his 3 win conditions, and he has to make something happen. I bet you he's going to have to eat damage to even try to, though.
Although those are really value arrows on there, but that's a lot of damage on the tower on the bottom left there. Piglets, I don't think they're really going to deal that much damage. Like you said, with the Fireball, it's going to offset the Executioner, but it's not quite enough. Fly Machine does connect, but Luminari has way more tower lead on the bottom left.
Yeah, the Goblin Cage
Did he
is brilliant.
just predict the Wall Breakers?
He did. Brilliant stuff. Like, this guy
Wow.
is thinking multiple steps ahead. He's playing for his life on the line. He doesn't want to go down easy. You got to respect the grind from him. He's really hustling for that type of outplay potential.
This is
Fireball
again on the Executioner. That Flying Machine. Piglet's not split this time. They're all going to go towards a Tesla.
running away from responsibility in the right-hand side. He's trying to switch it up and go in the left. As I said before, he really doesn't want arrows on wall breakers or goblin from the Goblin the Goblin Drill. He doesn't want to take those trades because if you're going for those arrows, then you're really forfeiting any counter push too. So he's trying to defend with units. So it's getting sketchy for him because he's just at a very limited amount of elixir each time. The Executioner is going to be able to give a formidable counter push, and he's digging himself into a deeper hole. but the Executioner is running away from the flying machine.
Oh, that forced him to use Spear Goblins on there. But that's not bad because now he has to deal with the drill and everything else.
Heal Spirit's coming down, but it can't heal the tower, OJ. It's at 23 HP, and all he has to do is NATO.
Right there.
Oh, brutal.
Looks like we got Luminary moving on to the finals for the Superverse.
And you gotta respect Luminary not even using his mortar once. The fact that he was able to manufacture a 2-win comeback after being down, so impressive.
What a fun way to re-emphasize your point you made, Sir Tag, right? Like, you don't have to use your main deck to win, and sometimes even just the threat of the main deck will make your opponents choose something different when they're trying to counter you. So, fun to watch and fun to look back on. OJ, walk me through some of these replays. Game 1, pretty strong miners both sides, but miner poison for Sugar Frenzy. It was just the relentless Skelly Drags at the end that closed it out.
That was a really clean push on this replay here. The Royal Recruits were just connecting the wall breakers here. That was a really big deal. Just all that damage, that poison, everything going on. That was the major damage dealer for this game.
Yeah, there's that Skelly Drag at the end, and then Tag, take me through the rest of these. You know, our game 2 was a fun one to watch, made things pretty interesting, but we saw this Royal Giant at the very end to win it here for Sugar Frenzy. What a way to push it to game 3.
You guys got to see top-tier professional gameplay when everything's on the line. Luminary took no chances. In that Royal Giant match, he decided, hey, I'm going to play as safe as possible. And then in the second match, he decided to play even safer with an Executioner Tornado and a Tesla for stellar defense the entire way through. The best thing that we got to say about Luminary is how he masterfully maneuvered around with cheap cards that Sugar Frenzy just couldn't keep up with. When you've got high-cost cards and you're expected to defend against wall breakers, goblin drills, and the opponent even spamming spear goblins, you're going to take negative trades, or you're gradually going to get enough paper cuts that you're just not going to be able to recover. And that's what happened. Despite Luminary just playing not as well the first game as Sugar Frenzy, he came back and he had the mental resilience to play perfectly in the last 2 matches.
Yeah, great breakdown. I love that. Let's take a look back at the decks, and it was Luminary, like you said, that won that game 2 and then 3 to win it all. But OJ, walk me through our first deck picks here.
I think Tag would be more equipped for this one. Mine is still fixated on the Royal Giant play on the second one.
Okay, sounds good. Tag, quick walkthrough of our game 1 decks. OJ's got the second.
So Luminary chose Bomb Tower because he knew that was going to be safe against Sugar Frenzy's recruits. It still wasn't enough. When Luminary ended up trying to defend with the recruits, he ended up having situations where he had only an Archer Queen to counter the Skeleton Dragons. Unfortunately, Archer Queen costs 5 elixir, and sometimes it's not going to be in cycle because you can only get one of them on the map at the time. So Sugar Frenzy manipulated the card cycle, found opportunities to go for Skeleton Dragons after diminishing Luminary's bank of reserve of his elixir. So then, hey, you're dropping a Bomb Tower in defense, now you have 0 elixir, and guess what? There's Skeleton Dragons on your doorstep. Skeleton Dragons lock onto the tower, the Minor Poison clutches up the game, and it was really smart gameplay from Sugar Frenzy.
I love that. Let's take a look at game 2. And OJ, the Royal Giant at like, what, 4 minutes or a little after 4 minutes into the game. Walk me through it.
It was really solid. Sugar Frenzy had everything to address the Royal Giant. He had the Sparky, he had the Mini P.E.K.K.A, and just so much going on. And Luminary didn't use the Royal Giant, despite it being an evolution card. He held it for 4 minutes as his 8th card that he didn't release even once. Just being really patient with Tombstone, holding that Sparky back, just not letting it connect at all, just being completely patient, getting some trickle damage. He just needed to defend it at one point, but once he saw an opening with the Sparky in the very back, that's when he knew Royal Giant, Bridge, that's going to finish off the tower.
Yeah, I love that. And Tag, to finish it off here, game 3, I mean, it really did feel like Sugar Frenzy was just running into an elixir problem.
He was running into an elixir problem because the defense of Tornado to activate King Tower against the pigs, the Tesla that can snipe the fly machine if it's needed to, also the Executioner for absurd splash damage from a distance, be able to crush the pigs, the Zappies, and also the Evo Barbs. There just wasn't enough efficiency in Sugar Frenzy's deck when you're playing against someone like Luminary that isn't going to give you openings. So if Luminary messed up and he dropped like too much spam directly into Evo Barbs at the river at a mistake, then, you know, it could have been possible for him to win, but it's just, there was no opening.
Yeah, I mean, there's so, small room for error in competition like this, right? Like, these are some of the top players all over the U.S. I mean, some of the best players, period, right? Very, very strong players, and they're showcasing that on main stage, not only with their counter picks and everything like that, but just the micro of being able to play those small moments perfectly to close out victories. Very fun one to watch. Yet again, seeing some of the best Clash Royale has to offer. I love it, but it's time to look at the bracket. The lower bracket is here, and Luminary has booked their ticket to the Grand Finals a week away, 3 p.m. Central Time, September 30th. You're not going to want to miss it. 6 out of 8 players has closed it out. We have 2 more matchups, gentlemen. And OJ, Darian, back on main stage against Future this time. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
I think it's going to be an interesting matchup. Darian might be able to carry this. Tag did say that he wants him to pull through for this, so I'm going to go with Darian.
Okay, I like it. Tag, you're gonna continue to push for Darian going into this one, considering y'all are friends?
Yeah, and I have some inside info. Darian is actually getting coached right now by Alan. So we saw Alan play earlier. It seems like there's camaraderie between the players. It's nice.
That's so interesting. So the coach is still involved. I like that. I was cheering for our coach the whole time, and they can live vicariously through their player. Coach is honestly extremely important for a game like Clash Royale, right? For those picks. So that'll be fun to watch to see if maybe that coach buff can come through and Darian grabs the victory. But I'm surprised you're neither of you are rooting for the underdog here, because do you want to go against Darian, OJ? Is that kind of the idea? You're like,
it's fine. But I love that prospect, how Alan is still a winner. He's living vicariously through everyone else.
Look, Alan never goes down. But hey, Tag, take it away. Game is ready. Alan, whoever, it doesn't matter. Game is ready to go. Let's see this matchup and see if potentially Darian and Coach Alan can take this one.
You gotta be excited if you're Darian after almost beating the best player in the United States, Air Surfer. So we'll see how this happens for Darian. Future, I actually haven't seen much from him.
What do you think Darian is playing right now? Without any cards played, can you predict it?
I bet you it's going to be a cycle deck. I think it will likely be something with either... Oh, no. I'm very wrong. That's a rage. That means it's either going to be like a giant deck or a Sparky deck. We'll see Sparky from him. In future, showing Goblin Cage, potentially Royal Giant or Royal Recruits or something of the like. Oh, wow. Really? Lava
immediately right off the bat.
No way.
Oh, it's a Sparky deck.
Yeah, it is. Or it's going to be the Evil Barbs deck, but this is pretty interesting for Darian because he is doing a really rambunctious trade. He has to defend against the Skeleton Dragon and the Inferno Dragon. It is going to get procrastinated for a while because he's able to delay it, but how's he going to stop this?
Knight to defend one Skeleton Dragon and one Inferno Dragon. This is not looking too good for Darian.
I assume Darian has another small spell to clean up the lava pups, but the balloon is going to be the huge problem.
Oh my goodness! Balloon on the other lane, and then there's an Inferno Dragon connected to his tower. I think it's going to take out the right tower.
But the good thing is, OJ, that the tower on the right is 200 HP. It's in shambles. So if Darian is somehow able to take the tower on the left, he's in it's essentially a 1-1 or even situation. But I don't know if that's even a possibility. You might have to be going towards the 3 crown here.
There's the Sparky we were waiting for.
Yeah, but right into a Goblin Cage, Inferno Dragon, Zap,
probably Barbarians as well.
Yes, yeah, it's scary because you got the Zap to reset the Sparky, you got the double air cards, and we don't want to repeat the same movie that we just saw.
Right as the Sparky crosses the bridge, we're probably going to see some Barbarians surround right there.
Yeah. And he's got to blast down that Lob Hound fast enough so then he can get arrows and get some pigs to tank for the Inferno Dragon. But the Barbarians are looking like they're going to lock right on the Mother Wish soon. Goes in for a Goblin Giant just to tank. The Mini P.E.K.K.A does snag the tower on the right. But OJ, this balloon is going to be a problem.
With the death damage of that, it's going to bring it down really low. Oh my goodness, the Knight wasn't placed early enough, so the Inferno Dragon finished it off.
It's all good. It's evolved. It's just going to run away. The Inferno Dragon's just tackling it. No big deal.
20 seconds left. I don't think Sparky even has enough DPS to finish off the tower, even if it connected.
Yeah, this is looking really rough, but you can see that Darian has a heart of a warrior. This guy is not giving up. He's going to try until the last second. He will not let himself get 3 crown.
At this point, they're probably figuring out what decks do they pick next, because they're probably going to have to face some cycle decks, wall breakers, and they're just formulating which picks.
That's actually a really good point. If the game's over, you might just want to prolong it a little bit longer, just so you have a little bit more time to select your deck, just because, as you can see, it's instantly into the next game.
Wow, they already knew.
So Darian has showcased Arrows. We'll have to wait and see if Future wants to maybe run like a Dark Goblin or an Evolved Firecracker, cards that he can really get more value out of if Darian doesn't get to use that spell. See Heal Spirit though, so I wonder what Darian's going to choose. That's an interesting card when you don't have Goblin Giant or Sparky available, unless you're running Sparky with Giant.
I'm going to go on a whim and say 3 Musketeers.
That would be one of the coolest picks.
We haven't seen that all day today. I think that'd be really interesting just for fun.
Zappies and Barbril, either going to be RG Graveyard or potentially Recruits again. Lumberjack and Heal Spirit. Darian's coming out with the spice, man. This is wacky. I love it, though. Skeleton King. So still going to go for the Graveyard or the RG route. Monk coming down with the Firecracker.
Standoff. And how the Zappies aren't affected by the Monk's reflection. This is looking kind of spicy right now.
It's nice to see the Monk constantly knock back the RG to prevent some damage there. But it seems like to me Darian's going to be running Ram Rider, or he's going to be running a Royal Hogs deck. But it's probably going to be Ram Rider here. Fireball comes down on the Mother Witch. The Inferno Dragon's locked on, OJ.
Oh my, that was quick. I didn't even see what went on. The Monk died with the ability activated. The King Tower is activated. There was so much going on, and then the tower's already done.
That's what happens when you let an Inferno Dragon lock on. There are a few things that are annoying in Clash Royale. Expo and Inferno Dragons are top 2, though. Those things are massive menaces. Darian knows how to tilt his opponent, and I think he's already getting it inside his head, because taking a tower before double elixir is a pretty dominant move.
There is an Evolved Royal Giant now, though.
Yeah, the Evolved Royal Giant will get slowed down by the Ram Rider, and the Lumberjack is not getting knocked back for a while. So each time the Royal Giant attacks, it knocks back the cards around it. And obviously, if it's not attacking, then the Lumberjack's going to be able to get as much damage as it needs. So
that was a beautiful Ram Rider usage, just to slow it down enough that the Evolution Royal Giant wasn't even evolved. Now we're going for a massive push. Mother Witch goes down, Inferno Dragon connects again? Yeah. Oh my goodness!
I don't know if you saw, but one of the derpiest interactions was how the Mother Witch turned herself into a pig. The 3 crown comes down and Darian bounced
the
back.
Monk's reflection, I love those.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
I completely missed that.
Yeah, it died to a fireball, but the effect of the Monk is able to reflect the effect of the Mother Witch directly back at it. So it's fun to be able to do that. So right now, even game, Darian ends up coming away with a 3 crown and takes everything back. So Ice Spear from Darian and Log. This is the direction I thought he was going to go at game 1, but he saved it to the very end. Fast cycle deck, his comfort zone. Future also running an evolved Night deck with Poison, so they might be running something similar.
Oh yeah, they've got really fast cycle decks for the finale for this.
One cool thing to process is the Archer Queen will die to a Poison plus Log, but the Executioner will not. So Darian is in a situation where he's going to want to Poison and Log on the Executioner, but at the same time, he's going to have to spend more Elixir on the card too. Oh, that axe was dangerously close to the towers, playing with my heart.
I was worried about that too.
But the cool thing that we're noticing from Darian is he's using a Royal Delivery on defense against the Executioner. What will happen is if you're dropping a Knight and their opponent's got Executioner Tornado, they'll Tornado the Knight right next to the tower, and then the Executioner will start slapping the tower too. So really smart strategy from Darian. I think the coaching is paying off with the deck pick here.
Was there a reason why he played the Archer Queen so far up on the tower? Or in the bridge?
Doesn't want it to get poisoned. It's really, really scary to get it poisoned plus logged, because that's effectively a few hundred damage for free that the opponent can do for just like a -1 trade, because the Arch Queen's 5 elixir, your poison logs for 6, and you get damage on the tower. You'll take that all day because you can't get damage anywhere else in this game. It's going to be minor poison damage. So if your opponent can't really punish you that hard besides throwing a minor at the tower, they're going to try to spell cycle you as much as you can. So that's
that makes a lot of sense. And then Future's on his Evolved Knight now.
Yeah. Evolve Knight.
What?
Gonna try and make a big push. Is that Inferno Tower? OJ,
No,
look at
there's
that
no
outplay.
evolution?
Oh my gosh. That was actually disgusting. The Inferno Tower melted the evolution and the miner for a +1 trade and wiping the floor with the most problematic card that Future had.
Roll recruit there, tanking for the Executioner, but it's still not enough because Future has a Tornado.
That Executioner locked onto the tower, and now the Knight is causing some severe grief. It doesn't get the last shot. Darian is having to make a comeback now. The game completely flipped favors. Darian looked like it had it locked up, but that Executioner locking onto the tower completely unlocked Future's potential. So now with the poison, it's anyone's game. OJ, what are you thinking? The Ice Spirit is going to die to the miner.
It's a massive tug of war right now. One push gets a little bit damaged, then they counter push, and that push gets a little bit of damage. This could be anyone's game just from one slight slip up.
I gotta say, that Ice Spirit dying to the miner never happens unless the poison's down there at that exact time. That is a key moment in the game. Darian readjusting, making sure that the Ice Spirit doesn't get one-tapped so it can freeze and redirect the miner is big. The miner is not getting caught, but the Evo Knight is also coming down on the right-hand side, and it's getting dangerously close to Darian's tower. All he needs is a poison.
That is
and
one
Future
poison
wins.
away. Darian's got to go for a massive push right now, or there's nothing that's going to happen.
Darian's got to teleport an evolved miner on the tower.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh, such a close game. I gotta say, that Executioner damage with the evolved Knight coming through, I thought that there was nothing for Future to do, but he somehow got the Executioner lined up on the tower, paved a pathway for the Knight, and stole so much damage back to bounce him back in the game.
Tag, your boy, he doesn't make it. Future goes big in game 3. Unreal. Again, another game 3. I got Juicy J's on his watch party, but I gotta give a shout out to, well, he was wrong. I asked which games are going to game 3, and he was like, maybe one. 3 in a row have gone to game 3. This has been so tight across the board, and huge congratulations, of course, to Future. I mean, OJ, what do you think about that matchup? Because at the end, like, a war of attrition is what I would call game 3, right? Everybody just chipping around the right side, but getting down to 100 to be able to poison to finish was just, it hurt the soul for Darian.
That was such a close matchup. They both had minor cycle poison, but like Tag said, that one slight interaction where that tick of poison killed the Ice Spirit was just monumental for that.
Yeah, Tag, walk me through the replays from game 1 into game 2 and what you saw.
So game 1, Darian went in for a push at the start directly into an Inferno Dragon, Skeleton Dragons, and wasn't able to recover. Once you dedicate that amount of elixir at the start into something that your opponent's able to counter push, and then you have to deal with their cards afterward, and you don't have the right amount of anti-air, you're gonna get steamrolled. So it just didn't go in Darian's favor, and Future built an amazing counter push off of an opportunity that presented itself.
Yeah,
And-
and really the unsung hero here, or maybe sung hero, the Inferno Dragons locking on was massive, OJ.
That was massive for this game where Inferno Dragon locked onto both towers.
Yeah, a quick 3 crown, and this tag was where I thought that Darian just had it in the bag, because that was such a dominating performance in game 2 that I thought game 3 had the momentum to potentially win it here, but a war of attrition, and here are those final moments, Tag.
Yeah, so just talking about those last couple moments, the Ice Spirit dying, but most importantly, the Executioner and Knight getting the damage that they did earlier. Darian had a dominant display. He had everything lined up, but that Executioner connection is what cost him everything. And when you're down in a minor poison matchup and you're at a 300 or 400 damage deficit and you're both running the same thing, the game is completely locked up for Future then. There's no coming back.
Exactly. Quick look at the stats here, and again, because of that 3 crown, of course, Darian had a ton of average tower damage, but obviously didn't win. Let's take a look at the bracket, gentlemen, because, well, one more to go. Congratulations again to Future. You have qualified for the Grand Finals September 30th, 3 p.m. Central Time. You're not going to want to miss that live show. It's going to be a blast, but there is one more matchup. One more player is going to join the ranks of the other 7 to make the Grand Finals. It's going to be Katori versus Adam. OJ, one more match, Katori versus Adam. We're going straight into predictions because this is it. This is the final matchup. What do you think?
Katori's gonna win. I'm putting all my money on it.
Okay, we won't count that money, but I like it. Predictions, they've been decent today, so I trust you on that. I know Katori is a storied player. I think I'm probably on the same page. Tag, are we going for the underdog on this one, though? I mean, the underdogs come out on top at least one other time, and we've gotten to game 3 almost every single time. What are you thinking?
I think we're going to game 3, but I do think that Katori, aka Baby Nate's Minor Poison, it's too strong. It scares me. I don't want to play against him, but I think I will play against him later on in the next stages. So wall
Seeing
breakers.
a lot of wall breakers in these matchups. He's not able to defend that 2 elixir split push. It's just so devastating.
Yeah, especially when you drop 5 elixir and you can't counter 2. It's not a good feeling. However, Baby Nate, Katori going in for that Inferno Tower, that thing doesn't counter push and swiftly evaded with the miner off to the side. So both of them not doing the trades that they would like to take. Looking at that Magic Archer locking onto the tower too, that is not what Adam envisioned. Adam is 100% running something that Baby Nate or anyone didn't expect. Like, when you see a monk, you're probably going to be expecting something like Royal Giant, but there's a balloon, a flying machine, minions. This is some extravagantly cool stuff. Baby Nate misses the tornado, doesn't get the pull.
Doesn't activate the king.
Oh, man.
That being said, he does have Inferno Drag or Inferno Tower into Balloon and Monk, so Katori looks like he might have a bit more control right now.
Yeah, talking about some extra layers of defense, if you absolutely need to, you can go for an Inferno Tower, and then you can pull the balloon even further with a Goblin Drill. It's probably not going to happen, but there is a possibility. The only issue that we have here is that flying machine protected by the Monk. If Adam plays it well, he might be able to keep that flying machine alive for a while. The King Tower activation comes through with the tornado, and that is a really big play for Katori, being able to make sure that now he can finish off monks a little bit easier. The miners in the back, they're not going to get as much damage. Maybe he can start to ignore them more.
It's almost like Katori knows that he only has expensive cards right now, so he's putting Spear Goblins on the bridge, splitting the wall breakers and everything, pulling them with the wall breakers.
Wow.
I think one might connect right here.
We got to talk about that high IQ fireball, forcing a situation where Katori was having to drop that knight so he could get even more value. It was already guaranteed that he was going to clutch up and hit a Magic Archer, but he wanted more. He got 7 worth of elixir with a 4 elixir card and hit the tower. Big brain play from Adam. And now he's going in through with his push again, trying to body block.
Prediction minions for that, though.
Yeah. And prediction minions come up clutch. Wait, is the balloon getting pushed slightly to the right? He tried to with the fly machine. If you saw that. And again,
that would have been devastating if he was able to push that balloon away from that Inferno Tower.
Yeah, this is
But
what
with
he's
the
going
Evolution
for.
Knight tanking for the flying machine, this is going to be a deadly push. The Goblins push the Knight forward, forcing him to play the Barbarians a little bit earlier than he would have liked to.
Oh, OJ, the Magic Archer's on the tower.
More!
He just needs to go in for a Goblin Drill, but when he goes in for a Goblin Drill, he can tornado away the counter and make sure that the Goblins lock directly on the tower, but he's going to go Wall Breakers instead. Doesn't even care. The disrespect from Katori going in for all-out offense. You love to see it. Wow. We got to say, that type of defensive deck, it is scary to match into when someone has the defensive capabilities and mechanics that Katori has.
It's just so devastating. Just from that single 2 elixir wall breaker card, and you only have 5 elixir cards to counter that.
Gotta be that Minor Poison deck with Archer Queen and Log. So the rest of the cards in Katori's deck are to be Minor Poison, Bomb Tower, and Log here. So we'll see if Adam is going to be able to come up with something crazy to be able to break through that. If he goes directly into a Bomb Tower with the Valkyrie and a Hog Rider, he's going to have some problems because Earthquake can't break through. Maybe he's going to have Lightning. Maybe he's going to have something a little bit more mischievous with the Freeze. Hopefully we can see some spice here from Adam.
I just love your clairvoyance. Plays an Ice Spirit, you immediately know that he has a poison for everything. I'm just so stuck on challenges that I can't recognize it from 1 or 2 cards.
Oh, it's all good. I mean, it's just, it's a meta deck. Once you played enough, it's just pattern recognition at that point. But the King Tower activation is going to come down with the Archer Queen. The Hog Rider doesn't get the hit. And now we're going to see some counter push with maybe a Miner in the back. We'll have to wait and see if he wants to pop the abilities soon.
Oh, right on the skeletons too. And the snowball. That's going to completely stop their Archer Queen from getting any hits.
Oh, OJ, the curse! The curse!
My words. It's the curse. It actually is the curse.
Skeletons coming down. Wait, OJ, I think he has to respond to these skeletons if the Valkyrie can't kill the miner in time. Oh my gosh.
Just barely, just barely. And he placed the miner in the top left of that Princess Tower. He might have gotten one skeleton hit.
Yeah, okay, so Evo Barb's coming down, but the Firecracker is able to splash on them, so we'll see if Adam is able to cycle to some Evolved Firecrackers. The way Adam wins this is getting some juicy Evolved Firecrackers connected to the tower. And so far, he got a great trade with that Firecracker against the Evolved Barbarians. A regular 3 Elixir card, eating alive a 5 Elixir Evolution. I'll take that trade any day of the week.
This time going in with bats instead of a snowball, so he can kind of just put a Valkyrie in there, but Valkyrie might have been a little bit slower than he would have liked because it didn't tank for the bats.
One thing that we have to witness, though, is the fact that the Hog Rider's on the tower, and then the Firecracker Evolution. This is what I was talking about, OJ.
Oh my goodness. Even though there's a nerf, that's still devastating amount of damage.
It was close to getting that extra one there, too. It was loading up.
Very
barely
close.
died of the poison. You got to appreciate the mastermind of knowing that, hey, I have to poison. It's not something I want to do, but this is a play I'm forced into. Man, the miner coming down on defense also prevents Baby Nate from being able to go in for an offensive play for a while. Adam has completely swung the game in his favor. Baby Nate now is starting to rely more on poisons, trying to go in the same side, and keeping that Archer Queen alive as long as he can so he can cycle more miners.
Archer Queen with the ability locked on to the Valkyrie.
Did you see that? He got away with defending with an Ice Spirit Skeletons and tried to log so the Hog Rider didn't get a single hit. He wasted 2 Elixir with the log, but that was really smart. He had the animation of the Earthquake still on the field and still perfectly timed the Skeletons so the Skeletons didn't get hit. That's some top tier mechanics.
With the King Tower activation, the Hog Rider is going to have a bit of trouble, but the Firecracker just connecting, it's a little devastating right now. It's very close. Qatari could still win this.
The biggest thing right now that I'm looking at is Adam really wanted to have that Evolved Firecracker up close and personal at the river and not getting poisoned. He's going to have to wait a while to get back to that evolution, and that's going to cost him. One thing that we are also noticing is if you see the Valkyrie, it's slightly separated from the Hog Rider, so then he's giving himself more of a leeway, so then the Bomb Tower, if it comes down, it's not going to immediately splash on the Hog and the Valk.
Looks like he's putting a lot of his miner in the back right now. So if Qatari's going to mix that up a little bit, put it in a little more dangerous zone, maybe even in the middle center where it hits both towers.
Yeah,
Qatari is getting a damage comeback slowly.
the thing for Qatari is he does more damage over time. Each one of his cards, his Miner and Poison, it does way more than an Earthquake Snowball. So if his Poison's doing like around 300 with the log, and this Earthquake's doing around 200 with the Snowball, eventually it's going to come back.
He put down Skeletons in the dangerous spot, thinking Qatari was going to do the high-risk spot, but he didn't. It's all mind games at this point.
Yeah, he's trying to catch the Miner, but the Poison and Log are unavoidable. You can't reflect back that damage, and it's all closed out for Qatari.
2-0 win, and we see Qatari moving in as one of the 8 finalists for the Galaxy Battle Superverse for today.
Showing his prowess as one of the best Miner Poison players in the entire world.
It was quite obvious he's one of the best Miner Poison players in the world, right? Like, I feel like Adam had a huge advantage going into the second game, really battled back to, like, take away the second game going into overtime, and then the Miner Poison just chip. All of a sudden, they're even. All of a sudden, we're within that 300-point margin. One more Poison, done and dusted. Qatari wins it all in an amazing fashion. The only 2-game win, by the way, in the lower bracket, which is something to be said about the competition we saw today. So congratulations to Qatari. We have officially crowned our 8 players that are going to be making it to the Grand Finals, which is so fun. A great day of Clash Royale, but we got to look back on some of those replays from this last matchup and see why Qatari was so dominant. Tag, let's start with you here, starting with these replays in the first matchup. What'd you see?
One of the biggest plays all game was Adam's decision right there to be able to make sure, hey, I'm going to have Evolved Barbarians on your tower. You need to protect that. And then forcing out the Fireball, hitting 7 worth of Elixir, but it still wasn't enough. Qatari had built a defensive deck that Adam just could not break through with multiple layers to stop the balloon. And then in the next game, we ended up seeing Katori just going to his favorite, Minor Poison. He ended up taking a ton of damage from the Evolved Firecracker early on from a masterful play from Adam. But as we saw later on, Adam wasn't able to get that next Firecracker that he needed near the river. That Firecracker had to hit the tower for Adam to make that final nail in the coffin to get that win and push to game 3. But Katori was able to poison it, just sealing Adam's fate. Slowly but surely, having the best mechanics in the game as Minor Poison, you are going to be able to take that tower.
Great breakdown, Tag. Let's take a look at our bracket. Starting in the lower bracket, we have officially found our 8 players. The 4 from the lower bracket, you had to win 2 before you lost 2, and these players won 2 after only losing 1. Clown, Luminary, Future, Katori, we'll see you in the grand finals, only a week away, September 30th. 3 p.m. Central Time. But back to the upper bracket, some amazing matches from above, and these players, well, they were near perfect. Ian77 and Air Surfer as expected, Cheesecake joining them as well, and Droy. And I gotta say, OJ, you shouted Droy out at the very beginning of the broadcast and seemingly delivered.
I'm 1 for 1 for my predictions.
Yeah, true. Very beginning, called it out and didn't lose a single matchup. What a fun day of Clash Royale. Gentlemen, I'm going to give you a second here just to give you give your final thoughts for the broadcast and shout yourselves out. Tag, I'll start with you. Any final thoughts before we close this thing out?
I did not expect so many close, high-action games. Lots of mind games throughout, and of course, the mechanics. There's so much to learn from. You guys can break down each one of those interactions, seeing how were they able to outcycle and outpace opponents. What was the mind games of like the deck selection? Just so much to appreciate. So huge thank you to all the players, and it was a pleasure to watch.
OJ, same for you. Final thoughts for the broadcast before I send this thing away.
It's crazy to see so many high-level players with so many specialties in all these decks. It's going to be even more exciting on the 30th when we see the finals, when all 3 games clash together. I'm genuinely so excited for that. I think this is going to be one of the funnest tournaments that I've ever participated in my entire life.
The Superverse right around the corner. Well, the Superverse is here, but the grand finals right around the corner. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me in the booth. I'm sure you had a blast on your watch parties, but you had fantastic casting as well. I will bid you farewell. And of course, huge shout out to Juicy J and Shane as well. Amazing cast and amazing watch parties casters. They're incredible. And folks, if you want to tune into the grand finals, September 30th, 3 p.m. Central Time, you'll see those creators not cast, but compete. You're going to see them compete not only in their title of choice, their Supercell game of choice, but also in the other Supercell titles. It is the Superverse after all. Let's take a look at that schedule because yes, September 30th, 3 p.m. Central Time. You can't forget it. I've said it enough. There's no way you won't be there. All the same social media platforms, all the same live stream locations, just a little bit earlier. 3 p.m. Central Time, September 30th. You will not want to miss it. $100,000 on the line. What a fun way to finish off all the qualifiers. We saw Clash of Clans, we saw Brawl Stars, and then Clash Royale really finish things off in the best way possible. But folks, this is all made possible by the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5. I've talked about the foldableness of the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5, but I've also talked about that amazing 7.6-inch interior screen. But did you know that precision meets portability with S Pen capability on the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5? Have you seen those S Pens? They're incredible, and especially with the 7.6-inch screen, you can write directly on the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5, and there's a case you can go get with the Model Slim S Pen case, where the pen actually insets on the back. It is very, very cool. You want to go check that out. You can check it out with the command Galaxy Z Fold 5. You can also just head to the link in the description below. And I've been talking about Samsung Galaxy all day because they have a modicum of different products, and the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Plus is the other one we've been mentioning. Obviously, it's amazing, has an incredible screen, but your video chat game will also be next level with the high resolution ultra wide front camera. You're going to feel even closer with the ultra crisp 12.4-inch display 3 featuring vision boosters. This thing's nuts. You gotta go check it out. Galaxy Tab S9 is the command for that one. go check it out. A quick link will pop up in the chat, or head down to the link in the description below. Samsung Galaxy has made this all possible, and we thank them for it. But folks, one more show, 1 week away. I'll tell you one more time, September 30th, 3 p.m. Central Time. I'll be your host for that show, and I might be joined by some very special people you saw in some of those ad break contents. You're not going to want to miss it. But until then, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and get ready for the next one. And we will see you 1 week from now. Thanks for tuning in. Looking forward to the next show. See you there.